Somebody's got an MG3. The Groza, though, is going to take care of that. AJ able to do something, and King with that drop shot. Really nice stuff there coming through. Trying to bait Razak out into taking shots, taking that window, but he's not gonna. He knows better. It's not his first rodeo, but he is a solo left alive, and all he can do now, I think, is kind of deny the point.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna try to do. The nade comes in from Jing, and nope. Does a little bit of damage, not enough though. But hey, TT, Thunder Talk, they got 4 limbs. They haven't lost a single player, and here comes the 5th. In 3, 2, 1, bomb. Nope.
No?
Wow, Razak just denying me that. But I mean, look, Spirit are also entering a fight with Reject, getting themselves a decent amount of points. Razak giving the 1v1 to King. King goes down. Not sure about the situation. Not sure about reviving the situation. AJ will be able to heal himself up. King will go down to the zone. It may seem he will crawl and he will try, but I'm not sure if there's enough time. Switching over to DK, Boing Donkey, first team to be annihilated from this first game, and it is going to be DK to follow them in 2nd, in 15th place rather.
Oh, goodness me, that was a very, very quick elimination there from Tiamba. Down they go. They tried their best, but in this zone, it just wasn't going to work out. They were already too far out in the blue to really do anything with that hard shift, so GG's there. Apollo also from Rejects out in the blue zone still, and this is where the game really starts to feel very very one-sided here, because a lot of those teams on the outer edge just fought their way into zone, and now it centers on up again. They've got to do it all over again here. We've also seen Rejects go out and actually DK as well. So a lot of teams just dropping very, very quickly here. That was LGD to take out Apollo out in the blue zone. So that's going to be a 1 point going over to them. That's their 2nd point on the board.
And I'm looking towards the rest of the squads now. Thunder Talk lost 3 players. They have the 4 limbs, but making it into the zone is going to be difficult.
Yeah, Vintage खेल रहा था BP बड़ा.
Are in trios or full squad. Ling
Vintage किन खेल रहा है?
with that nade to get himself an opening to take down Venturas, and now just
को खेला है ना? Tony गेरा Swift में.
Or Mula. Love the change.
Team Secret पनि सक्यो, DK पनि सक्यो. हो यही ढापा ने कर मलाई यार. गाड लिएर सट्ट यता आएको यहाँ कुन चाहिँ ढुङ्गामा हो? यो ढुङ्गा, यो राइटको ढुङ्गामा सुतिरहेको थियो यार एउटा. अस्ति फाइनल डे को फर्स्ट स्यानकमा. एसएस पनि खेल्दै रहेछ त अनि.
Venturas secured. Schweppes and the rest of Vampire will be eliminated. We are now down to 10 teams left with 31 players.
ओरलाई invite only रहेछ. क्वालिफिकेसन भएको भए झन् मजा आउँथ्यो भन्ने हो के कुरो. तर त्यही हो टाइम नभएर पनि होला. हाम्रो एसएल सकिने लगत्तै यो पनि सुरु भइसकेको थियो. WBG order अरे हो. अहिले त order र सुक सँगै खेल्ला छ हैन त. यसमा यो फिनाले भन्ने दामी खेल्छ यार. यो चाहिँ किन यहाँ आइराछ? यो स्क्रिनमा आयो क्या, अलि माथि गरौँ न. यो के हो? फिनाले भन्ने राम्रो खेल्छ भन्दैछ है. एउटा नक पनि हान्दियो यार. एउटा के दुईटा नक पनि हान्दियो.
In the first game of the tournament, and you're gonna come off like this? Is he gonna get it? Oh, doesn't quite, but does enough damage to that vehicle.
Like took they got him like
to bite them later on. Top able to do so much work for his team. Doc in hot pursuit of those numbers. LGD just descending onto Ling S there, just trying to get that revive up and running. WBG though, they know they're there. The nades are cooking. Can Order get this? We've seen him do cool stuff before. He might just be able to do it again. Not quite. Top is taking over that. Kind of get stuck there. Hyunbin.
ब्रोहरु त चारजना एउटै ठाउँमा छ त एउटा बममा चारजना पड्क्यो त पारा के हो पारा के हो
MVM trying his best. There's nothing left he can do. Afu.
WBC लाई छिरायो भयो त तयार बरु
Doc with the white swing. You see it time and time again, but the docketing is happening once more. A7 picking that up really quickly. Giving LGD just a little bit of time.
The docketing is happening once more. Wow. I mean, look,
ओए हेर न जोन पनि है त्यो यार चारजना LGD ले सँगै हाँसिरहेको भए म चाहिँ यिनीहरू कन्ट्रोल पुरै पाउँथे किल पनि पाउँथे यार
I mean, yeah, actually, I feel like get docked is when he pushes you and
किल फिट
eliminates you,
देखिएन अरे
and the
कहाँ
docketing is
राख्दिम
when
त
it's the opposite and he gets eliminated instead.
Yes.
But hey, APG 10 eliminations so far,
यहाँ राख्दिउ
and it's only one player left at the moment to try and get as many placement points as possible. Might be able to get into the zone, but the problem is Weibo and LGD both have
INF ले चारजना छिराउँदै छ
hard angle for them to deal with. But now Influence Trade
कहाँ छिरायो
taking DRX
ला 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 अपनको ढुङ्गामा छिरायो मर्यो DRX ले मार्यो
But I mean, that'd be the best thing, because they get absolutely torn to pieces. Loris and last one alive in the trio in the middle, but I believe there's still one more hiding in the back. Nope, Influence are out, and it is going to be APG as well. DRX focusing on LGD now. Sykes the last one alive. Top 3 now. LGD
जुन गयो
Alpha
A7 लाई
7 Esports. Someone
पुरै
wake
जनको कन्ट्रोल छ
7 up and tell him Alpha 7 might be getting a winner chicken dinner in game number 1, baby. Let's see if that's going to be the situation or if it's going to be Weibo or
अडाले
LGD.
ठोक्ने भयो एस्टेबल के
The third party
ला स्टन भयो नि त
in a final 3 game is always going to be the one that wins this game 90% of the time. And
अल्फा 7 सँग बम छ होला राइट पाइसक्यो स्क्वास
finish them off quickly.
स्क्वासलाई
Now it's
नकार्यो पनि
3v3.
सक्यो अल्फा
There
7
was no third party, but the angle from Squash.
ए पन्नु पर्यो नि त
Angle from Squash
ओइ
is everything. But LGD will be going for a
1v2
trade. 1-for-1. Revo goes down. But it's now a 2-for-1.
एउटालाई नकार्नु पर्यो एउटालाई
And they do it.
बेट गरेर नकार्नु
Focus is on
बेट गरेर
DRX.
नकार्नु आनु आनु
That's a 1v1. You want to be taking? I'm not sure
एउटालाई
if
बेट
you're
गरेर
gonna
नकार्नु
win here, buddy.
ला
Laying down takes the fight to Squash, but it is Alpha 7 Esports with the first winner chicken dinner of the day. And what a hell of a start for the Brazilian lineup and the Brazilian representatives. They are here making a statement at the PMHI.
My goodness me, what kind of game was that? We heard nothing from A7 until those final few zones. And then they come out just screaming on top of everybody else. Really solid work coming in from A7. That was such a tough lobby. So much going on at once. Those nades coming through as well. But
Leno
A7
भाइ
were able
लेनो
to keep their cool, get those angles, and get that win for themselves. GG's. 100%.
एन्ट्री हेर्दिम न है
Huge win
एन्ट्री
for
कस्तो
A7.
भएछ एन्ट्री कडा भयो नि सुनाइदिएँ मैले
I want to say they were able to secure a decent amount of eliminations as well.
स्टेज त एसएल जस्तो रहेछ तर एसएल भन्दा राम्रो छ त स्टेज त यार माथि यिनीहरू बिलबोर्ड हो कि के भन्छ यसलाई यिनीहरू पनि राखेको रहेछ अरू भन्दा पनि अडियन्स छ क्या खै त सुरु हुँदैन त
Welcome to the 2025 PUBG Mobile Hong Kong Invitational. Our 16 teams are ready to fight. Here, our challengers will charge toward the final throne. Let's welcome the 16 teams. First, let's welcome from the Central and South Asia region, Alpha Gaming. They are a galactic battleship with a trio of core players, the highly anticipated favorites to win the tournament.
Trophy पनि माल रहेछ त यार
Next, please welcome BTR from the Southeast Asia region. They are a veteran Indonesian team, masters of the Sanhok Rainforest map.
ओइ के हालेको त्यो के हाल्यो यिनीहरुले के हालेको त्यहाँनिर
Next, the PMPS Season 1 champions of 2025, Team DRX.
हेर है त्यहाँ ट्रफीमा के हाल्छ है यिनीहरुले हेर है
Dark Force team that has emerged as a force to be reckoned with.
के हो यो नेल कटर रहेछ त फर्स्ट त हेरौँ ल यो गेम के भयो टिम सिक्रेट किन नगएको बुट क्याम्प
the research that has been provided by Neptura. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And it doesn't look like we're going to be having
hot
drops from the beginning of the game. It may be quite a calm game for the first couple of minutes.
INF त के हाम्रै ड्रप गरेको त सेम कपी कार्ड छ त
I think there's a gentleman's agreement on the server.
There might be, certainly in Paradise Resort, right? BTR have full control of it. But Ruins might be a different thing. LGD have in fact gone to Ruins, and so have Vampire to a certain degree. Looks like Vampire might be moving to the outside of Ruins, right? So it's not a direct drop clash there, but definitely treading on some toes down there, so we'll see how that works up. WBG did move down to Ben Tai and Camp Charlie, so no, you're not going,
finish instant.
Camp Charlie, so they're not in Paradise Resort there, but the zone does go up to that island. That could pose some interesting problems for the teams on the east side.
Tony, though.
Tony!
No, Tony K from Vampire will be the first to fall in this first game of the day. Notice not greeting for the finish instantly, just trying to scatter a bit, make sure, round to trade. LGD doesn't lose anything. LGD will be drawing first blood zone for starters. I did mention
Thunder Talk coming in clutch there in the Elam feed. We see 1 point going to anywhere near.
During those years, 20 to their advantage.
Over there
with मजा आउँछ यार BTR कहाँ जा रहे थे INF दुईजना मात्रै हो त चारजना रहेछ अल्फा 7 यहाँ थियो कहाँ पुग्यो यहाँ पुगेको रहेछ त जोन त
on the QBZ at that range is wild combination to have. I don't know how he hit
दामी
any of
शिफ्ट
those
आएको
shots.
रहेछ नि
The
त
zone
मजाले
does
लास्टमा
go
त
into phase 2. We are seeing a southern shift, southwestern shift, down to the trifecta area, down towards the bridge, and straight on top.
So they take.
Yep.
Question is where
PG players on board. And that is going to be 33 getting taken out there, unfortunately. And they might just run into DRX. Okay, no, they're not. They're going to stop in this compound very quickly. That works for them. Then
giving them the opportunity to.
Unfortunate. Lands it.
One member it may see. PMWC 2023.
Yep.
I believe, yeah. When basically they won 2023 and 2022 as well.
Yeah.
You know, they
Back
had
to
that
back.
back to back and they were terrible.
इन्थ्यो दो दुई प्लेयर नक भए यति सब नहुनु पर्ने बट केही छैन रिकभरी पोसिबल छ
नेपालीहरुको नि हेरौ है
राम्रो हेल्प गर्यो चाँडै चाहिएको थियो सोलुसन
ओके 22 किल हानेको छ त
प्लेयर क्याजुअलिटी
एक गेममा हो र होइन नि
सायद राम्रोसँग गर्न पाएन टिमले त्यसपछि गाडीको कुरा थियो मैले एटलिस्ट एउटा भेहिकल त देखेको थिएँ बट खुसीको कुरा यही नै छ कि अगाडिपट्टिको पथ पुरै खाली छ मेबी अगाडिपट्टि अर्को भेहिकल खोज्न चाहिँ सकिनेछ
यहाँ एउटा गाडी अलरेडी त्यहाँ देखिरहेको थियो इनफ्याक्टमा आई थिंक
म त के भन्छ दाइ
अगाडिपट्टिको टिम जो रहेको थियो केएमसी उनीहरूले पनि प्रेसन गर्न आउँदाखेरि गाडी त लिएर आएका थिए सो त्यसमै म्यानेज गर्ने अगाडिपट्टि गाडी खोज्ने एक्स्ट्रा लुट चाहिएको छ भने खोज्ने थोरै रस्टिफाइड थियो बट म्यानेज गर्यो अनि इम्पोर्टेन्ट
पेमेन्ट चाहिँ क्वालिफिकेसन होइन
नम्बर लुज गर्नु पर्यो
क्याम्पस क्लच हो
अफ्रिका कलेजलाई देखिरहेका छौं उनीहरू
यसबाट दुईटा एउटा हो कि दुईटा स्लट छ भने जस्तो लागेको थियो हैन र
हाइपर ओलाला रहेका छन् हाइपर ओलालासँग स्टेप मामा सुप्रिम रहनेछन् त्यहाँ अनि यो स्पटबाट केही टाइम होल्ड गर्नका लागि प्रयास चल्दैछ पछाडिपट्टिको मुभमेन्टको बारेमा थोरै ध्यान दिनुपर्ने हो पछाडिपट्टिबाट एउटा टिम
मन गरेर खेल्दिनु पर्ने छ यार को सुप्रिम 9 मेरो फ्यान रहेछ यार
लुट पनि ठिकठाक छ त्यहाँ
थ्यांक यू यार
स्कोप अट्याचमेन्ट एन्ड अल देखिरहेको छु भने पछाडि
हुन्छ सुप्रिम भन्ने सबजना मेरै फ्यान हो
मदन भण्डारी देख्न सकिन्छ त्यहाँ एमबीएमसी को टिम रहेको छ उनीहरुका लागि
लामो साउन्ड छैन भयो कसको मेरो
गएको थिएन
मेरो ठुलै छ त साउन्ड
पनि प्रयास गर्नेछन् उनीहरुले 7 पॉइन्ट लिएर गएको थियो टोटलमा 6 एलिमिनेसन थियो बट सर्भाइभल खासै आएन उनीहरुका लागि पनि स्टेज 2 मा रहेका छौं टाइम अभियसली धेरै नै पाउनेछन् क्लासिक सर्कल हो भने पछाडी 13 टिम अनि 50 प्लेयर लिएर हामी अगाडिपट्टि बढिरहेका छौं पछिल्लो म्याचमा आगो लगाएको थियो वेस्टमिन्स्टर कलेजले अब हेरौं उनीहरुले यो म्याचमा के गर्छ
को कलेजले
30 पॉइन्ट टप अफ द टेबल देखिराख्नु भएको छ टीडब्ल्यूसी भनेर उता एसीएमई 21 पॉइन्ट
यसबाट नि हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्यो स्लट सुन के हो यसबाट त केही हुँदैन है के
सर्कलको ड्यामेज
भएको थियो लाग्यो थियो
फेजमा यदि सर्कल अझै आफू भन्दा टाढा टाढा जान थाल्यो भने अलि गाह्रो नै बनिन्छ अनि प्लस टिमसँग सायद धेरै लुट पनि छैन त्यो कारणले गर्दाखेरि पनि अलिकति क्विकली उनीहरुले जजमेन्ट चाहिँ गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ कि सर्कल कतापट्टिबाट अप्रोच गर्ने भनेर वेस्टमिन्स्टर कलेज पछिल्लो म्याचमा जोश देखाएको थियो दमखम देखाएको थियो यसरी खेल्नुपर्छ केटा हो भनेर
तर यार
उनीहरुले
क्रिस भाइ पनि खेल्दै रहेछ त क्रिस भाइ कलेज पुगिसक्यो त्यो भाइ त स्कुल पढ्ने मान्छे के को कलेजमा खेलाको
गरिदैछ सायद कि लेटर फेजमा पेकाडोबाट सर्कल बाहिर निस्किन्छ लस लिनोस पेकाडोको बीचको कतैको स्पेसमा बन्छ भनेर त्यसका लागि पनि यो वेयरहाउस राम्रै स्पट
तर यसो सोच्दाखेरि कि
हाउस पनि खाली देखिरहेको छु त्यहाँसम्म
जो कलेजले जित्दैन त्यो कलेज त बिलाई त्यो कलेजको जो जसले स्टुडेन्टले खेल्दै त्यसको त बिलाई हुन्छ होला है
क्रिसले पछिल्लो म्याचमा सायद डबल डिजिट ट्राई गर्दै थियो होला अलि बढी जसले गर्दा पनिस हुनु परेको थियो प्रयास रहनेछ
बरु मलाई अब दुई
पुरा गर्न सक्छु
खाजा खर्च हाल्दिएर बोलाको भए म आएर खेल्दिहाल्थे त यार फिक्स विन थियो त यो त यार फिक्स जिताइ
ओके 13 टिम्स स्टार्टिङ एलिमिनेसन स्टार्टिङ राम्रो क्लास पनि देख्न पाएको थियो मजा आयो त्यो क्लासेसहरु चाहिँ हेर्नको लागि हेर्दा टिमले प्लान गरेको
त कडा छ क्या मेरो जहिले कपी हान्दिहाल्छ
त्यो देख्न चाहिँ पाएको थियो अनि मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्टली कोर्डिनेसन अब कोर्डिनेसनको अलिकता
मेरो कलेजबाट भाइ तेरो कलेजबाट खेलिरहेछ यहाँनिर
टिममेट भनेको
खेलिरहेछ भने भन के रे
कोही नयाँ प्लेयर आयो कोही यो आयो कोही त्यो
आयो नेक्स्ट गेमबाट जोइन गर्दिहाल्छु म
कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दा कुनै मिसअन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङै हुँदैन चाहे त्यो गल्ती होस् चाहे त्यो सही होस् त्यसले धेरै हेल्प पनि गर्छ हैन मिठो कम्युनिकेसन
यसो खाजा खर्चको चाहिँ व्यवस्था हुनुपर्छ कि नभए त खेल्दिहाल्छ त यो जोन त फेरि पुरै खाली छ डाइरेक्ट सेन्टर हो क्या यसमा त यसमा डाइरेक्ट यहीँ लगिदिन्छ क्या म त बुझेनौ यहाँ कि त यो दुईटा मध्येमा यो एउटा
टिमले सेन्टर स्ल्यामिङ गर्दैछ तलबाट देख्दै हुनुहुन्छ
नो बकवास सिया सेन्टर
नाम रहेको थियो एक्सटीएक्स प्रेसिडेन्शियल पनि माथि नै आउन भ्याउने छ खासै गाह्रो उनीहरुलाई पनि नपर्ला बाकी माथिबाट मैले देखेँ
खाजा खर्चमै गइदिने अब तिमीहरुको खाजा खर्च कतिको हुन्छ थाहा भएन मेरो खाजा खर्च चाहिँ अलि मोटामोटी नै हुन्छ भन्ने हो
गर्ने हो युजुअली तपाईले ई स्पोर्ट्स इकोसिस्टम सर्किट अथवा सर्कलमा भने अब क्लासिक सर्कलमा चाहिँ थर्ड सर्कल कुर्ने अनि
भाइ
त्यसपछि
म पनि खेल्न पर्ला भनेको 8 क्लासमा
स्पेशली अहिले
पढ्नेलाई
नजिकैको
नतिजा
आइसोलेटेड
रहेछ त्यही
सर्कल पनि
भनेको
भने
त
बिकज
यार
धेरै टिमहरू सिटी
तपाईँ त
केन्द्रित
8
भएर
क्लास पढ्दो
आएका थिए
रहेछ म त
यतापट्टि
8 क्लास
सर्कलको
पढेको
सेटअप
छैन
तपाईँले
अहिलेसम्म
almost यो एरियालाई छोडेर निक्लेको देख्नुभयो भनेपछि ठाउँ खाली नै होला अर्ली गएर कम्पाउन्ड समात्न भ्याइयो भने त्यसले पक्कै पनि हेल्प गर्छ टिमहरूले बुझेका थिए अनि त्यही हिसाबले निस्केको देख्न सकिन्छ गेट कलेज अहिलेको लागि कुर्न
को केएमसी कलेजको को जत्कै खेल्दो रहेछ त केएमसी कलेज त एनसिट कलेज पनि केएमसी कलेज त मैले ओभर सुनेको कलेज हो त को हो यो आयुष भन्ने धनी रहेछ त विनमिनिस्टर यो त धनीले पढ्ने कलेज हो यो
बटुले पहिलो
के दाजुभाइको एकाउन्ट लिएर आएछ जस्तो छ है तर अर्कोको पनि मैले स्किन देखिरहेको थिएँ राम्रो वेस्ट मिनिस्टर भन्ने धनी कलेज हो वेस्ट मिनिस्टर
पाटा त्यहाँ आउँदै थियो रेस्क्यु गर्नको लागि बट नो थोरै डिस्ट्र्याक्सन चाहिँ बरु उनले क्रिएट गर्दै एक सोलिड कम्पाउन्डसम्म पुग्यो भने त्यो प्लेयरले बच्छु कि भनेर आश देखाउनेछन् पुगे पनि अब त स्कारले अलिकति धोका दियो एमोले पनि धोका दिन्छ कि जस्तो लाग्दैछ आयुषलाई 40/34 मात्रै रहेको रहेछ सर्टगनमा स्विच गरेर क्विकली त्यहाँबाट मुभ गर्नेछन् उनी पनि सिधै सर्कलको सेन्टर नै भनेर कुद्नका लागि सायद हैन ठीक छ यहीँबाट खेलौँ अहिलेको लागि सर्कल रहेको छ नेभर नो अर्को सिफ्ट फेरि यतै आइदिन पनि सक्छ भनेर
अफोर्डेबल ब्रिटिश डिग्री रे
त्यसपछि उता नाइट सामालाई डाउन गरिन्छ इन्स्ट्यान्ट फिनिश पनि गरिन्छ त्यहाँ प्लेयर लुज गर्नु पर्यो सीएमएले पनि बाकी
ए मलाई चाहिँ यो ठ्याक्कै यो देख्ने बित्तिकै कहाँको याद आएछ त्यो एउटा गीत थियो नि गीतमा आउँछ नि यो के थियो नामै बिर्से यार
गीतले एलिमिनेसन सेक्युर गर्दैछ ब्रिटिश कलेजका लागि पोइन्ट आयो त्यहाँ अर्को एउटा पोइन्ट थपिएको छ 6 पोइन्ट टोटलमा पुगेको रहेछ एलिमिनेसन अर्ली फेजमा नै पछिल्लो म्याचमा बटुलेको हो बट लेटर फेजमा स्ल्याम थाम्न सकेको थिएन उनीहरूले ट्रायोको रूपमा
प्रमोसन हैन हो त कहाँ प्रिमियम प्रमोसन यसो हेरेको पो त कस्तो रहेछ भनेर
नर्दर्न स्पेस तर्फ जब उनीहरू फाइट लिइरहेका
किङ्स नै रहेछ हाम्रो भनेपछि किङ्स कहाँ छ खै
राम्रो स्टार्ट पछिल्लो म्याचमा भएको थियो यो म्याचमा पनि नम्बर बचाएर राखेको छ इम्पोर्टेन्टली
खै किङ्स भन्ने कहाँ कति नम्बरमा हो
जसले गर्दा लेटर फेजमा जब स्ल्याम आयो त्यहाँ नम्बर
अन्तिममा छ त थेट मैले त नम्बर पनि नदेखेको
सँग रहेको थिएन त्यसले गर्दा थोरै डिफिकल्ट पनि बनेको थियो क्लोज फाइट निकाल्नका लागि यो पटक प्रयास उनीहरूको यही रहनेछ कि सकेसम्म नम्बर लुज नगरौँ भनेर
भनेपछि जत्कै कलेज रहेछ
बन्न जान्छ त्यो बिकज धेरै एरिया
हैन त
त्यो पनि चाहिन्छ तपाईलाई सँगसँगै फाइटमा जब इन्भल्भ हुनुहुन्छ त्यो बेलामा पनि नम्बर
घोकन्ते बाहेक त्यो कलेजमा कोही नरहेछ
नम्बर बचाउन सक्यो भने
दुई म्याचमा 0 पोइन्ट भनेको के हो यो एस कलेज र किङ्स कलेज भनेको के हो थेट
एमआईटी को अगेन्स्टमा
कलेज फेरि उनीहरूको कस्तो अब मैले कस्तो बुझ्दैछु भन्दाखेरि कलेज सुरु हुनु भएन खतम क्या बिल्डिङमा पुरै
सोलिड कम्पाउन्ड
म त थर्काउनु पो कल गरेँ क्या अब कलेजले भनेर भन्थालेको मैले पो कल गरेको रहेछ
अमनको जोस पनि पछिल्लो म्याचमा अमन आयुष क्रिस रहेका छन् राम्रो म्याच निकालेको थियो उनीहरूले यो रेन्जको ब्याटल बनिरहेको छ नक निकालिहाल्नु भयो भने पनि एलिमिनेसनमा कन्भर्ट त त्यो हुने छैन अन्टिल एन्डलेस कसैलाई तपाईँले ओपनमा देखेर नक फिनिस गर्ने मौका पाउनुहुन्छ सर्कल फर्म भयो अनि सर्कल फर्म भइसक्दा क्रिस गाडी चढिसके थोरै डिस्टेन्स ट्राभल गर्नुपर्ने देख्दै थिएँ मैले आहा सर्कल त हेरौँ न कहाँ गयो फेरि उछिटेर उ त प्रेसिडेन्सियल ल भ्यालिडेलमारबाट रोटेट गरेर आएको लेट हुन्छ कि भनेको हामी भन्दै थियौँ आफूभन्दा अपोजिट साइडमा सर्कल गइदियो नर्दर्न साइडको सिफ्ट आइदियो भने गाह्रो पर्ने हो भनेर सर्कल तानिएर साउदर्न साइडतर्फ नै आएको आइने जसले गर्दा प्रेसिडेन्सियलका लागि एउटा राम्रो एज प्राप्त भएको छ बट स्टिल यदि उनीहरू चाहन्छ अनि यो आइसोलेटेड सर्कल हो भन्ने यसो फिगर आउट गर्न सक्यो भने अझै अगाडिसम्म पनि च्याप्न पाउनेछ बिकज अब आउने सर्कलहरूमा त्यसले धेरै हेल्प गर्ने हो यता वेस्ट फाइटमा सायद
यहाँ भर्खर एजमा पुगेको थियो अघिल्लो सर्कलको त सेन्टर उनीहरूले बनाउँदै थियो बट अब चाहिँ नलडी नहुने भयो त्यस्तो देखिरहेको छु भन्दा ठ्याक्कै अगाडिपट्टि टिम छ त्यो यो टिमलाई डज गरेर निस्कियो त नि भन्न गाह्रै छ अब हाम्रो ब्रिटिस कलेजको कुरा गर्ने हो भने साथीहरूले अघिल्लो म्याचमा पनि राम्रै खेल्दै थियो स्टार्ट त राम्रै बनाउँदै थियो अहिलेको लागि क्लास बन्न पुगेको छ यहाँ एक एलिमिनेसन विराजको चाहिँ सेक्योर गरिएको छ दो इन्स्ट्यान्टली ट्रेड हामीले त्यहाँ
यो गाडीको स्किन के हो यो
डाउन सन सपोर्ट छ
ओए धनीको दोस्रो नाम रनमा दिएको छ यो गाडीको स्किन फर्स्ट टाइम देख्दैछु म पब्जी मोबाइलको हिस्ट्रीमा
नक भएको
ओए फिनिक्स कलेज त कडा रहेछ है खर्च गरेको रहेछ फिनिक्स कलेजले पनि यार
छिटो रिकभरी गरेर निस्किनुलाई रिट्रिट गर्नु पर्यो भने गरौँला भनेर टाढापट्टि भएको प्लेयरलाई पनि स्पट गरिदिन्छ बट अहिलेको लागि थ्रेट भनेको यही नजिकै भएको टिम हो बट त्यो नजिकै भएको टिममा पुस गर्न सकिँदैन गेट कलेज लड्दै रहेछ गेट भर्सेस आई थिङ्क फिनिक्सको बिचको ब्याटल रहेछ यो गेटले विराजलाई लुज गरेको थियो यस्तै आँखा अगाडिपट्टि एउटा प्लेयरलाई इन्स्ट्यान्ट नक एन्ड फिनिस
म्याच
गरिएको
सुरु
थियो
भयो
यता थ्रोएबल्स लगाइयो
त्यो
वेभको
म्याच सुरु हुनु बित्तिकै
एगेन्स्टमा
लगाइहाल्छ
भाग्न
नि
उनी
चिन्ता नगर न
बाध्य
तिमीहरू
रहे 6-9
आज
शट्स
गेम
नक
नै
भए
गेम छ त
रिभाइभ
क्या
भयो अनि त्यसपछि
बिपी
उनको जोस
पासको
देखिँदै
कार हो
छ
दाइ त्यो
यता
ए हो र तर राम्रो छ त नि
साथीको नाम पढ्न अलिकति गाह्रो पर्यो
विवेक दाइ सुरुवात गरौँ न आज
अब
हाम्रो
यो
यहाँ
टिमले पनि बुझ्नुपर्ने छ
के हो
50
पारा
सेकेन्ड छ
0/10
टाइममा
हेर्नु
हेभी
न त्यहाँनिर
हुन्छ ब्यान्डेज त उठाइएको
गोल
रहेछ 20 22 23 नै देखिरहेको छु मैले ब्यान्डेज त्यहाँ दुईटा फर्स्ट एड पनि देखेँ बुस्टर छैन भनेपछि खेल्न गाह्रो हुन्छ जोन बाहिर अब खेल्न अलिकता गाह्रो हुन्छ टिमले रिट्रिट अप्सन छ भने लगाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ इभन त्यो कुरा सेम बुझेको छ
नाकमा मुला पिम्पल आएर कत्रो
फिनिक्स
सुनेछ कस्तो
कलेजले
अप्ठ्यारो
पनि अनि
भइरहेछ
उनीहरू
भने
पनि
क्या
अब जोन आयो एलिमिनेसन निस्किएन अथवा जति निस्केको त्यो उति निस्कियो त्योभन्दा अगाडिपट्टि
गेट कलेज भने चाहिँ के हो यार गेट कलेज कलेजको नामै सकेको हो र गेट कलेज नाम राख्नलाई यार गेट कलेज अरे हो
सानो सानो बन्दैछ सर्कल अनि नजिकै नजिकै टिमहरू आउँदैछन् जो पहिले गएर सेटल भएका थिए पोजिसन
उता गेम सुरु भएछ है त ल
यहाँ यहाँ क्रिसको लागि
ल ल भाइहरू राम्रोसँग खेल्दै गर है सबजना भाइहरू त होला नि यहाँको भर्खर 11-12 मा पढिरहेको त होला नि होइन र ल भाइहरू राम्रोसँग खेल है
We are still here. You're so right. So we are right and ready to go. Because game number one, shush. Game number one was awesome, was absolute fire. I'm expecting to see nothing less here today, especially with that zone kind of away from the rest of the playing path, right? It doesn't really center on at all. It goes up to that north side, going up to Saverni as well. And Zeta with, what was that, with the glider, I think? But Vexy goes down. No, he's not down. He's in the vehicle. There we go. He goes on out. Eventually, that first blood. Boy Donkey being the first one to lose a player here as we look over to WBG. He is going to be the one to take out that player. So 1 point on the board for WBG already.
Yeah, very quick elimination coming in within the first couple of moments of this second game. But speaking towards, I want to say,
hello, Kiran Basnet. How are you?
Right now in the chat, let me know who's
are you fine?
Tell me.
Thank you, Vivek Dai.
LGD, hashtag LGD. Is it APG? Hashtag APG. Give me the hashtag plus the tag of the team and let me know who is winning that.
Hey. Instagram I say Rana bhai.
Oh, actually, you want to do the predictions now?
I want to do the predictions now.
You know what? I will give it to. I don't want to give it to Alpha 7. I don't think we're going to be seeing a back-to-back this early.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I think.
Congratulations! Successful person!
Yeah, I'll go LGD. I'm gonna believe in LGD in this game. Yeah.
Saka go dai. Oh my god, 2-4 dai hanam na.
He may not be here.
Orange hanam ta.
With a prediction for LGD.
Orange hanam na dai.
I'm gonna go.
Kaita ora.
Would it be silly to go Team Spirit? Would that
I don't
be
think
silly?
so. I wanted to choose Spirit on some level. I wanted to choose Spirit, but I'm like,
Yeah. You know what? Team Spirit. I'm gonna go with Team Spirit for a wrangle. Come on, guys. You got it. You got this.
Well, you got Spirit for me. You got Spirit for Neptura, and you got LGD for me. And of course, let us know who you think is gonna win. And you know what? Since Maxman's in the chat, Big Boy Max, let us know who do you think is going to be winning this game. Give me your prediction.
The mouse click check. Katak banda garam na dajuharu.
And we're watching closely.
Low. Protect gare hagi bada.
Rosshawk free for Influence Rage. Team Spirit on the move.
Oh, ke गर्दैछ एउटा यता जान्छ एउटा यता आउँदैछ त.
Teams move quite quickly to where they need to go, right? There's no dilly-dallying, as they say. Team Spirit going to be moving over into this position. This is their normal drop spot. They like farm a lot, but it also is actually they're one of the teams that don't need to think too hard about zone right this point in time. Also, Nomi saw that. You're stop it.
iPhone मा खेल्यो त यार Infinix त स्पोन्सर होइन नि यता सायद.
He taught me, bro. He taught me.
Okay. So you're saying that your driving is bad because of him. That's what you're saying.
Yes, but nobody clip that because everybody always says I drive really badly.
राम्रो अभिषेक कार्के राम्रो.
Hi DK.
No. No.
मैले पढे.
Dang it, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not wrong. The man doesn't miss.
सब छिरेको छ त यार. इन्फ्लुएन्सर निस्केको छैन. केएन भन्ने टिम आएर त्यहाँ बसिसक्यो.
in this
इन्फ्लुएन्स
in
रेजले
that first game
सुनेन
for Innotrope
यदि
Gaming.
केही गरे सुनेको थिएन
Finale,
भनेपछि
Ojisan, Mark.
भनेदेखि त्यसको प्लेयर
I'm gonna
घाइते
butcher the
हुने
last two,
सम्भावना
PIR and Tamer. I'm gonna go with that. We got a 4 at the end of Tamer, but we'll yeah, but we got Tamer,
ढिँड
Mark,
जाँदैछ त
Finale.
हौ कहाँ जाँदा यो यिनीहरू
Nice.
कतिको लुट छ लुट त ठिकठाकै
We
रहेछ
saw that first zone. Any teams in the military base or Topo or it's gonna take them some time to get there.
आरसी
Divide
मेन्सन झर्छ
from reject, just couple of pot shots here and there. A little bit of
ठिक छ
hey, we're over here. Don't think about parking.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you want to do. You're controlling that space, and you're not controlling it for
कस्तो
yourself.
मुला
You're controlling
च्याट
where the other
यतिकै
team
अड्किरहेको
can
रहेछ कि
go.
च्याट किन
So
हुँदैन
that's
भन्छ
really
त
nice. We
मेरो
do have a little bit of a clash here. KN versus DRX on that rotation, just getting kind of rotation clashed here, and Soaz wants nothing to do with it. He's off on his own there. They're going to allow that compound to go over to KN. A quick and probably smart decision coming in here.
दाइ ओरेन्ज खै
Let's see what decision is going to be made. Because right now,
ए
Spirit,
त्यो राख्नु पर्यो यार के
they have quite a lot
नेपाली
of work
सुपर
to do.
च्याट
I mean, keep in mind, this is only game number 2, day 1. Average-wise, in
नेपाली
terms of
सुपर
points,
च्याट
I
राख्छ
think we're
बरु
looking
भाइ
at maybe
यो गेम
50
सकेर
by the end of day 1.
Mm-hmm.
55 for first place, something like
I
that.
think it's going to be more. You got A7 with 18 points in the first map. We got 5 more games to go. Even if they average 5, 6, or 7 points a game after this, we're looking at 50 odd, and then everybody else, that's if A7 have a bad day for the rest of the day. But 18-point game to start off the day, LGD with 15, I think we're looking at more like 70 points. 70 or 80.
70
But that's
or
just
80.
me.
ओरेन्ज होइन रेड होला
I mean, it's a bit
रेड
on the higher
भनेपछि
end,
त
but
फिक्सै
let's see.
आउँदैन कि
That's gonna require
ओरेन्ज
one or
सामान
two
चाहिँ
teams
अब
to kind of
भन्ने हो
dominate
भने
the
हान्ने
leaderboard.
सक्छन्
We'll see if that's going
Maybe.
to continue.
राइट भाइ रेड त
With
बरु
the
म
three teams that we have
नेपाली
right
ब्याङ्कमा
now.
हालिहाल्छु नि भन्छ
Still
हेरे
early days though. PTR, Razy. We got a lot of, I want to say AZs, Razy, Ragey.
Oh.
And
Ling.
look, there's Raze. Riot, no.
There is Raze. Gonna come pick up his teammate here, I think. Yeah, just gonna do a little drive-by. There we go. Pick him on up. Get on out of dodge. If you can, because the Scar can be pretty nasty in the hands of these players. But nah, they're gonna just let them go. They've made their point, right? They don't need to really do too much else. They're like, listen, we're over here. We don't want you over there. Go
कसरी आयो
away.
इन्भिटेसन
taken.
कसरी
Oh.
आयो इन्भिटेसन आयो एपिजीलाई आउँछ नि एपिजीलाई इन्भिटेसन
Sandstorm, I'm
किन
scared.
नहुनु
Kitsune is off on his
दाइको
own again.
एसीमा बी आयो
For
कङ्ग्रेचुलेसन
docketing
दिनु न
all over again. And
Kudaiko.
Zeta is also
The
here. Could be a 1v1.
Kitsune-ing? No, it doesn't really work.
No,
Same
it
way
doesn't.
that docketing. No, it doesn't really work the same way docketing does. But look, hey, the side of Spirit
कत्रो
do
डिस्प्युटमा
have
बसेको
this player from Void Donkey surrounded from a couple of different sides.
आइएनएफ को पोजिसन राम्रो
As
छ
he's trying to
केएन
steal
को
the
पोजिसन
battle
राम्रो
plans
छ
from inside
डिआरएक्स
the
को
house.
पोजिसन डिआरएक्स को
Don't think they're
पोजिसन
going to be helping you
सबसे
out
बेस्ट
that much.
भनौँ न
Look
यहाँ
at Alpha
मध्येमा
7 and then where they're coming in from the northeastern side, coming from the I believe from the likes of
इज
Zarki.
इन्डियन
From
टिम
that
रियली
angle,
गेटिङ स्लट
no one's on that northern
I think
western
so.
side, so they have a lot of room to work with over there. I don't know what you're shooting, but
Sure, why not? Go for it. Go for it, dude. Just making noise. Just kind of going, hey, we're over here, by the way. Leave us alone. I will say there's a couple of teams that are kind of still out in the blue, still got that rotation coming in quite late. One of those is being Vampire Esports. Vampire, they're bottom of the leaderboards right now. Only one of 2 teams with 0
Matic
points on the
Nabayo.
board. So they're really looking for a quiet game here, just trying to make sure that they get what they need to do done. But
उताबाट
Team
कार्ड
Spirit,
कट्टा
Sandstorm,
हान्छु अहिले
Zeta
यो
might have
तिम्रो
a
लागि
great little
होइन
nade there,
उता
doesn't do anything,
98
they're up on the
USD
stairs,
भनेर
but
चाहिँ आएछ
that was a
फेरि यो
knock
न
onto
त
Matic.
लागि
Matic will get
अहिले
revived,
त
it's
यो
fine,
भाइको
but
खाता खर्च
this
धेरै
is where
छैन
Team Spirit now have kind of
You guys can offer
let
invite.
themselves be surrounded a little bit. I'm not sure that this was necessarily the play. They did want to help Kitsune, right? But now you've got the rest of Voindonkey behind you. You've got Tiamba now who's moved in.
ठिकै छ
You're gonna have to be. Oh, and then it's A7. Sandstorm, it's A7 right in front. This might actually spell the end for Voindonkey here. These big sprays coming through.
आजकल इतना चुपने लगा हूँ सबको भन्ने त्यो टिकटक रिल याद आइराका के थियो त्यो त बिर्से ओइ ओइ एसपी छैन त्यसको त
The whole potato's dead. It's just the skin that was left, and now he's healing. How did that happen? Yeah, it was just the skin that survived. Holy moly, potato making it out alive, and the fact that they didn't lose anyone.
That's crazy.
र कहिलेबाट खेल्छ चाँडै बिस्तारै ढिला आएको जहिले नि हुन सक्छ
Oh, effect.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
is
look,
bold.
you can warm up a nade as long as you have someone to cover you while you're peeking with that nade.
There we
But
go.
now
No?
Zeta, yeah.
त्यो बम
Zeta just
लाग्दैन
gonna
हौ
throw a couple
मैले
of
पनि लाग्दैन
smokes,
त्यहाँनिर
deny vision, and now it's like you wanna get the elimination.
त्यसको
You
मुखमा
want this
हान्नुपर्छ
point?
माथि
Come fight
त्यो
me
माथि
for it.
चढेर बसिरहेको
Get in here.
Ah, that's what.
लाग्दैन क्या बम त्यहाँ
Nomi
जुटी
very nearly
लाग्दैन
going out.
बम
How?
मैले त्यहाँ
How
1000 वटा
is
बम
he
हालिन्छ क्या
still
पहिला
alive, Zeta?
त्यही बस्न
What
बम
kind of
आएको
armor
छैन
you
त
got on, bro? That's crazy work coming in from Zeta. Just able to avoid
Wait, there was
it,
a
and
point
now,
that he's back!
now you're getting backstabbed. Nomi goes down. Effect is gonna be not the next to fall. He does get the clutch going on. Effect with that S12K, able to do some damage over there. Void Donkey, that was smart, but Effect is just too good for you.
ओइ जोन त डिके लाई हेर
But is it too
त
good for the rest of the teams that are currently taking shots over here? Maybe not. That is going to be one loss on the side of Team Spirit. Effect is going to res back up here. A7
यही कुरा
surprisingly
रेड
quiet in
नत्र
this fight. They
पिङमा
don't have enough information to really third
लेके
party this well enough.
भा कति सुहाउँथ्यो
So we'll see how that
सुहाउँथ्यो
goes
अब
for him.
छोड्दो के
Let's
गर्नु
see.
र चेक सेवा
I feel like Vorn Donkey definitely rushed into
Is there a
back
notification
into
not
that
coming right
fight.
now? I don't think so.
Zeta was the
Anything
only person
happening.
left alive. You had two people coming in to help him, and then it just became exceptionally difficult with the way that Effect turned things
Nothing
around. But
happening.
we'll leave that be as now Tiamba and Weibu going for a fight. I believe it's a 4-3v2 at the moment. Weibu trying to see if they can actually get into the house here. 2v2, managing to get down yet another knock. One last member left alive for the side of Tiamba. He's not even in this wizard tower right now. Tiamba has been fully
इससे
eliminated.
बेर राखम त मेरो च्याटमा
Wow.
पिन राखिदिन्छु पिन गरिदिन्छु केएनहरु किन छिराको जुटीहरु जुटीहरु
What is
त्यस
happening?
साह्रो परेको थियो र तिमीहरुलाई ठिकै छ बाँच्नु चाहिँ बाँच्छ जब सम्ममा तिमीले एउटा डिसिजन लिन्छौ त्यति बेलासम्म डिसिजन लिइसकेपछि पनि चारजना बाँकी छ भनेपछि ठिक छ केही बिग्रेको छैन
This is wild stuff coming in over to the riverside. There's there he goes.
मेरो त आँखा नै
AJ
रातो
will be
छ
getting
कि
taken
त्यही
out
भएर
there, but
रेड
by
मन पर्दैन
Tian from LGD there. So
दाइलाई
that's going
पिङ्क
to be
त
the
मन पर्छ
final
होला नि
player
त
of
पिङ्क भए पनि
Thundertalk
हुन्छ
going on down. Very
भन्ने
early elimination
मेरो
from them.
च्याट
but that's just
समाजले
what the
भन्दै
zone does
हुनुहुन्छ
to you when it goes down to Rozhok like
स्यालेरी
this.
कति छ
It is
तिम्रो
going to be a really tough rotation for a lot of these teams. A7 on your screens
यति
right
धेरै
now,
यति
going
थोरै
to
छ
be no exception. They got to get
बङ्गलादेश
down to the other
पाकिस्तानको धेरै
side
छ
there.
हाम्रो भन्दा स्यालेरी
Team Spirit do take out Void Donkey at the end of the day, so that fight was well fought. Lose only one for Team Spirit, so they're still up as 3. Should be able to get something done with this, but they're in the same boat as A7 right now.
दाइ यो के भइराको बुझाइदिनु न मिल्छ भनी बुझ न गेम भइरहेछ जित्नेलाई पैसा पाउँछ त्यति त बुझ्ने
LGD also with the full lineup still available. And okay, well, thank you very much
Vitality
for the
Vitality ले स्पोन्सर गरेको बिटिआरले Vitality लेखिरहेछ त
Max has picked APG.
गयो पुसनलाई नाइस कभर आरसी ले यहाँबाट कमब्याक फर्केर हान्यो भनेदेखि नाक काट्दिन्छु म
They already managed to get a knock. And that's a second as well. Kitsune will go down by Reiji. Now it's up to Reiji and Divine. How close is Divine to be able to assist in this situation?
ओइ एपीजी लाई जोन हेर न दम खडा हो भेडकर जम फर्केर जम एपीजी एकजना मर्यो हो
And all of a sudden Reiji
एकजना मरिसकेछ नि त सेट
for the side of the three jack. Quite a lot of damage being dealt, and now we see the elimination feed lighting up as well.
नाक काटे दाइरे मरिसक्यो लास्ट वान बाकी छ हो
The Brazilians are attacking each other, but it is Reiji
के
who comes
भन्छ
in and steals one of
टिमसिकरको
those
तीनजना
points.
बाँकी छ अझै उ आरसीको एकजना बाँकी
As
छ
the
अब
rest of his squad is getting eliminated.
I loved that
त्यस्तो
push by
पोजिसनमा
Team
ट्याप
Rejects
ला
just
मुझे
had no idea what was going on, and Regiosio somehow
देख्यो
did not see him in the back there, but BTR now the next
यस्तो पोजिसनमा
to
भइसक्यो त
fight
तिनीहरू
it. WBG coming in there
आफ्नो
in
कोरमै
the house.
एनिमी
Fedorov
छिराएर
says
हानिसकेपछि
absolutely
बाँकीको
not,
के
be
गरोस्
gone. And that's going to be the end of that for now as everybody starts to crowd on into Rozhawk. Once again, we have to say, DRX in the middle of zone again. They really know how to pick their spots.
इन्डाइरेक्टली हिरोलाई मोटे भनेको होइन मस्कुलर भनेको क्या भन्नु खोजेको मेरो मसल्स कत्रो छ त अनि एक हात 25 किलोको छ मेरो यो 25 किलो खुट्टा दुईटा ए होइन नि 25 किलो होइन कति रे 5 किलो 5 10 खुट्टा 20 40 50 टाउको 5 टाउको 5 छैन होला टाउको 3 किलो होला कति भयो 20 10 50 50 3 53 पेट त्यस्तै 5 किलो मात्रै छ ए होइन 6 किलो छ एउटा प्याकको 1 किलो भनेपछि 6 किलो 53 र 6 ले 9 59 अनि अब अरू चाहिँ कताबाट कपडाले गर्दाखेरि बाँकीको 20 किलो लागिरहेछ 80 something.
Yeah, I think I was looking at DK over into Rozhawk there, not DRX, because now they're trying to move on in. VP, nice little split coming in from Vampires, actually. Nice little off angle to really start squeezing DRX here, and that's going to mean that they just want to move out as soon as possible. Sook with the explosive blow does get found from BTR there. Human feed, we have to mention that. Chips now taking some work with the 4 times AK single fire? Okay. I love that for him. That was a really nice little knock there. That's really going to bring DRX down to a solo. There we go. Hyungbin, the next to fall here. And that's just going to be
के गर्यो DRX ले DRX सबसे बेस्ट पोजिसनमा थियो हैन र अघि मैले भन्दाखेरि के कोला भन्ने थियो केटा BTR ले भन्ने थियो र मैले कुन चाहिँ टिम थियो अब दामी ठाउँमा छ भन्ने थियो मैले
That's the goal for these teams. Get as many points as possible and obviously stay as close as you can to first place because like we mentioned, Smash rules when it comes to day 3 is essentially first place points at the end of day 2 plus 30.
DK
get past and then get yourself a chicken.
त्यही त म त रिसोर्स दिराको के गरेको भनेर
Now, Team Secret Spirit were able to I want to say get back to their
अब टिम सिक्रेट ले पानीमा गएर ठोक्नै पर्ने हुन्छ नभए मरिन्छ अल्फा 7 लाई छिराउ
Spirit might be able to use the high ground to do some damage maybe.
Maybe. The thing is for Team Spirit, right, is you got A7 and then APG
अस्ति फोटो हान्न नि पाएन त ठीक छ त यार हान्न न बिस्तारै कहिले काहीँ
APG are waiting to take those final shots and send you back to the lobby. So Team Spirit have to play this very carefully. They are outside of zone. They could theoretically take the north side on the other side of the river. There is a little bit of space in this new zone that they could take. Is it risky? Is it open? Yes. Is it better than 4v4ing Alpha 7 and then APG? Absolutely.
Well, let's see what choice they decide.
क्रेजी हिरो रहेछ यो दाइ झन् रियलमा त्यही त मेरो ओरा नै कस्तो छ हैन त
DK at the moment.
ओरा टप हो
क्या trying to just make sure they don't allow Kinotrope to get closer and closer. Fabian, Nobu have to hold their ground. Influence Rage get taken out. They have 7 points in total. Joining Reject, Voindonkey, and Tiamba. Waiting for that next game to begin. But you can see how many teams are playing on the edge of this zone because it's incredibly difficult to get into this one. Especially with the positioning that the zone has given the players. It's like half of Rozhawk and then you have to cross the river if you want to get to the other half. So now it comes down to who's going to have the better read.
Round हान्दैछ तिनजना अब
I
छिराउ
feel like
भनेर छिरायो
Oh, hang on. Wait a second. I thought they were retreating. I thought they were going elsewhere. Effect! Where are you going? What are you doing? Goes straight on in, trying to get any info he can. This is a bold play. Effect somehow makes it to the other side. Will he do something? He will. Squash goes down, and Mafioso with that mini trying to get anything he can on. But now it's Doc. Doc on to Matic. There we go. This is what I was talking about. A7 immediately moving in here. The mini goes on to Kitsune. Top doing some more action there. Doc finishing up Kitsune. Now it's just Effect, just a solo. Surely. Sandstorm, they saw that APG was there. That nade is really good. That bounce. Oh my goodness, that bounce.
How was he able to get that? Yeah, that was insane.
Yo.
But I mean, look, APG, they are trying their best right now to hold on because they know they're going to have 2 squads to push them off this bridge. And they want to make Maxman proud. Yo. With that nade onto Effect. Beautiful to secure that one. And now Alpha 7, how do you deal with APG here? Outside of getting a knock and then pushing, I don't see a situation for them. And look at this angle from LGD! This makes it even more possible for Alpha 2.
Always different hoga, bujhena? Style नै छुट्टै छ होगा.
Crazy stuff. I'm so confused. I thought Team Spirit would have seen APG. Maybe they did, but didn't realize who it was or something of that nature. I really don't know, but yeah, I could see that bridge play was going to be a disaster. I appreciate the play of trying to get Effect across to the other side. Kind of distracting them a little bit. That was really nice. The initial push was really good. But APG just absolutely decimated both of them there. So now A7's also in a world of hurt. Osal does go down as DK try to move across here. Norbu as well, having a little bit of damage taken onto him, but he is going to be able to get this res. The smokes will save them for a little while, or maybe not. No, the car goes out, and so that's going to be Osal taken out completely there. Noble the next to fall. And it is going to be Koa to really just have this nasty angle. Vampires as well. Look at the position, Sandstorm, of Vampires. They are outside of zone, but what a play they have against the rest of Russhawk.
Yeah, but the thing is, what can they do? Because the second they try to get into the zone, too many squads will be focusing on them. They're still doing a lot of damage to APG, though, bringing them down all the way to just one player. And this right here, this is the Maxman curse. Sorry to throw you under the bus there.
One collection पुगेछ नि केटा हो के हो पारा one collection पुरै छैन
might be able to turn it around, knock onto Schweppes. Schweppes forced to go down.
बिला नआनौँ न one collection पुराउँ न.
Still, we have 3 members of Vampire moving onto the duo.
Horusलाई किन इन्भाइट नआको खै यार.
From APG
PUBG
in
अब
and top.
यो टुर्नामेन्ट गराउनलाई सोच्नु पर्छ.
I mean, oh, look at this nade. Woo! I mean, that's a pretty far nade. I couldn't do that, but Top is going to be just chucking one more nade and then trying to get out of dodge along with Zeol. Or maybe not. No, he saw A7 coming in from a mile away, but Top did not, and Top does go down here, I think, because Zeol's just going to be way too busy with A7, and that's going to be APG out. A7, a great nade from Carrillo there. But he is going to be taken on down. VPE, Vampire Esports, up to 4 eliminations.
I feel like one of the mistakes that were made by APG there is the fact that they weren't able to secure their backs. They weren't able to take out Alpha. If they had that opportunity and they took out Alpha, then they definitely would have been able to secure that corner and not let the fight go to the side of Vampire. But because they were sandwiched in by multiple squads, it just became extremely difficult. But now Vampire going for the full push. Schweppes with the backup. That will be their 5th elimination, and they will sweep that side. And look at the zone. All the teams are on the eastern half, or western half rather, while the eastern half only has 1 squad in Vampire.
LGD in the center of things, Sandstorm.
Yeah, I mean, those were my
जबरजस्ती लाइभ बस्नु लाइक अन्त
That is
यो लाइभ गरेको मैले कति पाउनु थाहा छ तिमीहरुलाई प्लाजा गर्दिउ
They have an opportunity to
नगरौँ
take the
होला
lead
तर यार
if they win this game.
एक लाइभको कति दिन्छ थाहा छ.
You can tell why Cellcom Digi want this game in this position, right? So center, so important. As long as you can just keep those smokes going or keep out of the way of the windows, you're golden for the next few minutes. But VPE as well, gonna be trying to get a little bit of a third party going, and that really puts Digi down to kind of limiting those angles because they can't really peek over the top now. It's been just reduced to those nade angles. As Jimmy
Look,
rolls
W
across
busy going
here,
to be
straight
center ma. Center khali
straight
pae
coming
W
in.
busy.
Okay, Jimmy not going to go down just yet, but he is kind of low here. And there we go, just down to 2
Center chhod di rahe
for
chho.
SOCOM. There we go. That's going to be Jimmy takes 1, but gets taken out himself. Ling in, getting taken out with that nade. Whose was that? Tian, LGD, coming in there. There we go. Tian going to make quick work there of them. But that also onto Ling was a self nade, so RIP, or a team nade. But he is going to get res back up. It's fine. You know what? In the chaos, sometimes these things happen. VPE, though, looking to get a little bit of damage here. Tony K cooking up that nade. Moving on down. Not going to do anything too serious, but they do know the affront is there. But VPE have to be so careful.
Right. Yeah, they're trying to time it right by being as careful as possible. Trying to see if they can find that opening, waiting for one of the knocks on LGD and then maybe sweep that. I like Weibo and the position that they have in the zone as well. Weibo are currently focusing on Kino Trope. And look at that also, Vampire with that sweep towards the right. They might be able to steal the elimination onto Mark, take down yet another team, and then we have our final 5 in the second game. Vampire looking to make a statement as well in this game. They have 7 eliminations. They weren't able to get a single point in that first game, but they are more than making up for it now. LGD are able to go back to full strength and heal up. Mark is out. Kinotrope is down. We now have BTR, Vampire, Weibo, and LGD. With LGD having the highest chance, but it's Vampire who has the full squad. But they are in the open. That is the problem.
हिजो यसो च्याट हेर्दा पनि कि च्याट भनेको मसँग इन्टरेक्सन गर्ने जस्तो लागेको थियो कि तर च्याट त मेरो मेसेन्जर रहेछ क्या बुझिनौ मोडहरुले च्याट फिल्टर गर्ने हो कि मेसेन्जर बनाउने हो च्याटलाई यार
the problem, but honestly they've been playing it very well so far. This is much more
Instagram तिर एड गरौ च्याट गरौ Instagram तिर भिडियो कल गरौ भोइस कल गरौ जे गरौ
coming back a little bit, 8 eliminations on the board
पारिवारिक
so
कुराहरु
far.
चाहिँ किन गर्ने
Remember in the last game they got 0 points, so this is a really good game for them to come back and get right back into the thick of things. But you're right, there's some big compounds here with some big teams in them, right? WBG, BTR, and LGD all looking in this area. The only way VPE can realistically do something here is if they wait for one of these 3 teams in the building to start looking at each other. Once that fight starts going down, then you can start picking them off.
And right now, looks like LGD might be getting picked off here. First person goes down. That's to do my hope of winning this prediction just once. I'd like to be correct. LGD not helping a brother out, but wait. Trying to hold on. BTR trying to see if they can get those picks through the wall of smoke. But the thing is, they're kind of distributing themselves a little bit too much. They're focusing on LGD. They're focusing on Weibo. Meanwhile, Vampire are like, hey, you guys take the fight all you want. We will just take the coastline. And I think that actually gets them the game. BTR, beautiful find with that second knock as well. Now it's all down to Tian. Hiding in the bathroom of that building.
INF.
VPE are ready for it as well. Look at the slow push down along this hillside, but they have to be so careful because there is a player BT. Yeah, BTR, Sitar is on that off angle. And he could do some major surprise damage if they don't know he's there. Ling will go down to the play zone. It is just Tian up. But this is where those nades come through, and BTR doing some quick work here. Tian does go out there to Sook's nade. So that's a great little nade coming in from WBG, and this is where Vampire's now starting to move forward. They hear these nades. They know something's going to happen pretty soon. A little bit hasty. Sitar has to let them know that they're not ready yet for that fight. And this is where now VP has to push this.
This is the final fight, Nep. This is the final fight. This is where it all ends, and Vampire absolutely obliterate BTR. They're going to sweep in and take down Weibo, but keep in mind, there is a player on the roof. If he's able to find the knock, but that's it. Position's been given away. So now it's a 2v4. If you send someone on a wide swing on the far end, you don't need it though. Mialo with the second person down. 3-3Z, the last one alive. You don't have... This is the final fight, Nep. This is the final fight. This is where it all ends, and Vampire absolutely obliterate BTR. They are coming to sweep in and take down Weibo, but keep in mind, there is a player on the roof. If he's able to find the knock, but that's it. Position's been given away. So now it's a 2v4. If you send someone on a wide swing on the far end, you don't need it though. Niala with the nades. The first one down. 3-3Z, the last one alive.
Hello.
Back, baby. Let's go. What a game from them. Really, really well played, well timed, well executed. The strategy was sound. The rotations were sound. Really, really good stuff. And a comeback indeed from that first game where just nothing went right for them. They went out very, very early. They are back with vengeance now. Big, big win coming in from them. That is huge.
राम्रो gameplay. ब्रिजबाट हैन कहाँबाट आयो चिकन खाइनाले बीपी कहाँ थियो बीपी स्कुलतिर छ कि के हो स्कुलतिरबाट आएर उसलाई मार्यो एपीजीलाई मार्यो त्यसपछि गएर अर्कोलाई मार्यो अल्फा 7लाई मारिसकेपछि पुरा कन्ट्रोल पाएपछि आनन्दले तेल लगाइ
जाँदैछौँ सानोक तर्फ सानोक सुरु भइसकेको छ आजको दिनको तेस्रो म्याच यस पछाडि दुई म्याच
जाँदा कुनै मिसअन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङै हुँदैन होला
कलेजको कुरा गर्ने भने पछिल्लो म्याच पोइन्ट आएको थिएन उनीहरूको वरपर धेरै फेजमा जब स्ल्याम आयो त्यहाँ नम्बर एडभान्टेज चाहिन्थ्यो मेबी त्यहाँ त्यो नम्बर चाहिन्थ्यो होला जुन उनीहरूसँग रहेको थिएन त्यसले थोरै डिफिकल्ट पनि बनेको थियो क्लोज फाइट देखेर नकसम्म पनि
ज्याबाट त तपाईँ फिनिस
बटुल्दैछ उनीहरूले सर्कलको
लास्ट आइसकेको छ यो पनि हेरौँ है अब
त्यसले गर्दाखेरि थोरै सपोर्ट पनि बनेको थियो केही टाइम अगाडि फिनिक्स पनि लडेको देख्दै थियौँ सर्कलभन्दा बाहिर बट
राम्रो जोन फिनिक्स कलेजलाई
का लागि जानुपर्छ यहाँ लडेर काम छैन भनेर निस्किएको थियो पोजिसनिङ वाइज हेर्ने भने त्यति राम्रो ठाउँमा वाउ भन्ने ठाउँमा त छैन थोरै लोकी नै खेल्नुपर्ने छ एटलिस्ट यो सर्कल वरपरको एलिमिनेसन उठाउन भ्याइन्छ भने त्यो प्रयास गर्नुपर्ने छ बट वरपर पनि को कुद्दैछ फेरि त्यहाँ वेस्ट मिनिस्टर कुद्दैछ
वरपर गाउँभरि हल्ला छ
सकेको छ लबीमा 36 पोइन्ट हानिसक्यो दोस्रो म्याच चलिरहेको छ बट भन्दै क्रिसलाई नक निकालियो फिनिक्स कलेजको तर्फबाट यमीले डाउन गरेका छन् त्यहाँ क्रिसलाई यदि शटडाउन गरिदियो भने वेस्ट मिनिस्टरका लागि पनि ठुलो धक्का लाग्ने छ टिमको
क्रिस भाइलाई पनि खाजा खर्च दिएर बोलाएको छ यार बौजा भाइलाई यार
उनीहरुका लागि पनि सर्कलले ट्रबल दिएको
पक्कै पनि
नक निकाल्ने मौका रहेको थियो अगाडि B2F
हिल गरम न के सर रातेको
हिल गर्न भ्याइन्छ बुस्टर रहेको रहेछ त्यसले गर्दा बचाउँछ आफूलाई भनेर एक्सपेक्ट गरिरहेका छन् ओलालाले सही टाइममा लगाएका रहेछन् नक पनि निकाल्न गए अगाडिपट्टि अन्तिम प्लेयरमा कन्भर्ट भएको छ त्यहाँ ओ सुस ओपनमा मुभ गर्दै थिए कताबाट शट
अहिले हैन अहिले एकछिन क्यान्सल त्यत्रो आदि हेल्थ भएको छ यार अझै
नाम छ भने पछाडी त्यो हो ब्रिटिश कलेज उनीहरुले पनि एलिमिनेसन निकाल्नका लागि प्रयास गर्दैछन् त्यहाँ
अन्ना मर्न लाग्यो
त्यो ओपनमै अगाडि मुभ गर्न खोजिरहेका थिए बट फाइनली शट डाउन गरिन्छ
या गरे कराउँछ फिक्स यिनीहरुले
निस्कियो अब पछाडीपट्टिबाट अर्को टिम पनि एलिमिनेट
ओइ डक यस्तो कराउँछ यिनीहरु ल्यान्ड इभेन्ट हो भने हिरो फिल हुन्छ नि त अनि त कराएपछि त
नम्बर लुज गर्नु परेको थियो बाकी प्रेसिडेन्शियलको टिमलाई
मज्जा आउँछ
के आई बिलिभ मलाई त उनीहरु राम्रै ठाउँमा छन् जस्तो लागिरहेको थियो बट सर्कल शिप सँगै सर्कलको श्रिङ्किन सँगै अगाडि बढ्नु परेको रहेछ क्रिसलाई फिनिश गरियो प्रब्लम बन्दैछ त्यहाँ वेस्ट मिनिस्टरका लागि पनि अन्तिम प्लेयरमा कन्भर्ट भए यता पुरै भिजनमा त देखिरहेका छन् लडाई
ला भेट्यो काण्डमा
हुँदैछ स्प्ल्याश देखिँदैछ बट कहाँबाट
नक भयो
भन्ने बुझिएको थिएन त्यही मिस्टर
कहाँ गीत बज्दैछ
त्यहाँ हेभनले शटडाउन गर्दै थिए वेस्ट मिनिस्टरलाई भनेपछि त्यो ट्रायंगल फाइट चलिरहेको थियो यता गेट कलेज जो फाइट
गेट कलेजले गेट की बान्दैछ
मिराजलाई लुज गर्नु पर्यो भने ट्रायको साथमा रहेको छ फिनिक्स कलेज जब आफ्नो राइट साइड क्लियर गर्न मिल्छ भनेर गएको रहेछ दुई एलिमिनेसन धेरै एग्रेसिभ भएर खेलेको छैन तर थोरै सुझबुझपूर्ण गेम देखाउन फिनिक्सले खोजिरहेको छ राइटमा एकजना प्लेयर नक गरिएको छ
कार रिवाइभ गर्न गएको
गाडी लिएर बचाउन गयो कि त्यो प्लेयर
टाइम छ त अब टाइम नै छैन नि रिवाइभ गर्नलाई
भन्ने छ इनफ्याक्टमा अझ उनीहरुलाई नै च्यालेन्ज बन्ने छ
राइट हेर न राइटमा रिवाइभ गर्न गछ केटा हो के गर्दैछ
जुन प्लेयर हामीले नक निकालेको थियौ त्यो
राइटमा रिवाइभ गर्यो हौ तेरिका के प्लेयर हो
देखेका रहन्छन् एकजना प्लेयरसँग फाइट लिन थालेको त्यो टिम पुरै टिमले त्यही
चार जने अनकन्सियस त हुँदैन होला हो
बट हुन त उता सिनियर फेरि नक भयो
देखेको थियो त तिमीहरुले यार
पुरै टिम उताबाट टिम आयो रिवाइभ गरे गाडीमा बसे साथी गइ नै हाले फिनिक्स कता केमा फोकस हुँदै थियो यता निड गएको थियो त्यसले काम गरेन पोजिसन थाहा छैन स्मोक्स देखिएको भरमा हानिदिन्छ बट पुसको लागि एङ्गल चाहिँ बनाउने कोसिस गरिदिन्छ
ओए
अंशुमानको अगेन्स्टमा मिस्टर देवको मिठो
राम्रो हानेको यार
पाइयो त्यो नकले अलिकता बचायो बट प्लेयर उनका फेरि डाउन भएका छन्
हिल गर तल गर हिल गर
अब
ओ
गाह्रो छ
स्याकमा बम हाने एकजनाले
अंशुमनलाई रिभाइभ गर्ने
स्याकमा
भयो
बम हानेर सकाइदिहाल्यो यो टिमलाई एकछिन
थोरै कम्प्लेक्स हुन सक्थ्यो यदि
बमले चाहिँ हान्दैन हुन्छ
देवसँग यता नक भएको प्लेयरलाई बचाउने कोसिस
बमले चाहिँ हान्दैन हुन्छ रिभाइभ गर
त्यो बिचमा यम्मी डाउन भयो अब
ए
अब
लास्टमा
गाह्रो छ अब यहाँबाट रिकभरी
त्यत्र पछाडि रिच छ त्यहाँ ओपनमा गएर खेल्नु पर्छ
त्यो एउटा प्लेयर बचाइदैछ त्यहाँ गएर रिभाइभ गर्ने भन्ने सोच्ने भने भर्खरै त्यही फिनिश भएको छ
ल
प्लेयर
ल ल ल ल मरे 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 मरे
भन्ने पनि टिमले बुझेको कुरा र टप 4 मा आएको छ एक्सन एक साइडबाट गेट कलेजको कोसिस छ मिस्टर देव
ल स्याक भित्रबाट मारो सबैलाई यार
बचेका थिए फिनिक्स कलेजबाट बट उनी फिनिश हुन
स्याक भित्रबाट सबैलाई मारो बाहिर
ब्रिटिश कलेज छ त्यहाँ एमआईटी लाई देख्छौँ अनि गेट कलेजलाई हामी त्यहाँ देख्न सकिन्छ फाइनल सर्कलको क्लास वेस्ट मिनिस्टर यो म्याचमा अलिकता अलि निस्क्यो बट स्टिल म्याच 1 को पॉइंट्स यति धेरै थियो कि उनीलाई
रिचको फाइट हो उठाउन न केटा उठाउन
पनि गाह्रै छ
रिचको फाइट हो उठाउन त
लिएर बसेको छ आई थिंक होस्ट कलेज पनि उनीहरू रहेको प्लेयरको पोजिसन देखिएको छ राइटबाट मेबी युसलाई त्यो साइडबाट घुम भनेर
त्यो मसिन भन्ने गन चाहिँ के घरले जानलाई राखेको हो हानौ न मसिन
जस्तो लाग्यो त्यो बिचमा यता मेताबी
एमएस अन होइन रहेछ भने म जे भने त्यही गर्छु एमएस अन हो यो
नो F30 आई डोन्ट नो कसरी प्रोनाउन्स गरौँ म त्यो अर्को प्लेयरलाई देखिएको छ त्यो प्लेयर कहाँ गयो रिभाइभ गर्नको लागि थोरै फोकस गरेको छ त्यता जाँदैछ भने
ए मसिन होइन रहेछ त्यो त डबल ब्यारल रहेछ
गेट कलेजलाई त्यही एकजना प्लेयरले त्यही एक पोजिसनबाट पुरै डुबाइदिए तलपट्टि
ओ म सक्यो भन्दै होला लास्टमा त बाकी छ हान न गएर ज्यापै
कहानी जान मिल्छ त्यो
ओए हिरो मली बम हान्यो
अब त स्पट
यो बम छिर्दैन रे बम छिर्दैन
सानो टाइम फ्रेम पाएका थियो त्यो नक निकाले टिपीपी लिँदै कभर लिँदै उनले नक निकाल्ने अर्को पनि मौका बन्न सक्छ बट हेड मात्र एक्सपोज हुन्थ्यो उनको त्यहाँबाट हेड मात्र एक्सपोज हुन्थ्यो अगाडिपट्टिको टिमलाई खासै गाह्रो हुन्थेन ब्रिटिश कलेज हाम्रो जो होस्ट कलेज रहेको थियो उनीहरूले बनाएको छ यो त्यो अवस्था त एक्ज्याक्टली होइन यता होल्ड गरेर बसिरहेका छन् बाटोबारी बाटोपारी बसेर बिचबाट हाइवेमा कोही गयो भने त्यसलाई कुट्ने सायद प्लान रहेको हुन सक्छ माथिबाट चम्काएको रहेछ त्यही भएर क्विकली पप आउट अगाडिपट्टि फाइट इनिसिएट
केएमसी भर्सेस कसको
रन्छ लड्नका लागि कसरी भएका प्लेयरलाई उठाउने मौका सायद पर्न सक्थ्यो होला कोही पनि त्यो साइडमा जान अहिलेको लागि त एटलिस्ट इन्ट्रेस्टेड देखिएका छैनन् तीनजनाको यता क्लोजिङ आइसक्यो भने पछाडि पहिले फाइट जित्यौ भने अनि रिभाइभ गरौँला साथी तिमीलाई त्यति बेर बाँच्यौ भने स्टन लगाउने प्रयास डिएक्सले गर्दैछन् बट त्यो स्टनले चम्काउँछ त ओ चम्काएको त थियो बट अलिक टाढाबाटै चम्काएको रहेछ त्यही भएर क्विकली पप आउट भइ नै हाल्यो फ्ल्यास फ्ल्यास लगाएपछि अगाडि इनिसिएट गरिन्छ कि जस्तो लागेको थियो बट नो पछाडिपट्टि बाइ द वे मैले बुटक्याम्प हिलमा अर्को टिम पनि आएको देखिरहेको छ जुन आई बिलिभ ब्रिटिश कलेजको टिम रहेको छ सो उनीहरूले पनि यसो रेन्जबाट काहीँ काहीँ देख्यो भने सर्ट दिनका लागि चाहिँ भ्याउने छैन सो अब एआर राम्रै छ ठिकठाक छ एम्फर पाइयो स्कोप राम्रो पाइयो भने त बुटक्याम्पसम्म राम्रो एङ्गल तपाईँले इजिली बनाउन सक्नुहुनेछ स्पेसली अझ छतमा गएर कोही फाइट लिन खोज्यो भने त तपाईँको लागि इजी एलिमिनेसन त्यो रहनेछ अहिलेको लागि सलोक रहेका छन् वेट गरेर बसिरहेका छन् हातमा सर्ट गन छ 44 एमो लुटेका रहेछन् साथीले भयभरको बुटक्याम्पको सर्ट गनको एमो त आफै उठाए जस्तो छन् साथीले थाहा छैन कहाँबाट सर्ट आयो भनेर माथिबाट आएको हो साथी सर्ट यहाँ नजिक होइन टाढा भएको टिमले सर्ट दिँदैछ तपाईँलाई एचपी कम भयो हिलिङ आइटम छ कि छैन निकालि नै हाल्यो ब्रिटिश कलेजले नक रेन्जबाट नक ज्याक्सलाई उठाइएको रहेछ अर्को प्लेयर फेरि डाउन भयो अब ट्रबल त बढी सालोक डाउन अर्को प्लेयरको एचपी कम रहेको छ सालोकको एलिमिनेसन सेक्योर गरियो सिनियरको तर्फबाट एक एलिमिनेसन आयो फ्री फायर दिने प्रयास गरेको थियो बट नो उता टाढाबाट अंशुमनले फेरि नक निकालिदिए हेभनको एचपी कम रहेको छ अगाडिबाट प्लेयर प्रेसिङ गर्नका लागि आउन खोज्दै थिए बट नो त्यो बिचमा एक गर्दै केएमसीका प्लेयरहरूलाई डाउन गरियो 3 जना प्लेयरको एलिमिनेसन सेक्योर गरियो ब्रिटिश कलेजले निकालेको त हो दुईटा मिठो नक बट त्यो दुईटा मिड कलेज भने के हो गडा फुल बम अंशुमनले नक निकाल्दै थिए आई बिलिभ माथिबाट ओ एलिमिनेसन अंशुमनले पनि उठाउन भ्याएका रहेछन् ल अंशुमन अब चाहिँ यो म्याचमा चाहिँ अवार्ड जितेर अवार्ड अंशुमन
के हो यो
उता टाढाबाट अंशुमनले फेरि नक निकालिदिए उठाउन भ्याएका रहेछन् ल अंशुमन अब चाहिँ यो म्याचमा चाहिँ अवार्ड जितेर अवार्ड उठाउन भ्याएका रहेछन् ल अंशुमन अब चाहिँ यो म्याचमा चाहिँ
यसले डिस्कनेक्ट थियो यो एसबी गोड एक्स भन्ने पक्कै पनि बाहिरबाट आएको हो अघिसम्म बाहिर देखिरहेको थिए बाहिरबाट आएर यहाँ बसेर सुतिसकेछ सुतेर उता हेर्दैछ यो अनि यो हल्लिँदैछ अझै
अवार्ड जितेर
यसले त देख्न पर्ने हो त यो आएर सुतेको त
अवार्ड अंशुमन भन्नु पर्यो लेट्स गो
यसलाई हल्लेको सुन्यो अनि फर्केर आनेको
सरी मलाई अब अवार्डतर्फ खासै लगाव चाहिँ छैन भन्दै साथी बाहिर निस्किसकेको छन्
राम्रो नक निकाले रेन्जको नक निकालेका थिए एलिमिनेसन सिक्योर गर्न भ्याइने छैन
मिस्ड
त्यही
कलेज मोडल इन्स्टिट्युसन अफ टेक्नोलोजी हो र
अमन त्यहाँ सर्ट दिँदैछन् उनले डाउन गर्नेछन् ब्रिटिस कलेज
यो मोडलहरू कलेज चाहिँ किन छैन धेरै
गर्नका लागि त्यहाँ प्रयास गर्दै थियो
ब्रिटिश कलेज अरे नेपाली कलेज भन्ने कलेज छ
भण्डारी मेमोरियल कलेजका लागि ट्रबल बन्दैछ न्युटनलाई पनि फिनिश
नेपाली कलेज बनाउन के हो ब्रिटिश कलेज मोडल कलेज काठमाडौँ मोडल कलेज
गएको थियो बाटो क्रस गरेर इनफ्याक्टमा खोला क्रस
मोडल कलेज छ त
देखाउँदै वेस्टमिन्स्टरको टिम अनि उनीहरूले रिजल्ट पनि निकाल्दैछन् त्यसमा अमनको तेस्रो नक
यो हावा नहेर पबजी टुर्नामेन्ट त हेरौँ न
पीसीपीएस रेन्जमा सर्ट दिँदैछ
पबजी मोबाइल अफिसियलले गरेकै हो
एकजना प्लेयर निरज रावरले फेसमा गुमाउनु परेको थियो बाकी ट्रायल
प्रोडक्सन राम्रै छ क्यारे प्रोडक्सन राम्रो भएछ हेर्न मजा आउँछ क्या गेम जस्तो भए पनि
सानोकमा छौँ हामी एउटा मात्रै सानो खेली नि हो अहिले क्लासेसहरू टन्नै देखियो ट्रेड गेम पनि त्यहाँ देखियो अनि वेस्टमिनिस्टर कलेजको थोरै कन्फिडेन्स पनि देखियो साथीले 29 एलिमिनेसन बनाइसकेका छन् तेस्रो म्याच लोडिङमा चलिरहेको छ भनेपछि देखाउँदैछ के चाहिँ हामी गर्न सकिन्छ भनेर एनिवे अब म्याचमा अझै पनि धेरै स्टेज बाँकी रहेको छ 15 पोइन्टको लिड उनीहरूले बनाए 12-13 को अलमोस्ट रहेको थियो यो म्याच बफर उनीहरूले पाउँछ भन्दै थियो उता प्रेसिडेन्शियल कलेजको प्लेयर
4 पोइन्ट
काइजिन याद छ मलाई डिलेमेसो भेराडिलमा क्लियर गर्न सकेको थियो उनीहरू दो जोन उनीहरूको साइडमा एटलिस्ट एज दिने गरी भन्दा पनि पोइन्ट्स चाहिँ तान्न सकेको होइन उनीहरू नक चाहिँ फेस गर्दैछन् 7 पोइन्ट्स मात्रै छ ह्यासट्याग बान त धेरै टाढा अब गइसकेको जस्तो देखिरहेको छु मैले त्यो बिचमा फँसेको पनि अवस्था देख्न सकिन्छ स्मोक लगाएर खोलाबाट अझै फर्दर मोर अगाडिपट्टि जान सकिन्छ पीसीपीएसले आँखा गाडेर बसिरहेको छ बट डच गर्न सकिन्छ यो एङ्गल चाहिँ डच गर्न सकिन्छ यदि प्लेयरले पिक गर्न चाह्यो भने त्यसपछि त आफ्नै खुट्टामा बन्चरो हान्ने काम भइहाल्यो त्यहाँ सायद त्यो नगरिएला यता एमआइटी 4 एलिमिनेसन गेम बनाइसक्यो उनीहरूले अर्ली फेजमा नै निकाल्दै थियो पोइन्ट्स टेबलमा पनि 18
इभेन्टमा गएर खेला भए त मैले
पोडियम फिनिस सबै टिमहरु कोसिस चाहिँ रहनेछ वेस्टमिनिस्टर कलेज यो बचेको एक म्याच धेरै राम्रो खेल्यो अब अझै एउटा म्याच डिसेन्ट खेल्दै भने पनि त्यो टिम अनटचेबल बन्ने छ पोइन्ट्स टेबलमा त्यति लिड बन्छ भनेपछि बाँकी टिमहरुको लागि त्यो जुन बचेको सेकेन्ड र थर्ड पोजिसन कसले लाने त्यसको लागि ब्याटल बन्न सक्छ स्टिल म भन्दै पनि छु फेरि बीचमा कि यो म्याप स्पेशली कसैको लागि लटरी लाग्ने खाले बन्न पनि सक्छ ड्रोजे
एमसन
डिरोज हेर न कसरी प्रोनाउन्स गरौँ साथीलाई बट साथीले यहाँ नक चाहिँ निकालेका थिए थ्रोएबल जाँदैछ उनी पनि स्पटेड रहेको छन् हेभनको साइडबाट रहेको थियो थ्रोएबल कता फाले त्यो मैले पनि देख्न पाइनँ त्यो हेभनको एसपी अलरेडी कम भइसकेको छ थ्रोएबल्स गएको थियो त्यसले नक निकाल्छ कि भन्ने डर थियो तामाङ सर V2 नक भएको किलफिडमा मैले देखेँ डिरोज नै भने मैले नेड फाल्दैछन् उनी त्यसले काम गर्दैन त्यो एङ्गल कभर भएको पनि छैन युटिलिटी त्यहाँ युज हुन पुग्यो सर्कल जानुपर्ने रहेछ 200 मिटर त्यो बिचमा तपाईँ बिजी हुनुहुन्छ फाइटमा हुन त एकजना प्लेयर अफ एङ्गलमा निकालेको छ अघिल्लो म्याचमा काइजेनलाई मैले अफ एङ्गलमा देखेको थिएँ यो म्याचमा पनि अलमोस्ट प्लेयरहरू अफ एङ्गलमा राखेको छ सो साथीहरूको पनि प्रिपरेसन राम्रै भएको रहेछ देख्न सकिन्छ
यहाँ थोरै ऱ्यापअप गर्ने प्रयास भइरहेको छ त्यहाँ टिमलाई उता एसिएमी र सफ्रिकाको बिचमा ट्रेड ब्याटल चलिरहेको थियो त्यही बिचमा काइजेन जो अफ एङ्गलको कुरा हामी गरिरहेको थियौँ उनी डाउन हुन पुगे किङ्स कलेजको पनि एङ्गल बन्ने रहेछ गाह्रो बन्यो थोरै गाह्रो बन्यो अब आरु दादालाई हाल्दो लुज गर्नु
किङ्स कलेजले के खेल्दैछ
फाइट ब्याक देखाउने एटलिस्ट अहिलेको लागि खोजिरहेको छ त्यो रेन्जमा
जोनको बाहिर कम्पाउन्डमा
जानुपर्ने ट्रबल हुन सक्छ पछाडिबाट उ हेर्नु त पहेँलो कलरमा गड्डट स्याडो ट्र्याकिङमा देख्दै हुन्छ भेहिकल गुरुङ अगाडि बढेको त्यहाँ एटलिस्ट मुभमेन्ट चलिरहेको थियो मिठो नक निकाले जेरीले राम्रो नक निकाले सायद अब बचाउनका लागि सकिन्छ होला बाँकी दुईजना पार्टनरले उतापट्टि प्रेसर बनायो भने आफू गएर बचाउन सकिन्छ कि आफ्ना पार्टनरलाई भनेर पक्का पनि प्रयास चल्नेछ थ्रोएबल छ भने फाल्नु होला बट यति बेरमा अगाडि जुन थ्रोएबल फालिँदै थियो डज हुँदै थियो त्यसले गर्दा काउन्ट पनि अब एटलिस्ट मैले यो प्लेयरसँग त देखिरहेको छैन बाँकी ड्रोजसँग देखिरहेको छ त्यो हेर्नुपर्ने छ उता पीसीपीएस उनीहरूले पनि सर्कलको एउटा एज होल्ड गरेको थियो रेन्जमा नक निकाल्यो एमआइटीको एगेन्स्टमा एमआइटीले बुटकेमा राम्रो फाइट देखाएको हो अर्ली फेजमा नै जब केएमसीलाई निकाल्दै थियो उनीहरूले यता एक्लै घुस्नेहरू साथी पार्टनरलाई वेट गर्न सकिन्छ ल देखेँ अगाडिपट्टि प्लेयर देखेँ नो सर्टगन धोका दिइरहेको छ सर्टगन कनेक्ट भइरहेको छैन फाइनल्ली हेभनको एगेन्स्टमा कनेक्ट हुन्छ फिनिस नै गर्नको लागि प्रयास गर्नेछन् र नो खोज्दै थियो बट स्कोप खोल्न पार्टनर भने एलिमिनेसन त निकाले एटलिस्ट त्यो एउटा पार्टनर बस्थ्यो होला बट नो थोरै लेट भयो दुई साइडबाट चिप्ने प्रयास
ब्यान्डेज उठाऊ हिलिङ उठाऊ
यहाँ टिमका लागि निकालियो 11 इन्डिभिजुअल
Congratulations है 4
रेन्जमा
point
पर्छ
पुगेकोमा
जसलाई नक निकालेको थियो त्यहाँ फिनिस गर्नका लागि बारम्बार प्रयास त चलिरहेको छ उनको पनि उता एसिएमी र एमआइटीको फाइट जुन चलिरहेको थियो यता गेट कलेज पनि फाइटमा इन्भल्भ हुन आइपुगेको छ उनका प्लेयर डाउन हुँदैछन् एक नक त निकाल्दै थिए त्यहाँ बट नो एसलाई निकाल्यो
हेलो
एसिएमीको
सुरु
टिमलाई
भयो उता
निकाल्यो
सुरु भयो
4 एलिमिनेसन गेटले पनि
सुरु
उठाउन
भयो
गयो
उता
त्यो
सुरु भयो
आफ्ना नक भएका पार्टनर पनि अब रिभाइभ गर्नका लागि उनीहरूले भ्याउ
Chicken dinner. Go over to the side of Alpha 7 in game number 1, and then we had a stellar
WBG
performance
खेल्दैछ
from
यास्ना
Vampire in
पोलियाना
game number 2.
आइएनएफ
So
भन्ने
now,
खेल्दैछ
once
रोज
again,
ठिक छ
ladies
यो
and
राम्रो कुरा
gentlemen,
हो
boys
हामीले
and girls, I would love to
WBG
be
भन्ने
asking
हाम्रो
you
वर्ल्ड कपमा
what
छैन नि
team is going to be winning
राम्रो
game number 3, and why is it going to be Reject? Oh, I'll tell you. Because the zone is you know what? Because it's Reject. Reject's gonna do it. I'm not gonna justify or explain. It's a prediction for a reason.
But okay.
It's not. I'm not. Yes.
They have 4 points in 2 games.
Yes.
You think they're gonna win this next game?
Yes.
This game.
Excuse me. You're talking about the 2024 PMGO champions,
Listen,
okay?
I love Rejects.
They pushed Alpha 7 to their limits time and time again in these global tournaments. So now with Alpha 7 at the top, I don't think
यो
Reject are going
टुर्नामेन्टमा
to be too happy
चाइनिजहरु
with
मध्ये
that, and they're going to try
वान
to
हुने
follow up and
क्वालिफाई
do
हुन्छ
something as
हैन
well.
WC मा
I mean, I'd love to see that. I just don't think it's
यस
this game.
मध्येबाट
That's all
चाइनिज
I'm saying.
टिमहरुलाई मात्रै चाहिँ समथिङ
But who
You see,
knows?
the
It could
difference
be.
is I'm a
यस्तो छ
believer. I believe in
तिम्रो
every single one of
Chinese
these
team
teams. You know,
मध्येमा
every single one of the teams that are here, they've been invited for a
यता
reason.
कतिवटा टिम छ
Sure.
चाइनाको एउटा
That's
दुईटा
true.
I mean, look, I'm just
चारवटा
being
टिम
positive.
मध्येमा तिम्रो
Hey, you
दुईटा
know
हो
what?
कि
We all
तीनटा
need a
क्वालिफाई
little
हो
bit of
हैन
positivity, especially when it
वर्ल्डको
comes
लागि
to PUBG
कतिवटा क्वालिफाई हो
Mobile. Because we got a lot of teams here
PL
who
बाट
maybe
क्वालिफाई
could
भएर
use a
आएको
little
होइन
bit
र
of a
PL
boost.
को
I mean,
पोइन्टमा
we did
पनि
say Boing
यिनीहरुको
Donkey got
जति
those
पोइन्ट
2
आउँछ नि
points for 2
त्यसमध्ये
games, right? And
त्यहाँबाट
even
PL
actually a
पोइन्टमा
lot of these
प्लस
teams
हुन्छ क्या
that we
भन्नु
thought
खोजेको
might
चाहिँ
be on the top of the charts,
सम्झाउँछ
right? DK,
यो
Thunder
गाई
Talk as well. Influence Rage only having 7 points on the board. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to beat those scores in the next few games. And again, it's the first day, right? There's going to be a few growing pains here and there. This is not the final result we're going to see from them. But let's see how these teams grow, how these teams adapt to this lobby, because I will say these kinds of events, it makes for a very different lobby than both sides, both regions are actually used to.
If you show sensi code
Well,
or
you
control
know
code
what?
that you played in PMSL, I
You
will
know what?
super chat first and I
What,
will show
Natty?
you.
What?
Okay?
Okay, you should give me your prediction. Because, I mean, I gave one. Now you have to give one.
My prediction?
Yeah.
My prediction?
You wanna go even higher and take even more time to think about who you're gonna pick?
Okay, देखाउँछु ल
Okay.
Hey!
Fine. We're going with
Yeah.
APG again? Alright.
Yeah.
Boys and girls, you need to let me know who you're picking.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Put it in the chat. We
And
are
also,
reading,
of course,
by the way.
Maxman. Who is winning?
Hi.
Maxman. Yeah, who's taking game number 3, Maxman, and why is it APG one more time?
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. and you know, I also one thing I would love to do with the chat is I would love to figure out how because we have a lot of people watching the games. I think we were reaching around 6,000 or 7,000 at least.
Don't worry, I will
while
not
we are
scam you, trust me, I want you, bro,
So
chill.
from the people that are watching, I want to know
First,
how many
super
people are
chat
supporting
and
each
then
team. So for the next minute or two,
I have
guys,
it
hit
ready,
me with
loaded.
the team that you are supporting. I want to see who has the most supporters on the English stream for the PMHI.
Oh, yo PL point मा
I want to see that too. Guys, take it away.
PL point मा तिम्रो
We
point
want
जोडिन्छ
to
का यसरी
see that. Influence Rage is going to be moving on into
यो
what I
point
call now
जोडिन्छ
the
का
recall
first second third
compound
लाई
because I don't know what
अनि
the
यो
other name for this is.
PL
There you go.
point बाट तिम्रो
No recalls, of
GC
course, in
जान्छ कि
this lobby
WC
in
जान्छ
these
कतै न
settings,
कतै
but they are
जान्छ
in
है
classic matches.
ओ
So
यो
it looks like the zone has been
यो
centered
point
up
यो
around that Pachinki
त्यो
Potato
PL
Hill
point को लागि
area.
कुरिरहेछ
You're going to see a lot of teams coming through and trying to do something here. I will say, I want to talk just quickly while they're on
अब
screen.
यो हङकङ इन्भिटेसनलबाट जसले धेरै थन्डरडक्स त क्वालिफाई भइसकेर अब हङकङ इन्भिटेसनलबाट 30 पोइन्ट जसले ल्याउँछ तीनटै मध्येमा त्यो क्वालिफाई हुन्छ का बुझ्नु अब तीनटा मध्येमा एउटा क्वालिफाई हुन्छ फेरि यो फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड थर्ड चाहिँ यिनीहरुको र्याङ्किङ है एक अर्काको र्याङ्किङ है जस्तै अब टिएनबा टेबल स्पटमा कतिमा छ अहिले एलजिडी अगाडि छ भनिसकेपछि एलजिडीले 30 पोइन्ट पाउँछ त्यसपछि गएर टिएनबा लास्टमा छ भनिसकेपछि टिएनबाले 10 पोइन्ट विभोले 15 पोइन्ट विभोको 15 पोइन्टमा कति हुन्छ 55 पोइन्ट पुग्छ टिएनबाको 10 पोइन्टमा 60 पुग्छ एलजिडीको 45 मा 30 जोड्यो भने 75 पुग्छ एलजिडी क्वालिफाई हुन्छ अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ है
And Kinotrope will also be at PMWC by winning that. So this is also one of the teams that we will be seeing.
I also did same mission with Erdami. Let me see our one.
So yeah, you know, again, this is going to be one of these games where it's a test to see what their level is going to be internationally. Yes, we see teams performing regionally incredibly so, but the second you get to the international level, it gets a little bit more difficult, and then that's when the stress starts.
तीनटा चाइनिज टिम मध्येमा एउटा क्वालिफाई तीनटा मध्येमा एउटा क्वालिफाई हुन्छ तीनटा मध्येमा एउटा क्वालिफाई हुन्छ टिएनबा डब्ल्युबीजी एलजीडी जो चाहिँ माथि हुन्छ त्यो क्वालिफाई हुन्छ वर्ल्ड कपको लागि How much you want? I will give you an.
Putting them in that first place.
How much can you
so we'll see
send?
What else they can do. That was way to the north side, though. That was over by Severny and north of Yaz. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Doc just going to be refueling, getting a little bit of a pit stop going before off he goes to join his team. And they've made it across the river.
PMWC ठुलो के PMGC
from the island.
PUBG मल टुर्नामेन्ट अनुसार त GC नै ठुलो हो प्राइस पुल चाहिँ अब वर्ल्ड कपको धेरै हुन सक्थ्यो केही कारणले नभएको हो किनभने PUBG ले आफूले गराएको टुर्नामेन्ट सबसे ठुलो हुनु पर्यो नि त त्यही भएर
I do have to say it's just like reading those
India ले परमिट पाउँछ के को परमिट के थाहा मलाई यार थाहा भएन
specifically I want to say like Doc and Top
पाउला नि
I am very curious to see what's going to happen with the team like APG after winning their PMSL very recently. Will they be able to add this to it? Yes, it's an invitational. And it may not be as stressful as the rest of the tournaments that they compete in, like PMWC or PMGC, PMGOs, PMW, all the big boy ones. But still, it is valuable experience and definitely helps the team's momentum, I want to say.
Come on, only cars. Let's go. Where is the super chat?
You're going to PMWC. I feel like just from there, your team's going to be on fire. And they're going to be feeling so incredibly confident. And it's not going to be overconfidence. It's not going to be like, oh, everyone's telling them that they're amazing and they're going to win. No, because they've won time and time again. And they now have that confidence to prove it again and do it again, I feel.
Oh, hang on. WBG moving on in onto what was that?
Oi, Zara ko the yaar.
Federal's just over peaking that a little bit. That might just save A7 here. Might just try and get that revive going. BTR get that revive as well, but Ryan does not care. He's going for it. So is the buggy. Squash goes down next, and A7 just getting picked apart there. Huge loss there for A7. Squash going down there as well. Means that BTR are able to grab those points, get this if they don't want to fight WBG, they don't have to here. The zone's moving in, so this might just be a disengage.
Might just be, they don't want to be making those
मेरो
kinds of
बटन यहाँ नहीं रे
this early on in the
हानम न
tournament,
त्यतिकै भए पनि हानम न
tournament.
उले हानेर मात्रै हान्ने हो र
Because
त्यतिकै
this
भए
is
नि हानम
always
न
one thing I feel like we discuss a decent amount, which is
हामी यही छौं त कडा हो ई हो र
yes,
स्पोर्ट्स
how
एचई
close do you want to be at the first place? And I guess not just that, but like not exposing yourself to too many times. I guess too many different teams in the early stages. Just don't lose a player and then rotate. Lose another player and then rotate. You won't be able to get that many points. So just don't put yourself in those kind of sticky situations.
कते कमे अस्ति टुक बडा रे
We don't like sticky. It's never good. DRX
त्यस्तो
looking for some...
कमाई भन्दैन क्या
Like
त्यसलाई
sticky,
त्यसलाई
never
माया
good.
भन्छ क्या
Yeah, you heard.
Imagine if they had sticky grenades in here as well.
Oof. Yeah, is that not a thing? Because I have seen them in
Semtex.
tournaments before. Okay.
वर्ल्ड कपमा सेम लाइनअप
yeah,
जान्छ कि अलि
Semtex
चेन्ज
nades
छ
or I guess
होरा
yeah, Semtex
स्पोर्ट्सको
nades sticky. It's different. I'm not talking about a block of
होरा
C4.
स्पोर्ट्सको लाइनअपमा
No.
4
Like in certain maps.
5 जना
No,
चेन्ज
I'm not
हुन्छ
talking about that. I'm talking about like a Semtex grenade. You throw it, it just instantly sticks to the first thing it hits.
Yep.
2-3 seconds, boom.
Yep. Oh, and the zone
I don't think that requires cooking either. But
No,
what
it
is cooking
doesn't.
is the zone.
The zone is cooking. I'll give it that. The zone is definitely cooking. We are looking at a pretty decent zone for a lot of teams. It's going to be absolute chaos over towards Milta, over towards the farm area. But look at DK split across that north side of zone. A 1-1-2 split going on there. Huge
म
for
मात्रै
them.
हुन्छु बाकी
Influence
सबलाई
rate,
फेरि भेल हो क्या अब
rejects, team spirit, all
मैले
with
सोचिसकेँ
massive
क्या
splits across this north side of zone. So if they can all play that well, then it looks like the south side is going to get very, very crowded because there's just no room up there.
मैले सोचिसकेँ फोडिएमका अब बाबुहरूलाई मैले लिएर आउँछु होरामा
And there
अनि
wasn't
त्यसपछि
a
तिनीहरूलाई
lot
राखेर
of room
खेलाउँछु
for a lot of the teams in the chat because remember we did ask the lovely people in our chat to give us their or show their support for their teams. Not really a prediction, but show their support really. And from what I've seen, APG has the most fans it seems at the moment. So quite a lot of people supporting them.
I like to see what BTR are doing. They're really just rolling
La, la,
around
la,
trying
la,
to
la,
take
la,
out
la,
anybody
la.
that they can.
एक
Very,
SBR,
very aggressive,
एक
but
SBR.
Diego might just be a little bit more aggressive than them. Razy unable to do damage there onto Diego. Diego does go down, will get flushed out, so that is going to be a trade. He's just a little bit too far from the rest of his team there, but I really do like what BTR have been doing.
Oi.
They were just moving in, taking shots, and taking names. Just getting over to where they need to be. Voin Donkey, on the other hand, another team that we want to see something from. One more player does get knocked, so Influence Rage dealing with two teams. One on either side here. One with a little bit more success than the other. But I will say, Sandstorm, Voin Donkey's spot is pretty good. This is that dip that's so famous. Might just save them here.
Yeah, it might, but they just have to watch their backs. Make sure they have cover provided as well. Influence Rage, 8 eliminations or 8 points so far.
PMGC Android phone बाटै हो ओ
Kind of quiet.
PMGC
for
अहिलेसम्म
the first couple of
आइफोनमा
games.
कहिले भएको थियो र कहिले पनि भएको थिएन
LGD, they had a fantastic position in the previous game. Just were not able to. I want to say the building that they
Trust
had
me,
in
I
the,
will
in
support
the
that
previous
भनेर
game,
मान्छे हराइदिएर
they
अब यार
ended
त्यो
up
ब्रो त
having
यार
the zone on it in the very end.
ये नान्छु भनेर
They had
भागेर
one of
यार
their players in that building and could have made it all the way there. They could have reunited there, had the center zone. Then again, hindsight, 2020 at the moment.
Always. always. Wait a second.
WC को लागि कहिलेबाट रेडी गर्ने हो यो पालि त सबैजनालाई खुसी पार्ने अलिक खेल्नु होला ब्रो
A little bit of an altercation going over there, and the zone does center
धेरै धेरै
up
धन्यवाद
to
for the
this
support
side,
chat.
so could be something interesting here. Mafioso doing the damage though.
Whoa!
Down, but the rest of LGD are
अलि
moving on in.
जोसेर भन्नु
1v3
पर्यो है
cannot happen even with the S12K, and his teammate comes
कस्तो
in a
गर्मी
little too
भएको
late
फ्यान
here.
जति त
Leo next up on the chopping block, but he's just a solo. What can he do against 3 DBSs? He can do
नभए त तपाईँ अस्ति
absolutely nothing. A7 will
UK
be
जानु
going out
भएन
in
घुम्न गयो त यार
16th place, the
गएको त
first team to be gone from this lobby.
15 minutes.
नयाँ
into
हुनेले
the
लाइक
game,
सब्स्क्राइब गर्न नबिर्सनु
our
होला बाहिर
first
हुनेले
team
पनि
is finally
मेम्बरशिप लिन
eliminated,
नबिर्सनु
and
होला है
it is the first place spot eliminated by the second place spot in LGD. But I think there may be a
PMNC
third
qualified
party coming in, and
अब
this
तिमीले
is
आइफोनको
DK
अगेन्स्टमा
Follows
कम्पिट
up
गर्दाखेरि
great on
कस्तो
CN,
हुन्छ
looks
मलाई
great
मजाले
first
थाहा
one.
भएन
Who
हेर मैले
knows?
धेरै खेलेको छैन आइफोनको
This fight has
अगेन्स्टमा
been here, and
Android to Android यसो हेर्दाखेरि राम्रो छ स्मुथ छ हैन रेकर्डको बिना रेकर्ड नगरिकन खेल्छौ भने राम्रो छ गेम प्लेको के रे PUBG को लागि मात्रै साह्रो राम्रो छ सुपर च्याट आयो त खै कन्ट्रोल सुपर च्याट उले अर्कोले गरेको हो आफूले आफूलाई भरोसा गर लुका मुझी भरोसा आया आज दाइको रिजल्ट कङ्ग्रेचुलेसन है सबैलाई
Vampire have a chance in this third game now. And DK are out with another, my lord, with another fourth party, I believe, on that. But Mafioso taking down one, securing that elimination as well. He bought so much time. If Carrillo was any closer in that situation, Alpha 7 would have won that. And I'm not sure what would have happened with DK, but so much loot now available in that location now.
So much loot. Oh my goodness me, I'd be having a field day if I were them. Really nice stuff from DK as well. I mean, it was so close. Those nades were really good. The exploding vehicles as well. But they're able to res back up to a duo, and that is vital in a zone like this, right? Oh my goodness, not gonna be having a good day. That zone, or that nade going straight into the zone of gonna be probably an Elim picked right on up. I don't think DRX can do anything about it. No, not at all. That's gonna be missing all his shots first. GG's Mark on stream and everything, but he does get it done eventually here. Big stuff happening to the south side.
We also have Cole at the moment. Threats coming in, a little bit of shots coming in from KN. Kinotrop, and you also have APG on that southern side. But this zone shift benefits both Team Spirit and APG, but that compound that Team Spirit have is going to give them so much to work with. In fact, is scouting a little bit too far out though. Not sure if he's going to be able to come back to his team. They will provide him the cover. He will be able to go back. Tiamba, who's also been very quiet in today's games, I have to say.
APG do take out Influence Rage in the meantime, so that's going to be another team falling. And KN, they're moving in, doing some work. Just that one Elim on the board so far, but look at the way that Tamara is actually scouting out away from his team, really doing some work. Nice little smoke, able to let him run around a little bit more, trying to get this off angle onto DRX. Meanwhile, Rejects and APG. If that had been a nade, that would have done some damage, but no, Reject's gonna just ski-daddle out of there. Get out of the way of APG entirely here. Osal. No, that's not Osal. Whoa! That's Tamar. What? What are those sprays? Sandstorm just grabbing two of those Elims just like that is huge.
That is absolutely huge for this team, as they are now jumping into 7th place at the moment, and they're getting closer and closer to contending with the big boys here. Meanwhile, DRX, they lose Noes, and now they are down to the last player. Trying to push away chips from the side of DK, but DRX really in a spot of trouble right now. Losing 3 of their members, and the last one not even able to get into the zone, it seems.
What?
Damage will start to tick, and then we see the... Okay, hold on.
Hang on.
What is happening here with Thunder Talk? Jing in a 1v2 against 2 people driving around. It's Divine, it's Chulo. He decides to go for the heal first, but gets shot through the smoke, and Chulo secures it. Reject. Take out Thunder Talk. Vampire also goes down. Chips from DK taking the fight, but Kinotrope are everywhere, and they get their 7th on the board as well. 7 eliminations for them. 5 teams left. 17 players left alive in this zone. And APG, what have you got for us, boys? I know you got something stored. You got a fantastic position at the moment. A lot of the teams have been feeling the pressure. A lot of the teams have been using their stims, their hails, their meds, their smokes. You should be able to have an advantage. It's been kind of quiet on the front of APG.
But that's where they're the scariest, though, Sandstorm, is when APG are quiet, they're saving all their power for that end game. So when they're quiet, you really want to be very, very wary of them. So we'll see what they've got in store for us down to the south side zone. Big split for them so far. Rejects might just have seen that there's a weakness here on Voindunkey's side. They've got 2 down right now, just up as 1, but so have Team Spirit. You might see them moving around a lot more as well. Zone continues to center up.
Yeah, continues to favor the likes of APG. Voindunkey, Razak, nade, spray, Nomi takes him down. Team Spirit now with 8 eliminations in this 3rd game, and now we're down to the final 4. We have 2 representatives for Japan in this top 4 in Reject and in Kinotrope. Fantastic performance from these 2 so far. APG, and you can see actually all the teams, if I'm not mistaken, not a single one has any smokes, nades, mollies, or flashes or stuns. No utility in this open ground for any one of the teams.
Wow.
This is going to be one heck of a finish if this stat is true.
I mean, this is like the worst zone to not have any utility on at all. Like,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's very difficult.
A couple of smokes. Okay, Duello has some nades, but they were able to kind of sort themselves out in terms of getting all of Thundertalk stuff, and you know the Thundertalks, they're gonna probably have a lot of nades. So they're able to stock back up here. Team Spirit, I'm not sure how they're going to approach it. They do want to go on over to KN here. I'm not sure if they will be able to. It's a pretty strong setup they've got going on, and remember, KN have all those points on the board. But then so do Team Spirit. They're matching energy here in terms of that momentum going forward of what they've built over the course of this game. And now, are they going to switch sides? That's my question. It looks like they might try and go for rejects here instead.
Yeah, it looks like that may be the focus. Now we see all the utility that the players have. Suddenly, we're jumping from 0 to 16 nades on Team Spirit.
Whoa!
Hold on.
Wait a second.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was no way that those teams have no utility at this stage.
Yeah.
You save the utility for this moment. For this
exactly.
time.
Yeah. Especially when it's so open, right? Okay, so Team Spirit thought they might go over to rejects. They've got a 2-2 split going on now, but they are committing over to KN here. Nice nade, gonna just push them back a little bit. That's exactly what they want. Push those nades forward. Now that's actually a 2-2 split. They get Duello. So is this where now Team Spirit just switch tactics? I'm not sure. Looks like they might just do that. They go straight for rejects. This is hugely unfamiliar to me that you would switch fights mid-fight here. But
especially
okay.
with this many squads around, no?
Yeah. But okay, you know what? It's working so far. Duello does go down. Matic gets him. It's just Divine. Divine's very low.
Oh my god. Hold on. This nade.
Oh!
Wow!
Oh,
that was just a hold that. And they get their 10th elimination. Team Spirit are on the hunt for their chicken dinner. Now it's Kinotrope, APG, and Team Spirit, the final 3 teams left. And this building that APG have been holding on to for the past 15 minutes, it seems, is where the game will end.
Wow.
Both squads on the outside of it, though. And the fact is, Spirit are coming in 2-2 from different sides. And don't forget, there's 3 teams.
I mean, if I'm Team Spirit, I'm regrouping. I'm regrouping over to that eastern side. I'm going straight to where my team is. Try and get a little bit of a sandwich going on there, right? Because Nomi definitely has a really good spot. KN, they also have a good spot. So you kind of want to make sure you don't do too much here. 7 elims on the board for them. But this is where now everybody's starting to move in. You have to. It's a minute 22 until you get into zone, so you have a little bit of time, but it is still moving, and KN gonna be moving in. Kitsune, careful with that scout, man. You're going awfully close to the big boys.
And that you are. Look at that Kino Trope. They have Mark to cover their back. The rest of the squad going for the push. Finale will be the first one to go down. Mar will also follow, and all of a sudden, Kino Trope, Nade, massive mistakes with that push. Nade's coming out from the side of Team Secret or Team Spirit as well. They will get the knock onto Rufus. There are knocks present on 2 teams at the moment in Kino and APG. Team Spirit with this split is able to do so much. They're able to threaten both teams at the same time and apply so much pressure. Zyul with this nade on the duo. Nope, not too close. The nade will fall behind the rock. Not able to roll, not able to deal any damage. The teams will still be able to make their way into this zone. Nomi taking a little bit of damage and then falls back as Zyul with that little bit of pressure like, hey, I can see you, go back.
Go back. Away with you. I mean, this is where Team Spirit have to play this very, very carefully. It would be very easy to just try and overcommit. Like, so easy to overcommit here. But time is going to be their best ally. If they want to win this, they need to just let things play out. The nades are fine. They've got a lot of nades on board. So if you want to keep on just keeping on that pressure, the nades are a good way to do that. A great split coming in from Team Spirit. KN, less so. They're on that low ground. They have 1 knock. That push just didn't commit enough almost, right? They had like 1 or 2 that committed fully, and then the other half of the squad kind of committed like 70%. And it's just like, nah, you gotta do all in if you're gonna go up against a team in a compound with a Groza and it's APG.
Hello. आइसकेको छु म फेरि पनि.
Exactly. And 28 minutes into this game, the zone is going to start closing in very, very shortly. And then hopefully force these.
आज एसई को रिजल्ट हेर्नु पर्छ जस्तो केटाहरुको है. मलाई तिमीहरुको त्यो पठाऊ है. कहाँबाट हेर्छ केटा हो एसई को रिजल्ट? वेबसाइटमा आउँछ वेबसाइटतिर.
APG and Spirit over the likes of Kino Trope. Zyul in this shack knows there are players near him. Knows he has to take them down. Nade comes in. It's a double nade. 1 inside, 1 on the outside. A lot of damage. And they try to get the pick onto Zyul. The fact is, he is stuck between multiple squads. The molly comes in. He might be able to survive. He's not getting toasted at the moment, but there is a knock onto Kitsune. This gives an opportunity for APG to maybe apply a little bit of pressure.
आज हो भन्छ 20 मिनेटमा भन्छ कतिखेर कति बजे हो केटा?
So are the mollies, but they are not close. You gotta hit the gym a little bit more if you want to reach that.
You do indeed, but now Team Spirit on the back end. On the back foot
यो
here.
स्याकोलाई मार्नै पर्छ टिम सिक्रेटले नभए गाह्रो पर्छ अहिले बम छैन बमले आएन न ड्याप एउटा.
I understand why they're waiting, right? But now the zone's moving in. It's stage 9. So this is turned
5:30 मा ल
whoever's last man standing and
सिम्बल नम्बर राखौँ च्याटमा अहिले हेर्छु है म अहिले खोलिसकेपछि 15 मिनेट बाँकी
players is insane.
You see what's crazy to me is the fact
बम खायो
been threatened from every conceivable
के बम हान्दैछौ स्याक भित्र एउटा छिराउ न राम्रो बम
not applying the pressure. Nade's coming in. That's the first knock.
स्याक भित्र बम छिराउनु कस्तो गाह्रो भएको.
Are you still alive? How is he still able to apply pressure? Kino, Mark, Ozi-san, Timer, none of them are moving just yet. APG still trying to hold on to that wizard tower as long as possible. Top finally setting his sights onto KN. And this is where it becomes a problem. This is where you are spreading yourself too thin.
Come on! कसलाई सपोर्ट गर्दैछ कसलाई सपोर्ट गर्दैछौ टक्क च्याटमा राखौँ त नामहरु जम कसको सपोर्ट च्याटमा नाम राखौँ है तिमीहरु टिमको नाम मलाई त कियानले खान्छ जस्तो लाग्दैछ कियानले चिलमा हान्नु पाइरहेको पछाडि ओए पड्क्यो एउटै बममा पड्क्यो 9 किल हान्नु त यार नोमीले 9 किल हानेछ केटा हो 10 किल हान्छ क्या हो के गर्छ गर्छ त अघिबाट यार के भएको यो केटी त ल फ्युल झार्दिरहेको अब फ्युलमा फ्युल पड्काएर मार्यो भने के हुन्छ ला खायो नि केएनले
and they will take Team Spirit down, and they claim the chicken dinner in game number 3.
खोइ त रिएक्सन हेरौँ न यार के मुख हेरेको
Speechless? Actually speechless? I'm sorry. They did a full push onto APG that went south, so they went south and just waited, and then they pulled that out of the bag? What a play.
The timing. You see, that's the thing. APG...
म त नयाँ एकाउन्ट खोल्न लगाएको छु 100 रुपैयाँ को लगानी 3000 को कमाइ के हो केमा
You were once again sandwiched between two squads. In that situation, you have to make a decision. You have to fight and fully commit to one of the squads, eliminate them as fast as possible. Specifically, when you got those knocks on the
Anyway, back to the match.
Nice second.
Phoenix को पनि drop class
TWC ले त
यो म्याचमा अलिकति
जिते
extra
त
drop
घटाओ
class
TWC ले त
free area यहाँबाट
66
खेल्न
point
सक्छ
पुराइसक्यो
टिमको दिमागमा आयो अनि सेम कुरा अर्को टिमले पनि सोच्यो
तल टिमको त पोइन्टै छैन त
R3G को सिचुएसनलाई लिएर जब PMSL मा भनेको थियो हामीले इभन घन्टेलाई पनि सोध्यो घन्टेले भने कि हामीले जे सोच्यो उनीहरूले पनि सायद त्यही सोच्यो अनि त्यसपछि क्लास भयो भनेर आई मिन अनइन्टेन्सनल वेमा क्लास भयो जसले इन्टरटेन गरेको चाहिँ थियो हामीलाई त्यस्तै भयो यहाँ पनि कि यसले सोच्यो त्यो खाली छ त्यसले सोच्यो त्यो खाली छ दुईटै टिम आयो कोही टिम अघि देख्दै थियो हामी कि यसो प्यारासुट घुमाएर पिकाडो जान थालेको टिम पावर ग्रिड तर निस्केका थिए त्यहाँ त साथी क्विकली बाटो भएको पनि रिजल्ट भयो एट द एन्डमा पोइन्ट्स टेबल अझै पनि हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ तपाईँ अनि हामी कमसेकम पनि सेकेन्ड त अझै पनि हुन सक्छौँ त भनेर सोच्नु भएको छ भने तपाईँ थोरै अरू केही अप्रोच लगाउन सक्नुहुन्छ युजुअल भन्दा जुन सही पनि हो एक तरिकाले अन्डरस्ट्यान्डेबल पनि छ तपाईँ किन
जित्न पनि सकिन्छ TWC लाई मारौँ TWC लाई फर्स्टमै मारौँ त्यसपछि एक चिकन हानौँ एक चिकन हानेपछि 50 को लाइनमा त फिक्स आउँछ तिमीहरू 50 को लाइनमा आइसकेपछि 55 मात्रै पुऱ्यायो भने 10 पोइन्टको डिफरेन्स त हो 10 पोइन्टको डिफरेन्स भनेको दुई गेममा आनन्दले कभर गरिन्छ यही गेममा हो तिमीहरूले के गर्यो भनी नभए लेट हुन्छ सेकेन्ड र थर्डको चान्स छ अझै पनि थर्डको चान्स छैन जस्तो लाग्यो किनभने एकजना मरिसकेको छ TBC को चान्स छ TBC लाई TWC लाई जहाँ भेट्छ त्यही ठोकिहाल्नु पर्यो ठोकिसकेपछि यो गेम टक्क चिकन खायो भने मिनिमम मिनाकन 55 पुग्छ 55 पुगिसकेपछि 10-11 पोइन्टको भनेको धेरै ग्याप होइन दुई गेममा आनन्दले कभर हुन्छ
यही म्याचमा हिसाब सकाइदिउँ भनेर उता
यो अहिले जुन छ 30 पोइन्टको ग्याप त्यो 30 पोइन्टको ग्याप चाहिँ कम गर्न पर्यो यही गेममा किनभने यो गेममा तिम्रो 40 पोइन्टको ग्याप पुग्यो भने लास्टको दुई गेममा तिमीले 20 पोइन्ट त्यसै पनि हान्नु पर्यो 20 पोइन्ट हान्नलाई पनि फेरि अपोनेन्ट टिमले पनि पोइन्ट हान्छ
गर्ने बेलामा लेफ्ट एंगलबाट खेलेको भए राइट
छोडेर यही एक म्याच छ तिमीहरुसँग चान्स
डिसिजन त्यही थियो अब त्यो डिसिजन बापतको रिजल्ट त पाउने भयो फेस गर्ने
त्यो रिजल्ट आउन लाग्यो चिलो त 21 मिनेट एकरे कति मिनेट 11 मिनेट बाँकी छ त अझै 5 गेमको त एक गेम 5 गेम मात्रै हो म 6 गेम भनेको यार त्यही नि चान्स छ त यो गेम मारौँ न फर्स्टको लागि मारौँ त लु TBC ले फर्स्टको लागि मार्यो भने 37 पोइन्ट पुग्यो चिकन हान्यो भने 47 मिनिमममा पनि चिकन हानिसकेपछि मिनिमममा 5-6 किल त अझै तान्ला 47 मा 52 ल 53 पुग्यो रे 53 र 13 पोइन्टको डिफरेन्स भने धेरै हैन चिकन हान्यो भने 10 पनि यसै पनि आयो त्यसमाथि किल अब तिमीहरुले 10-15 10-12 किल त हान्छौ चिकन खाइसकेपछि
जहाँ तपाईले नयाँ सर्कल फर्म भएको देख्न पाउनुहुनेछ स्टेज 2 मा रहेका छौ हामी MIT कलेज अर्ली फेज बुट क्याम्प क्लास एभनलाई लुज गर्नु परेको थियो
केडा हो कसैले रिजल्ट नहेर है कसैले रिजल्ट नहेर म सबको हेर्दिन्छु
उनीहरुले बटुल्न
कसैले आफूले कसैले नहेर म हेर्दिन्छु क्या बुझिन ओइ इन्ट्रेस्टिङ भएन त बुझेनौ सबलाई बोलाउ तिमीहरुको 10 को साथीहरु
बाकी फाइट इनिशिएट भएको छ ACEM का प्लेयर नक भएको पनि देखिरहेको छु
सबको 10 का बराबरी हेर बोलाउ सबले
म्याचमा देख्न पाएको छ चौथो म्याच चलिरहेको छ MIT ले देख्यो नजिकै कोही आएको छ भनेर सर्ट दिनको लागि प्रयास पनि चलिरहेको छ
स्क्विड गेम आज स्क्विड गेम आउँछ भने जस्तो सुनेको थिए कि आज रात भरि हेर्ने हो रनमा देखि छ रे म यो हो नि त छुट्टी भनेको नयाँ सिरिज के नयाँ सिरिज रे नयाँ पार्ट छुट्टीको दिनमा रातभरि सुतेर मजा आयो यार सुन्दैमा
बट सर्कल क्लोजिङ हुँदैछ सर्कल as soon as नयाँ फर्म हुन्छ टिमहरु गाडी चढेर
चिल्याक्स
कुदेर नयाँ
हानिन्छ
सर्कलको
टक्क गएर अहिले
स्पेसमा
चाल
आफूलाई
परे
प्ले
अहिले
गर्नको
कतै
लागि
गएर भात
स्किल
खाइन्छ
हामीले
भात
देखेको
खाएर
छ
टक्क
भन्दा सो
आएर
अब
चिलमा
चाहिँ नेक्स्ट 50 सेकेन्ड नेक्स्ट 40 सेकेन्डमा
ओए
ट्राई
सोच
गर्ने
त
के
केटा हो
गरेर चाहिँ
चिसो
सर्कल फर्म भयो
एउटा
तपाईँ
भर्जिन
एउटा
मोहितो
नक
खाँदै
भएपछि तपाईँलाई उठाउनु पर्यो अनि सर्कल जानु पर्यो भने यहाँनिर
ओहो
तपाईँले चाहेको बेस्ट
भर्जिन
पोसिबल
मोहितो
अप्सन
साइडमा
दिनुहुन्छ
एउटा
ओके यो सर्कल बन्यो भने यहाँ खेल्ने भनेर
जे भए
टक्क
पनि
फर्म
खानेकुरा
चेन्ज हुन्छ
टक्क
बिकज अफ द टाइम
यसो सुतेर
लेट्स सी अब अबको
तिमीहरूले
सिफ्टमा
यस्तो कुरा
मजा आउँछ किन
एक्सपिरियन्सै
भन्दा
गरेको छैनौ
तिमीहरूले
होगा एक्सपिरियन्स गर न
अघिल्लो
कहिले काहीँ यार
म्याचको
टक्क
रेफरेन्स
घरमा
लिएर
सुतेर
हेर्ने हो भने त
आनन्दले
ट्याक्क
सिरिज
सर्कल
आएको छ
भन्दाखेरि
है
चाहिँ सरर सबै
छुट्टीको दिनमा
कुदेर
ओहो
सकिन्छ भने सेन्टरसम्म त भनेर
तर
खेलेका थिए त्यही
तिमीहरूको त के
चक्करमा
छुट्टी
कति
सधैँ
टिमहरू
सधैँ
फिनिस
छुट्टी
भएको
त होला
पनि
नि
देख्न
के काम त
पाइएको छ
गर्दैन
अब त्यो
होला
बाहेक
केही पनि
अप्सन पनि छैन तपाईँ जोनको बारेमा धेरै सोच्न चाहनु हुँदैन झ्याम झ्याम सर्कलमा गइदिने अनि त्यसपछि जो आउँछ जो वरिपरि हुन्छ जो बाटोमा भेटिन्छ उसँग लड्ने अनि त्यसले गर्दा पोइन्ट्स बन्छ एलिमिनेसन पोइन्ट्स पनि बन्यो बाँच्यो भने
रेड
सर्भाइभल
बुल पनि
पोइन्ट्स
होला
जति पनि बन्छ
रेड
बिकज
बुल त
सर्कलको राम्रो
तिमीले
ठाउँ पर्दा त हामी यसै पनि
रेड
फर्स्ट
बुल
हुन्छौँ
भन्ने चिज
नयाँ
कस्तो बेला
सर्कल
खाने भन्
आउँदैछ है त अब
कस्तो
यसले
चिज
कता
कस्तो बेला
लान्छ
खाने भन्ने तिमीहरूले बुझ्नुपर्छ क्या केटा हो रेड
ल
बुल
साथी
भन्ने चिज
सेकेन्डको लागि खेलौँ भन्ने
तिमीहरूलाई
सर्कल
एनर्जी
त
चाहियो
बनियो
होइन
अलरेडी नै एक त पहिलो
एनर्जी चाहियो
लेभलको रिल
अलिकति केही
आइरहेको थियो दोस्रो यो सर्कल
अलिकति
हेर्दाखेरि
रिफ्रेसिङ
अब
फिल हुनु पर्यो
अलिकति
एनर्जी
कहाँ
चाहियो
जाने सर्कल बन्द बित्तिकै
भनिसकेपछि
क्रिस
तिमीले
गाडी
रेड
लिएर
बुल खाने निन्द्रा
कुदिरहेको
लाग्यो भने
थियो
रेड बुल
योपालि
खाऊ
अब गाडी लिएर
एनर्जी
कुदेर
आउँछ
यता आउँछ त्यो हेर्नु
अब
पर्ने
तिमीले डे टु डे
रिक्वायरमेन्ट देखेको
बेसिसमा
हामीले
त्यतिकै नर्मल्ली रेड बुल त खाँदैनौ त्यतिकै
त्यो
ल
खेलको
है
माथिपट्टिको स्पेस हिल होल्ड
केही
गर्नेहरूले
गर्नु मन
हारेको
लागेन
रहेछ
रेड
अब
बुल खाइदिउँ
साथीहरूलाई याद
त्यस्तो
होला
त
क्रिस
गर्दैनौ नि
रोयल
त
गोर्खा
त्यही हो
पिएमएनसीको फाइनलको म्याच त्यही
नर्मल्ली
हिलमा
तिमीले
बसेर
खान्छौ
ड्याम
पानी
टु ड्याम
खान्छौ त्यस्तै
झन्डै
हो क्या
टिमलाई पुर्याए त्यही
रेड बुल
सिन
भन्ने
हामी
चिज
यहाँभरि बन्ने रहेछ उनको लागि अलमोस्ट सर्कललाई
एनर्जी
एकचोटि
फ्रेस
पुरा गर्ने
फिल
भने
हुनलाई
क्लासिक
खाने हो क्या
लेटर फेजमा भ्याट्टै उछिटेर अर्को पट्टि गइदिन्छ
ज्याप्पै
थाहै
एनर्जी
हुँदैन
आउँछ क्या
फर्केर आएर पिगाडामा फिनिस भयो भने अचम्म मान्नु पर्दैन साथीहरू यो सर्कल क्लासिक सर्कल
रिजल्ट आउनु लाग्यो
बिचरा
नाच्यो केटा हो,
फर्स्ट
नाच्यो
किक्सबाट
नाच्यो मेरो
गाडी
भाइ
चढ्यो कुपमा दुईजना सरल निस्किसक्यो
7
त्यहाँदेखि
मिनटमा
यतापट्टि
म
नेपाली
तिम्रो
एक एक
भविष्य
गाडीमा आउँदै
भनिदिन्छु
गरेको
तिमी के
देख्दैछु
पढ्छौ
सबै
तिमीले
एरिकाका प्लेयर
तिमीलाई
रहेका
केमा
छन्
इम्प्रुभ गर्नुपर्छ म सब भनिदिन्छु
युएमपीको
तिमीलाई केही
एडियसले अलिकति धोका दियो
सफ्टवेयरका
साथीहरूलाई
कलेज
दिन्छ
भन्ने
धोका
मैले
बेला
कहाँ
बेलामा
सुनेको
हेरी
यार
प्लिज अब स्कोप अन गरेर तपाईँ हान्नलाई प्रयास गर्नु चाहिँ भनेर डट्ने भए पनि एचपी उनको पनि कम भयो एचपी अगाडिपट्टि अर्को प्लेयरको पनि कम भएको थियो थ्रोएबल लगाउनको लागि गयो कि नक निकाल्न सक्छ नि त नो माथिपट्टिबाट अब फेरि वेस्टमिन्स्टरको पनि एङ्गल बन्ने हो कि त्यो पनि याद गर्नुपर्ने छ सफ्टवेयरका लागि पनि सजिलो छैन हिलको तल तल यसो बेस लाइनतर्फ खेल्न सक्यो भने बट यता राम्रो एङ्गल चाहिँ बनाउन भ्याए कि जस्तो लागिरहेको छ पिसिपिएसका प्लेयरलाई थोरै ट्रबलमा उनले पार्न सक्छन् यदि क्लियर एङ्गल बनाउनका लागि भ्याए भने
साइन्स पढ्नलाई कति जिपिए आयो भने राम्रो हुन्छ त जिपिए
एकदमै
तिम्रो
डिफिकल्ट टरेन रहेको छ
इन्टरनल
खेल्नको
नलेज
लागि
हुनुपर्छ
बजार
क्या
भिडियोमा अर्को
मार्कसिट
टिमहरूमा
भनेको
म
ओन्ली
हेर्दैछु म अब
सिट अफ
वरपर
पेपर
अलिक
हो
बढी
क्या
टिमहरूको चहल
तिम्रो
पहल
दिमागमा
सुरु हुनेछ
कतिको छ
वरपर अलिक बढी हटकेक बन्ने छ
तिम्रो
किनकि
दिमागले
सर्कलको
कतिको
राम्रो
भ्याउँछ
स्पेस छ माथि हिलमा भएको
एटलिस्ट
प्लेयरहरू
साइन्सको
वेस्टमिन्स्टरको एउटै मात्र
साइन्स
कुरा ध्यान दिनुपर्छ
फ्याकल्टी
एक्स्ट्रा
लिनलाई
पिकबाट
अलिकति
नक
मार्क्स
हुनु भएन बिकज एक्स्ट्रा पिकबाट
पुग्यो
नक हुनु
पुग्छ
भयो भने एक
त्यो
साइड
मार्क्स पनि
छोडेर
चाहिन्छ पढ्नलाई
त्यो
त्यस्तो
नक भएको प्लेयरलाई
त्यो
उठाउन
चाहिँ थाहा भएन
जानुपर्छ
क्या
जसले
ल
गर्दा एक
पढ
साइडको तपाईँले
दिमागमा
कन्ट्रोलाइज
हुनुपर्छ क्या
गरिदिनुपर्छ
त्यस्तो
कन्ट्रोल
तर
त्यो बेलामा त्यहाँबाट टिम चढ्दियो भने त्यस पछाडि तपाईँलाई गाह्रो
पेपर
पर्छ
सिटमा
त्यो सकेसम्म
भएर
मिनिमल
केही काम
ड्यामेजको
छैन
साथमा
तिम्रो
एलिमिनेसन उठाउनका
पेपर
लागि
सिटमा
ट्राई गर्ने
100मा
जुन
100 हाने
सर्कल
पनि
डिफेन्डको लागि
तिम्रो
ट्राई
दिमागमा
गर्ने
केही छैन
लेटर फेजमा
भनेपछि कामै
हिलमा
छैन
निस्किनु
क्या
पऱ्यो भने कतापट्टिबाट हामी जान सक्छौँ त्यो इन्फर्मेसन आफूसँग राख्ने त्यही काम रहनेछ होपफुल्ली उनीहरूले त्यो गर्नेछन् पनि जति एक्सपिरियन्स देखाएर खेलिरहेका छन् बाँकी लबीको कम्पेरिजनमा एक्सपेक्ट
दाइ
गर्न
आजकल त
सकिन्छ
साइन्स दामी दामी केटी पढ्छ
वेस्टमिन्स्टरको लागि
यार
यो काम हुन्छ भनेर
भाइ
सफ्टवेयरको पनि
साइन्स त
एक्साइटेड
पहिल्यैदेखि
रहेको
पढ्ने
छ
हो
निकालिएको थियो सुप्रिम 911लाई बट 911 थिचेर अब उनले नै
तर साइन्स त केटाहरूले
आन्सर
पढ्नु पर्ने
दिनुभयो
हो तर ठ्याक्कै अपोजिट भन्छ क्या
लास्ट
म्यानेजमेन्ट केटाहरू
आइरनको
पढ्छ
विचारमा पनि त्यही
साइन्स
थियो
केटीहरू
साथीले हामी
पढ्छ
जोल्ने गर्दा नै सायद अनि फिनिस भएका थिए
होटेल
साथीले
म्यानेजमेन्टहरू
मिनिममको
त केटीहरूले
रिक्वायरमेन्ट त
पढ्नु पर्ने
पर्दो
धेरै
रहेछ
जस्तो
त्यो चाहिँ देख्न पाएको छ कमसेकम पनि हामीले एनिवे यो सर्कलको सिफ्ट सँगसँगै अनि
जिस्के है,
टिमहरूको
जिस्के है।
क्लोज बाई एन्ट्री अनि आपसमा लडाइँ धेरै त्यो एक्सपेक्ट रहेको थियो अनि त्यो तरिकाको बनेको पनि छ त्यसमाथि
तपाईँले के
वेस्टमिन्स्टर
पढेको मैले त
बसेको छ यदि कोहीसँग
सकिसक्यो
डिगामा
सबै
छ भने त स्पेसल्ली लेटर फेजमा त कति प्रब्लम
म
दिन
पढ्छु
सक्ने
साइन्स अब
कोही
हेर्छु
त्यो
नि म
साइडमा
तिम्रो
यहाँ
भाइ
भन्न पनि पाउने छैन सायद त्यो साइडबाट
मैले
यो
रिजल्ट
साइडबाट
हेरिहाल्छु
attack
नि
भन्दै
रसको
आएको छ
कस्तो
एन्ट्री
रहेछ
possible
कस्तो
रहेछ
खाले
त
स्टुडेन्ट हो म
almost
तिमी
त्यो
थाहा पाइहाल्छु नि
धकेल्दिन सक्छ यो म्याचको रिजल्ट वेस्टमिन्स्टर कलेजले फर्स्ट मिनट डिसाइड
घरको काम
आफ्नो
गर्नु
भनेर जान सक्छ
अब
अनि
घरको
ल
काम
नेक्स्ट
गर्नलाई
म्याचमा
तिमीले पढ्नु पर्छ
उनीहरूको
घरको
रिजल्ट
काम गर
डेफिनेटली
भन्नेलाई त पढ्नै
डिफिकल्टी
पर्दैन
होला
नि
बट गोल पक्कै पनि रहन्छ
होटेल
उनीहरूको
म्यानेजमेन्ट भनेको
भन्दै थिएँ मैले मिनी 14
मोस्टली
डिएमआरको कहानी यही रहेछ क्रिससँग
अब
अब
कस्तो
एमो कति
भन्ने
छ एमो पनि 400 छ आई मिन इनफ नै होला यो त यति यति एमोले त काम पनि गर्छ होला ओ पहिलो सर्ट नै कनेक्ट भएको थियो त्यो गाडी अलरेडी पड्किन लागेको एक सेकेन्ड पहिला उनले नोट गरेको भए सायद नक पनि निकाल्थ्यो होला गाडी त देखेँ यो साइडमा रोक्यो भनेर बट त्यो पुरै कभर हो कहाँ देख्ने कहाँ हेर्ने पोसिबल नै छैन
केही गरेर रिजल्ट नराम्रो आएको खण्डमा नि म तिमीलाई के गर्ने
त्यो प्लेयर
भनिहाल्छु त
निस्केला नि त
तिमीहरू
त्यो
चिल
लुसा
बस न
निस्केको
अहिले
गाडी
एकछिनमा 4
पड्दै
मिनट
थियो
बाँकी छ आनन्दले
लिएर
ढुक्क
निस्केन
बस
नि त्यसलाई मैले बाटोमा समात्छु क्रिसले
तिम्रो त यहीँ छ म सबै सिकाइदिन्छु तिमीले के गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ अब भविष्यको
निस्किन्छ, यसलाई फिनिस गर्न सकिन्छ, 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 यसलाई फिनि
तिम्रो आगामी दिनहरू कस्तो हुनेछ सबै
आउँदैछ
भनिदिन्छु
यता
म
गेट
चिलमा
कलेजको
बस
लागि
क्या
ठुलो चुनौती रहेको छ अब पुरै अटक
ढुक्क
साइडमा
बसेको
नक
फेल
दिएर
भयो पनि
आउनुपर्छ
केही छैन
त्यसपछि स्याडो क्रस गरेर अगाडिको हिलबाट बस्दै बस्दै ड्राइभिङ त फेरि अनि मेरो जस्तै रहेछ साथीको
रिजल्ट आएको हो र
उता सफ्टवेयर
30 मा
फेरि
30 मा
पनि
आउँछ
बाटो
भनेको हैन
वेबसाइटमा फिनिस स्टिल
वेबसाइटको नाम के
गरिरहेको
हो
छ
भन त
सफ्टवेयरका प्लेयरलाई पिक गर्न खोज्दै थिए कहाँबाट सर्ट आयो थाहा नै
के
पाएन
गेम हो यो
फाइनल
क्याम्पस क्लच भन्ने हो
पानी निस्किएको इफेक्ट अनि इन्स्ट्यान्ट नक निकालियो यता सफ्टवेयरका हो पुगेको रहेछ सफ्टवेयरका एनसिआइटीसँग लड्नका लागि केही टाइम अगाडि अलिकति स्ट्रगल नै गर्छ सफ्टवेयरका यो पोजिसनबाट जस्तो लागिरहेको थियो जसो तसो घुमेर अर्को साइडमा पुग्न त भ्याएको रहेछ बट अब माथिबाट
आइसा गर
सर्ट आउने नजिकै नजिकै
रोकै
अल्मोस्ट फिनिस
हेरिहाल्छु है
गर्नु गाह्रो त्यहाँ पनि रहेको छ त्यही बिचमा स्टेप मामालाई नक निकालिएको रहेछ इनफ्याक्टमा फिनिस नै गरियो अब
एसी
सुप्रिम
डट
अनि आरोवाना बाँकी रहेका छन् डुओमा
एनटिसी
कभर भएको छ सफ्टवेयरका टिम पनि सर्कल पनि छैन लेफ्ट साइडमा पनि टिम रहेको छ थोरै च्यालेन्ज त उनीहरूले
81 हो र
गर्नुपर्छ
82 हो नि
जसो
हैन
लुट क्रेटसम्म पाए साथीहरूले एडिसनल केही लुट
81 हो
गिरी लुट नै
के
उठाउन
82
पाएका
हो
छन्
गडा
बाँकी
81 त होला नि
एनसिआइटी
भर्खर त
फेरि
82 भएको
एकजना प्लेयर नक भएको अवस्था दुवैजनालाई इनफ्याक्टमा फिनिस भएको लागि सम्झौता भइ नै हाल्यो नक भएका प्लेयरलाई पनि छोडिदिएर
एसी
नक्कासी
रिजल्ट
छैन
कमिङ सुन अरे त
टिमलाई भनेर गाडी लिएर सेफ स्पटतर्फ जाने प्रयास त चलिरहेको
कतिमा
छ
आउँछ हौ
कहाँसम्म जाने भनेर ऊ त सुरु गरिसक्यो अब वेस्टमिन्स्टरले आफ्नो
6
काम
मा
गर्नका
आउँछ
लागि
अरे
हिलको कन्ट्रोल जुन थियो त्यसको फाइदा उठाउन सुरु गरिसक्यो प्लेयरलाई नक इन्स्ट्यान्ट फिनिस गर्यो एनसिएटीका प्लेयर पनि त्यहाँ नक रहेका छन् उता प्रेसिडेन्सियलले फाइनल्ली गएर केएमजीका त्यो प्लेयरलाई फिनिस गर्यो अन्तिममा घुमिफिरी
कति
अलमोस्ट
5:30 मा आउँछ भनेको हैन त गडा हो
त्यो प्लेयर जसले आफ्ना पार्टनरलाई पञ्च हान्दै थियो उनलाई फिनिस गर्नका लागि भ्याइएको रहेछ
किन चाहियो जहिले आए पनि आए नि
टोटलमा बनेको छ
पक्कै पनि फेल भयो यो मान्छे चाहिँ
14 एलिमिनेसन निकालेको छ बट प्लेसमेन्टमा पोजिसनमा
सिम्बल नम्बर
काम
चाहिन्छ
गर्नका लागि चुकेको छ टिम
5:30 अनि यो कमिङ सुन भने त 5:30 भयो हैन रहेछ नि त
स्टरलाई नै ल हान हामीलाई पनि भन्ने अवस्थामा पुग्ने पनि बिकज सर्कल
6 बजे 6 बजे
ड्राइभिङले त मारेको नै छ मिरामार हो साथीहरू ड्राइभिङ त लेफ्ट एन्ड राइट भइ नै हाल्छ इनफ्याक्ट म आफै त ड्राइभिङ गर्दछ गेमभित्र भनेर बट बाँकी हेर्ने हो भने को छन् त यो साइडमा उनीहरूलाई निक्लिन अलिक गाह्रो पर्नेछ
न्यू लाइभ अपडेट एसई को नतिजा अहिले 6 बजे प्रकाशित हुने भएको छ कति टाइम सरेको टाइम चाहिँ किन सर्छ नु जब एउटा वेबसाइटमा ड्याम रिजल्ट हाल्नलाई पनि त्यस्तो गाह्रो भएको सब कपी पेस्ट हान्ने त हो नि
सरसँग 3x मा हाने साथीले आई मिन एम त राम्रै रहेछ साथी
यो पाली पास भइन्छ त 12 को एक्जाम थोरै दिएको त मैले
अप्रोच गर्छ यहाँबाट भनेर त्यही बीचमा गेटको टिम निस्कियो
वेस्टमिन्स्टरका साथीहरू सबै हाम्रो हो भनेर हेरे त्यसरी दुई जनाले हेरेपछि त कहाँ हुन्थ्यो र एम त साथीले 4x सायद अघिल्लो म्याचमा पनि देखाएका थिए राम्रो नक निकालेको थियो कुरा गर्ने आई थिंक अंशुमानलाई नक निकालेका थिए अघिल्लो बिरावरको कुरा रहेको थियो त्यतिखेर त झन् 4x चलाउँदै थियो नि यता मदर भण्डारी कलेजको साथीहरुको लागि थोरै गाह्रो परेको हो र त्यस्तै देख्दैछु म स्क्वाड त रहेछ अगाडिपट्टिबाट स्ल्यामिन आउने हो कि भन्ने डर पक्कै पनि रहेको छ हुन त फेरि राम्रो ब्रस्ट देखाए त्यहाँ साथीले न्युटन फ्रम रोअरले राम्रो ब्रस्ट देखाएका थिए राम्रो ड्यामेज कलेक्ट गरेका थिए बट अब ड्यामेजले मात्रै मानेन उता प्रेसिडेन्शियल कलेज प्लेयर लुज गरेको र एकजना प्लेयर त नक भएकोमा देख्दै थिए ओके फिनिश भइसकेका रहेछन् ब्रिटिश
5:30 मा नआउनी हो
मिनी 14 लिएर एलिमिनेसन
छ बजे आउनी हो रोकै म
त्यो हेरिरहेको छ
नेपाल
जो हिलमा छ
नेपाल
उनीहरुको सबको प्रायोरिटी त्यही नै रहेको छ यता फ्याफर
एसी विल पब्लिश 530 भनेछ त नि
टीसीपीएस लाई निकालिएको छ त्यो बीचमा तलपट्टि प्लेयर छ भन्ने थाहा छ नेट कुक गर्नको लागि सायद सोचिएको होला डन दाइले पनि 4x को स्प्रे लगाउने सोचिरहेको छन् साम्पुलाई अगाडि पठाएका रहेछन् साम्पुले कन्ट्रोल गर्न सकेन
strength across the country who appeared for the SC exam will be able to check their result directly from the Khalti app.
हुन्थे गाडीको साथमा अगाडि बढेर त्यतिखेर मिठो मौका बन्थे हेभनलाई बीच बाटोमा समाप्त भ्याए अनि फिनिश गर्न पनि भ्याइए उता प्लेयर पनि लुज भएको छ फेरि लेफ्ट हिलबाट जुन एक्सपेक्ट गरेको थियो हिलबाट सर्ट्स आउँछ भनेर जुन एक्सपेक्ट गरेको थियो त्यो भन्न पुगेको छ एलिमिनेसन मिल्छ कि भनेर युसले हेरिरहेको छन् त्यो टिमले एलिमिनेसन बनाएको छन् ब्रिटिश कलेजको प्लेयरहरूले पोजिसन राम्रो बनाएको छन् एलिमिनेसन यो म्याचमा उठाउन भ्याएको छैन सहर टिमहरू यहाँ हिल साइडमा आउँदैछन् माथि भएका प्लेयरहरूले पुरा माछा मारे चाहिँ एलिमिनेसन उठाउने मौका चाहिँ बनिरहेको छ
ओए आको चेक गरौँ त कसको सिम्बल नम्बर 0480909501 यु नै थिच्दैन त नि डेट अफ बर्थ के हो? डेट अफ बर्थ के हो? युथ थिचेन हौ के भएको? ए क्लास 12 को पो हेर्दै रहेछ। कहाँबाट हेर्छ? यही होइन र? कुन चाहिँ हो गडा हो? खै त नि यदि आको केमा आउँदैछ हौ गडा हो? आको छ कि छैन अझै? यो 10 को कसरी गर्छौ? आयो कि आएन? केमा आयो भने?
ओके टप 6
छैन
टिम्स
आएको।
1 2 3 अझै पनि बाँचिरहेको छन् टिडब्ल्युसी हाम्रो
रोकै
वेस्टर्न
खल्ती एप
मिनिस्टर
हेर्छु ल, म
कलेज
खल्ती एप हेर्छु है।
निस्कियो भने मात्रै अरू कसैको लागि मौका इफ नट उनीहरूले आफ्नो काम त लगभग गरेकै छ यो म्याच सकिँदा पनि डबलमा रहनेछौँ हामी भन्ने अवस्था हुनसक्छ यो म्याचमा अलिकति ग्रिडी भयो साथीहरू किल हामी सबै हामी उठाउँछौँ भन्ने सोचे इफ नट यो म्याचमा पनि राम्रो रिजल्ट आउँथ्यो लागिरहेको थियो मलाई ब्रिटिस कलेजको लागि चाहिँ राम्रो जम्प भन्ने मौका छ कमसेकम सेकेन्ड पोजिसनमा यो म्याच सकिँदा बनाउन सक्ने मौका छ बट त्यो रोक्दैछ #1 मा रहेको टिमले मिठो स्प्रे थियो मिठो नक मिठो एलिमिनेसन देखेको छन् त्यही नजिकै अर्को पनि प्लेयर रहेको छ भनेर त्यो कले उठायो त्यो उठाएको छ वेस्ट मिनिस्टर कलेजले अनि टोटल पोइन्ट्स उनीहरूले ट्यालीमा इभन फर्दर मोर थप्न थाल्यो अब यता अमनले एलिमिनेसन उठाउँदैछन् 12 यो म्याचमा पनि आइसक्यो अघिल्लो म्याचमा 16 त्योभन्दा अघिल्लो म्याचमा 22 कि कति आउँदै थियो थ्रोबल जाँदैछ सही ठाउँतर्फ सायद पड्काउन सक्छ त्यसले ड्यामेज दियो प्लेयरहरूको सातो गयो अर्को फलो थ्रोबल जाँदैछ उनीसँग अझै पनि छ थ्रोबल्स फाल्नको लागि
जित्यो क्रिस भाइहरुले
फुल
जित्यो
फोकस
वेस्ट मिनिस्टरले
बीचमा रङ टाइममा क्रिस डाउन भयो अब क्रिसलाई बचाउने बारेमा सोचेर अमन पछाडिपट्टि गयो भने उनी एलिमिनेसन पोसिबल बनाइरहेका थिए उनले त्यसमा ब्रेक लाग्ने भयो र क्रिसतर्फ अमनले हेरेका पनि छन् अहिलेको लागि त उनी फर्स्ट एड लगाइसकेका थिए बुस्टर सायद युज गर्दैछन् अर्को थ्रोबल्स प्लान गरियो त्यो गाडीले कभरको काम गरिरहेको थियो बट त्यसले ट्रबल पनि बनाउन सक्छ कभर मात्रै नभएर देखियो प्लेयरलाई देखियो पुश गर्नको लागि गइसके साथी एक्लै गए अगाडि ल्या थ्रोबलमा भ्याइदिए दुईजना प्लेयरलाई नि अमनले त त्यसले एलिमिनेसन पनि मिठो बनाएको छन् अगाडिपट्टि देख्दैछन् उनले अरू पनि प्लेयरहरू डबल पोइन्ट्स बनाएर जाने मौका बनाउँदैछन् किङ्सका लास्ट प्लेयर हुन् बट किङ्स अलरेडी लास्टमा कन्ट्रोल गरिसकेको थियो अमन साथीले अर्को दुईजनालाई देख्छन् अर्को एलिमिनेसन पनि उठाउँछन् नाउ इट इज 1v1v1
तीन टिम सर्भाइभ गर्दैछन् मदन भण्डारी मेमोरियल कलेज त्यस पछाडि टिडब्ल्युसी को टिम त्यहाँ रहेको छ वेस्ट मिनिस्टर कलेज अनि ब्रिटिस कलेज तीनटा टिम अन्सुमन ल अघिल्लो म्याचमा अवार्ड जित्नु पर्यो अन्सुमन भनेको अब फाइनली अन्सुमनले चिकन डिनरको अवार्ड आफ्नो टिमका लागि दिलाउँछन् कि भन्ने आशा तर उनलाई जोनले हिट गर्न थाल्यो यता मदन भण्डारीको साथीलाई पनि जोनले हिट गर्न थाल्यो यिनले अन्सुमनलाई फिनिस गरिदियो भने उता अमनले त केही नगरिकन चिकन डिनर आउने अवस्था बन्ने रहेछ क्लियर एङ्गल पनि परेको थियो अन्सुमन भन्दा अब यसले फिनिस गर्ने भए दुईजनामा एकजना फिनिस भयो ल्याएर त अब आई मिन गोली पनि चलाउनु परेन अब लगे त्यो पनि एलिमिनेसन लगे लिएर नै छोडे आई मिन केही टाइम अगाडि जब उनी लेफ्ट साइडमा नेडै नेडा
छैन सुरु भक्कडा हो कहाँ सुरु भएको छैन मेरोमा त सुपर चाहिँ हाल्दिम कि क्या त्यस्तो सावधानी नै होइन होला कहाँ यो चेक लापको भेन्यू कस्तो रहेछ हेरौँ न यार हेर न यहाँ 2 $210,000बाट सिधै 70 त्यसपछि सिधै 40 कस्तो हुन्छ होला है त है यो थर्ड हुनेहरूलाई 1-2 पोइन्टको डिफरेन्समा सेकेन्ड थर्ड हुनेहरूलाई MVP लाई $5,000 $5500 कतिको छ के 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 रे के हो कि को रे यिनीहरू के हो फर्स्टमा छ स्पिरिट कति कति तान्यो 5 फिफ्थ भनेको सेकेन्ड 2 3 8 8 पोइन्ट तान्यो सेकेन्ड गेममा फर्स्ट गेममा 4 पोइन्ट तान्यो ठीक छ सुरु हुँदैन त कडा 1 सेकेन्ड है म एकचोटि बाहिर गएर आइहाल्छु है कल आयो
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, strap in because we are about to jump into the final Erangel game of the day. And then we're going to be wrapping it up with 2 Miramars to see who's going to be ending up on top at the end of the first day of the PUBG Mobile Hong Kong Invitational. We have 4 teams from PEL. We got teams from Indonesia. We got representatives from Europe. We got, of course, the Mongolian powerhouse in Alpha. We got the Brazilians in Alpha 7 and Influence Rage. We got Telecom TG Alliance. We have the Japanese Samurais jumping in Reject and Kinotrope. And, of course, we have a previous world champion joining us in this tournament. Alongside the representatives from Korea as well. It is D Plus and DRX. 16 incredible teams. Gonna be fighting it out over the course of, I believe, 21 matches. That is correct. If we even make it to that 21st match. So far, It's been quite exciting. We've had a lot of support for APG, but I want to see support for all the teams in the chat. So one more time, boys and girls, let me see it in the chat. Who are you supporting, and who do you think is going to take game number 4? And that question is posed to you once again. Nap, give me your prediction.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'm gonna say it's gonna be DK.
DK, interesting. Well, whoever was gonna say Vampire for that one.
Woo! I almost did.
Yeah. Oh, did you actually?
Possibly.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Vampire are looking to continue the fight after managing to get the knockdown. Mula goes down instantly as Federals is ready. Razy having an angle onto Tony K as well. Maybe one of the final members, I think, from Vampire. No, there's 2 people left. Razy trying to see if he can actually get the flush onto Mula. A lot of damage coming in from Schweppes. Undisclosed angle, unaware of where that 4th member was going to be coming from. But here's the thing. If you are BTR, you are supposed to push right now. You have the numbers advantage. Take out Vampire, and that's exactly what they do.
Wow.
2 minutes in, Vampire's out. And BTR with 4 elims and not a single loss. Perfect start for this team and nightmares for Vampire.
Goodness. Okay. So that's a thing that happened. I'm not sure how we go about that. Federals taking out 3 of those players is huge for them. A really, really good start to their day. BTR able to grab those elims, and I always like to talk about this a little bit, Sandstorm, is when you have these matches where you get a lot of elims early on, it sets a trajectory for the rest of the game that looks very, very good for you if you can keep that momentum going. If you take those 3 elims, if you take that squad wipe, and you run forward with it, not overdoing it, but if you just go for it, it can actually end up winning you the game. It's why we saw, for instance, Team Spirit and Sandhawk in boot camp. If they get hawk dropped in boot camp, they tend to have a really good Sandhawk because they have that momentum behind them, that initial drop fight. So we could be looking at that same thing happening with BTR here, where they just start rolling through teams and have a big win. So we'll have to really keep our eye on them.
Yeah, that we do. And right now, Kinotrope, one of the teams that is, well, I mean, the team that is currently in that #1 spot. But we all know that getting to the top is one thing. Staying at the top, that's a whole different ball game. Because you're going to have 15 teams who are all shooting for that #1 spot. 60 other players who are eyeing up the 4 of you. That is how it's going to be. The rest of the teams, everyone's goal at the moment is to stay as close as possible to that #1 spot so that the second we go into that smash rule on day 3, they don't have such a massive uphill battle to fight in order to even pass that threshold to then get the chicken dinner. No, they can at least be close enough to it.
Well, I want to ask you this then, Sandstorm. Is what we're seeing here from some of the top teams a push to get as high as possible for that smash rule on Sunday? Because we are seeing a few of these teams really going all out with like big games, and I don't necessarily think that's just because we're seeing, some teams fall down a little bit. So is this part of the strategy where you go all out, get big numbers, separate yourself from the rest of the team because you know you have 30 points you got to make up on day #3?
I mean, the way I'm thinking about it when it comes to the thing is, it does get very, very complex. I'll be honest, because of the point system. It's like, yes, the point system that we have didn't really change, but I guess the effect is what's changed with with the smash rule coming into play now. I would say teams would be more inclined to take more fights, to focus on getting more points before day 3, because at the moment they don't know what the limit is. The whole point is to stay as close as possible. The second you get to day 3, you know what threshold you're aiming for. You know what your target is going to be. It's like that would be the equivalent of finding out what's the qualification for, like, let's say top 8 out of 16 making it through to the next stage of the tournament. Same thing kind of applies here when we're going into day 3 and the smash rule. Once you know what your target is, you know what kind of strategy you're playing based on the position that you're in. If you're first place, you might be playing a little bit passive because everyone else is trying to follow you. If you're in 4th or 5th and you have 40 or 50 points difference and you're coming into the third day of the tournament, you have to be proactive because there's no winning outside of passing that threshold and getting the chicken dinner. Your goal is no longer to get more points than first place. No. Day 3, you have a specific goal and then a chicken dinner. So that does definitely change the playstyle. I feel like you have a style in day 1 and 2. You come into day 3, your style depends on the position that you're at and how far you are from that threshold.
Okay. Yeah, you've explained that really well. I feel like that's kind of where a lot of these teams are going to be going, right? You do want to be as close as possible to teams around you. Maybe a little bit of a gap if you're trying to, that top 3 is really going to try and themselves from the rest of the lobby. But in and of each other, they've got to keep as possible, and that's where that pressure comes in all day. Yes, you don't want to change your strategy too much. You want to save that 4 days, but you really also have to be aware of the fact, like for LGD, for instance, okay, A7 had a really good game this time. We fell a little bit behind.
एकछिन
We've got to
हराएको
catch up
यहाँनिर
in those
यार
points, make
गडबड
it 1 or 2
भइसकेको छ
points
पोइन्ट
difference
टेबल
again.
त
That sort of thing. It creates a different sort of goal when you're looking at those leaderboards. So game to game,
नेपाल टिमले
sort of the
बोलाएन
priorities
कडा
are starting
प्रोटेस्ट
to
गरौँ
change.
रे थ्याट
And the thing is, when it comes
टुर्नामेन्ट
to those
उनीहरू केही
teams,
बोलाएन भने
and
हामीले प्रोटेस्ट
specifically
गर्ने
when it comes to a game like PUBG Mobile, I want to say, like, one, consistency is one of the most important things in a tournament like this. If you're not able to, I want to say, fight at a consistent level, or participate, perform at a consistent level throughout the 3 days, it becomes like just exceptionally difficult for you. You can't keep having these ups and downs in terms of performance or in terms of how you handle certain situations. The team that's able to adapt to the situation in the best way possible is always going to be the team that comes out on top. It's always going to be the team that performs the very best. Because of a game like PUBG Mobile, and when it comes to the zones, when it comes to how many teams you're participating against, it's just adaptability and consistency, the most important things in a game like this.
Always. And, sometimes that doesn't even mean a win. If we go all the way back to Nova's second win in 2021, yes, 2021, right? If we go back and look at their stats, I think they had like 2 wins, but over the finals, no, I think it was 1 win, if that. I don't think they got any wins actually, but then they had top 5s in every single game. Like top 5 to top 7 every single game.
The thing is, I believe when we were looking at 2020 and 2021 specifically, that's when placements were at like 20 points for first place, maybe 15 for second, or 12 for second, if I'm not mistaken. Or it was like 15 for chicken dinner, 10 for second. Like the point system was different in that way, and specifically the playstyle was different because of that point system. We'll get back to that later, because right now, finally, fights transpire, and okay, oh my god, somehow they managed to take down 2 from APG, but the response from Doc and Top was there, and Top was able to save that fight. That was so close to disaster for APG, but we're not done yet, because Cole is now jumping in, and Rufus instantly down. One more time, 2v4. Club will be taken out as well. Top showing us what he is made of. Leon also pushing into this building. It is now a 2v2 between APG and Cole. They're like, okay, you secure the finishes, you secure the LMs on our guys. We'll do exactly the same thing to you. Nade from Doc to build the 2 people on the inside. Meanwhile, it is split. 1 on the inside and 1 on the outside. The nade goes a little bit too far. Leon now switching up to that DBS. Top still trying to hold that nade. Doc with a nade of his own as well. With the third party, Doc almost goes down. With a nade from Top, gives him the opening. And APG have to finish this fight before they get 4th partied, 5th partied. I don't even know anymore. Oh my lord, APG deal with 2 squads in 2 minutes, but they lost 3 members in a row, and it's all down to Top. It's all down to only one of the best players in the world when it comes to PUBG Mobile, and one of the most experienced players in the game. But let's see what he can do. 2 squads wiped in APG. You can see why they have so many fans, Neb.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan too after that. What on earth? To have the wherewithal to do that and to be able to clutch that like that, really good work. And honestly, if you have to be a solo, kind of at the moment, Top is the one you want to have still standing, right? He was MVP for CSA, PMSL CSA. He's been an MVP contender so far here just today. So a really, really good clutch from him. He should be able to lay low, play quietly, and maybe, hopefully, survive a little bit longer.
DK रब्बर दामी ठाउँमा छ यार यो INF को पनि राम्रो गेम जान्छ जान सक्छ यार यहाँबाट BTR ले आएर रोजा खेलिदिन्छ 100.
We already had a Rozak zone. We don't need another one of those again.
Yeah.
LGD with a full squad 27, Spirit full squad 28. But I'm still focusing right now on Kino Trope. You made it to the top. Can you hold on?
They have fantastic positioning over in Pachinki. 1-3 split going on for them at the moment.
Wait, Lamlum chiraya ta ni.
Is that a 1? No, I think it's just all them. Yeah, it is a 1-3 split. Meanwhile, WBG actually kind of trying to weasel their way into DK's position here. Kinotrop could do some work here. A couple of well-timed nades, a little bit of a push could do something here if they so chose, but honestly, their position's so good, I doubt they really want to jeopardize that at all, so I think they'll be just sticking to these 2 teams here. Void Donkey in the background, you can see them off to your right-hand side of the screen. They're just out of frame now. Team Spirit as well to the left, and then Team Spirit to the right. So teams are starting to close in. They're all watching this fight very closely, and if you're DK, yeah, you kind of just move on back, secure your position, and just wait until they leave.
NC2 SL format त
Let's see if that's
सेम हो
going to be the
सेम हो
call
जस्तो लाग्यो
here
फेरि
or
पनि
not. Switching over to
क्वालिफाई
the
गरेर
side of
आउनु पर्छ होला
LGD,
टिम्सहरु
opening on the
SL को
southern
लागि
side of the zone at the moment. MBM just trying to get a different POV, and he does set its sights onto King for a little bit. Just a couple of warning shots. Like, hey, our territory, don't even think about coming closer. And Thunder Talk thinking, okay, maybe better to move a little bit further into the zone, but they are getting closer to DRX, and King's taking quite a lot of damage. He's not gonna get knocked down just yet. Finale will put in that final nail in King's coffin if he manages to secure that one. They only get the knock, not the finish just yet. But DRX, you know, dealing this kind of damage, getting yourself a knock is perfect, but I don't know if you're going to be able to smoke up and then follow up that quickly. So right now, smoke's coming out from Thunder Talk to prevent any kind of aggressive push towards them. But look at this, Kino Trope. We have Finale scouting a little bit. He is the one that was able to get the knock onto King. It wasn't DRX. But no elimination secured, no point will be given over.
जुन कहाँ पर्छ त केटा हो टीएस तिर
It is an
जान्छ जस्तो
interesting
लाग्यो
one that
यार
they're really
टीएस कि
not
त आइएनएफ
playing
ओए
more of the church. I mean, okay, the zone proves me wrong. I was about to say, interesting that they've moved to the eastern side rather than the western, right? You know, the church is a much better position, but the zone goes straight over to the east, centers up onto Team Spirit. BTR as well, hugely favored in this zone. DK as well to a certain extent, but with those teams around them, they're in a little bit more of a trickier situation. So we'll have to see now. BTR and Voin Donkey, though, doing things. Potato falls out of his vehicle, it looks like, knocks himself. That's not going to be good at all for Voin Donkey. That's going to have to be a revive if they can get it. But it looks like they're a little bit busy at the moment. Team Spirit, Matic does go down. Nomi might be the second to fall here. But it goes back down to quiet. The nades go. That goes Zeta. He will get knocked. That's going to buy them a little bit of time. Matic should be able to get recovered.
See if the recovery will come through. Nomi, though, will be getting knocked down by Ryan as well. Will be getting the finish as well. Team Spirit.
2K election पुगेछ नि हाम्रो पुगाम केटा हो पुगाम न
Not too much though. Zeta will also not be revived. The elimination will
नभए
go
तिम्रो सालले कति छ इफ मैले टिम क्रिएट गर्नु पर्यो भने कति खर्च होला मेरो स्यालेरी छ ठिकै छ भएर न तिमीले टिम बनाउनु पर्यो भने चाहिँ लगभग महिनाको राम्रो ओभर नेपालमा बेस्ट बनाउन खोज्छौ भने चाहिँ महिनाको 5 देखि 10 चाहिँ कहीं गएन
I mean, what do you do if you're over
5
here?
देखि 10 को बीचमा राखौं न
You're over onto the edges of Pachinki. I think you could just book it across the field. You go up to the Potato Hill area, go back around to that southeast side. That's what I would do.
10 भनेको म्याक्सिमम मा जान्छ 5 भनेको अपरेटिङ कस्ट मा जान्छ बुटक्याम्प सुटक्याम्प राखेर
ripping them apart. That's 3 in a row. On the side of DRX. All of a sudden, LGD get absolutely obliterated on the outskirts of the zone. QZZ was able to secure 2 for himself. Sykes was able to get that 1 knock as well, but realizing that the zone might be doing just a little bit too much damage at this point. Hyunbin was the only one that fell, and now we're going back to top. The one-man army from APG will be taken out by King and that S12K.
50,000 भन्छ त 5 देखि 10 लाख भनेको
Talk the talk, they walk the walk, and they eliminate APG in 13th place after getting their first elimination. But that just makes things easier for Kinotrope, because the teams that are competing with them for that #1 spot, LGD lost 3, APG out, but they got 7 eliminations.
त Instagram त कमेन्ट मा लेखेर पास भएको चिन्ता गर्ने हैन के एसी त हो यार
out of the 21, so not much.
I'm always surprised at this actual position.
स्लट छ यहाँबाट जित्नेलाई स्लट छैन चाइनिज 4 टिम चाहिँ 4 वटा मध्येमा चाहिँ एउटा क्वालिफाई भइसक्यो अनि 3 टा चाइनिज 3 टा टिम मध्येमा एउटाले स्लट पाउँछ डब्ल्युसी को जो माथि हुन्छ एकअर्का माथि है एकअर्कामा माथिपट्टि
It goes to Team Spirit again. It goes to Void Donkey. Rejects have a
चारजना मान्छेको दामी
fantastic
गेम
little
हुन्थ्यो अरे
opening now,
टिम
and
सिक्रेटको
that's going to be the end of who was that? I missed it. LGD. That last solo gonna be taken on out, and that's gonna go over to 33.
इफ आफ्नै घरलाई बुट क्याम्प बनाउन
LGD out
पनि
in
त्यति
12th
लाग्ला
place.
आफ्नै घर कस्तो आफ्नै घर भन्नाले आफ्नै घरमा कोही बस भन्नाले आफ्नो घर खाली हो पुरै खाली हो कोही बस्दैन नयाँ नयाँ केही थप्नु पर्ने घर मात्रै छ घरभित्र केही छैन भनिसकेपछि चाहिँ घरको भाडा मात्रै तिर्नु परेन हेर घरको भाडा तिम्रो महिनाको 50 देखि 1 लाख 50 देखि 1.5 लाखको खर्च बाँच्यो भनौँ न 50 देखि 1.5 लाखको खर्च तर अपरेटिङ कस्ट फुडिङ सुडिङ यता उता जर्सी लौडा लसन एक्सेसरिज म्यानेजर
Actually, Sandstorm, this is really nice game sense coming in from WBG. They know that this building is not
वाइफाईको पैसा यता उता गर्दाखेरि तिम्रो त्यही 5 लाख त खर्च हुन्छ
wraparound to get it. That's really nice.
कम से कम पनि
And an even bolder one from Void Donkey to take the fight to PTR. Fredericks has arrived. Vexy just gets in the car. He decides to try and leave. Bengals is trying to clean up this fight in a 1v1 now against him and Razak. Razak with a lot of damage though. At 12k, close range. We know how much damage that can do. Although Influence Rage coming in to clean this fight up. Void Donkey secures the elimination.
अब राम्रो बनाउनु भएछ है नभए नर्मल प्लेयरहरु भन्नाले एनसी बाट प्लेयरहरु उठाउने भएछ त्यस्तो धेरै लाग्दैन बुटक्याम्प मात्रै नबनाए पनि तिम्रो पैसा धेरै बाँच्छ स्यालेरी त दिनु पर्ने हो तिम्रो स्यालेरी भनेको त 3-4 लाखमै टहरिन्छौ स्यालेरी यता उता त बुटक्याम्प बिना त वाइफाई कतिवटा छ बुटक्याम्प वाइफाई एउटा दुईटा चारवटा एउटा दुईटा तीनटा
Nobu knocked himself. Nobu, not sure what's going on over there, buddy, but DRX suffering a little bit, and K and Kinotrope will be wiped out by Weibo. They will be able to secure that compound, but we're still focusing on the fight here between D plus Gia and Alpha 7. Osal deciding to go for the push finally, taking that 1v1, but will get caught off guard through the window. Osal and Fabian will both go down. Alpha 7 have that advantage. Revo
यसरी हो क्या
was not
जेल पे
taken
तो
out.
मेला
He's
पे
coming
लार
through
चलो
the
बच्चा
window.
कड़ा
Are you kidding me? You missed that? Alpha 7 recover somehow magically after that one. 7 squads left in the fifth stage.
कति टाइम लाग्छ रोक न तिमीहरु नहेर न म यहाँ यो गेम सकाएर हेर्छु नि
what wisdom will you give us? What champion will you give us in this fourth map?
Whatever that zone does, man, that's gonna really tell where this game is headed. It does center again on the compound. Again over onto Team Spirit. Influence Rage. WBG really
बोली जस्तो गोली
they went into this compound. They knew what they were doing. A7 now have a hard track ahead of them. Yes, they won against DRX, but can they win getting into zone? They do have a little bit of a ridge that they can use. Same with Influence Rage, but Influence Rage don't need to get into zone. They just have a ridge with direct lines over onto A7. So for A7, this could be a huge task.
It could be indeed. So let's see who will be up to this task.
अहिले हेर्नु पर्छ सँगै हेर्नु चिन्ता नगरी बस्न तिमीहरु अहिले सँगै हेरेर बस सँगै हेर्नु पर्छ नात्ती बस क्या नात्ती बस सँगै हेर्नु पर्छ आनन्दले
Specifically with Kino being out, this is your opportunity. Thundertalk just running it down in order. Versus King takes him out. A former world champion.
What?
त्यसले आफै मोली हान्न यार डोरले किल गर्न सकेन
gets absolutely destroyed as well from a completely different angle by Reject.
फर्स्टमा मेरो साथी गर्दिन है रोक रोक अहिले रोक यो सेकेन्ड लाग्यो 5 मिनेटमा सकिन्थ्यो
are trying to find an opening for them to get in.
That is wild. What an odd push coming in there from
तीर बोकिरहेछ त तीर चाहिँ कहाँ हान्ने हो
early and then King Molotovs himself. It's a big rip, but
PUBG
it
मोबाइल
is what it is.
ग्लोबलमा
Toxic
तीर
is gonna
हान्ने
have to go over to them. That's all they're gonna get out of this game.
तीर बोकिरहेछ
This
हो
is exactly what I talked about. Influence Rage starting to take shots over onto Alpha 7. We're going to start that coming on through here. Also, yeah, onto Mafioso. That's going to be the first knock over towards Alpha 7 here.
हेलो फिर के छ खबर हाम्रो च्यालेन्जेसहरु कहिलेबाट सुरु गर्ने च्यालेन्जेसहरु सुरु गरौँ न हजुर अराउन्ड हक भकै गर्नुहुन्छ
Taking effect on those health bars. You're gonna have to be very, very quick with it if you want to survive that zone.
च्यालेन्जेसहरु त अलवेज रेडी हो का बुझ्नु भएन
Weibo Gaming
अलवेज
25 points with a chance to jump into first place. Same can be said for Spirit and
मेरो
Alpha 7.
सिम्बल नम्बर अहिले रोक है
Influence Rage and Reject
सकिने बित्तिकै पठाऊ म हेरिहाल्छु
are going to need a decent bit more in this game. Alpha 7, they are down to 3 members though, so that's make it a little bit difficult compared to the other squads. It's going to be them and Spirit who are playing as 3 against the full squad of Weibo, Reject and Influence Rage. Okay, hold on. We got Legolas and Sook right now.
लाग्दैन इसको खोलेर हान इसको खोलेर
I
हान
mean, listen,
Go on.
you got me supporting you right now. I love seeing the bow in action. Come on, hit him with it.
लाग्दैन पर गइरहेछ हो त्यो
Oh, he's trying. Not able to get the knock, but
छतमा छतको लेफ्टपट्टि गएर हान न छतको लेफ्टपट्टि
I mean,
छतको लेफ्टपट्टि गएर हान न ढोकापट्टि लेफ्टपट्टि
can you try just like aiming up so high that you try to get that angle that way?
यो
My lord,
तीर
if
धेरै
anyone's
पर
able
गयो
to
का अलिकति
do a
लेफ्टमा
knock like that,
अलि
I
माथि
wanna
छतमा
see
जाऊ
that.
गाडी देख्छु गाडीमा हान
Fucking aiming up at the sky
knock
and
हुन्छ
trying to
100
get the angle right on someone.
Woo! That would be nasty. That would be a nasty shot, 100%.
Imagine you can attach nades to the arrows as well.
Ooh. Yes.
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 Like attach, make the head of the arrow just like the molly. Light it up and fire that bad boy and see what happens.
That would be awesome. I would love that so much.
Yeah. Tencent, if you're listening, I'm just saying we got ideas.
We got ideas.
Most of them might be just horrible ideas, but we have good
True.
ones. We rarely have good ones. We do.
Occasionally, yeah. We do have a couple of good ones. Oh, this is rough for A7 though, Sandstorm, because like now they're using the vehicles. I thought they were just opting for the prone idea, right? Which seems like it's the only thing they can do. And they're just not going to be left alone. Lorenzen, that's his 3rd knock onto Mafioso. I know he's just boiling right now because how is this one player keep knocking him like this? That is rough, but Rejects now moving over, trying to get some shots over onto Influence Rage. Revo goes down as well on one side, so now that's really A7. Really struggling, down to just a solo. Carrillo is the only one left alive for that team now. Influence Rage gonna be moving on in, but where do you move to? Yes, there's a vacuum created by A7, but it's a weak position. You don't want to take it.
लेफ्टमा आन न ओपनमा छ स्मोकमा खेलिरहेछ हो लेफ्टमा
right now. You throw as many smokes as possible. Carrillo trying to see if you can apply a little bit of pressure on that front, but it looks like Reject will be able to beat
the
3rd party from the side of Spirit, I believe. The green squad, yeah, they will be applying a little bit of pressure as well onto Diego and onto the Influence Rage lineup. Ragey
एक ठाउँमा चाहिँ एउटा बमले सब पड्किन्छ एक ठाउँमा चाहिँ एउटा बमले दामी पड्किन्छ सब पड्किन्छ दामी बम हान्नु त एक बममा पड्किन्छ यिनीहरु
only getting 1 knock, but it is Reject who stays alive. But now they are forced to get into the zone, and Team Spirit will take advantage of that. But it is Orton who steals the kill and the elimination onto Apollo.
Goodness me. Down to our last 4 teams. A7 still here as a duo somehow. Rejects, WBG, and Team Spirit. WBG, the only team with a full squad right now. None of the action has gone over to them. They've been able to keep alive and stay put. Effect on the other side goes down very, very low, but not getting knocked just yet. For Team Spirit, Nomi was taken out early, their MVP from the last game. So they don't have him on their side. That nade could be very good onto Kitsune. Does not miss. It doesn't miss. It misses the knock, but does not miss that damage. That's going to have him scurrying into a corner to heal on up. Meanwhile, Carrillo trying to do something onto WBG. They keep on going on to Kitsune.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised that Carrillo was able to get the revive in that situation. I thought he'd have to get into the zone, or I didn't think that his teammate Enrivo would be able to crawl to him, but he was able to, and they were able to get that revive, and that could change the end of the games here. My God, wait, you have 26 nades!
What?
Why do you have an artillery barrage in your back pocket, Weibo? What doing? What's the plan here? Dude, they have more nades than the rest of the lobby. The rest of the lobby has 21 nades altogether. They have 26.
Wow.
Wait.
Not just how many, it's how effective they can be. A little bit of damage onto Reiji. Molly comes out to force them to move. Another nade! Right between them. No, that was a flash, actually. Just baiting us. But still, Reject will be able to
यो
hide
बम त
between the
यिनीहरुको
bombs.
कसैले ओभरकुक हान्छ कहिले अन्डरकुक
They're still
हान्छ
able to hide. Molotov just hits the windowsill. Not able to get inside all the way. Not able to force
WBG अब बम हानम न 9 सर्कल भइसक्यो 9th
Not a force in the way enough though.
चलो
No! No! Julo with the molly! Julo finds the
अब
opening,
बम
but
हान्न
he's
सुरु गरम
down.
WBG
Steps
बम
to
बम
defend,
बम
and
बम
Reiji
लेट्स गो
now up against 3 members. But Weibo, I believe, are the ones in the
33
best
G
position possible.
हानम बम
Because
हानम
again, remember, as Spirit, you're gonna get sandwiched between Weibo and Reject.
त्यो सुकले जहाँ पाइदा हानेको हानेछ अघिबाट
The game for people. And Reiji is out. Yeah, Weibo have the better position. They have such a huge advantage now, Nep.
They've bided their time. They've waited for the right moment, and this was the right moment when Team Spirit are distracted, when Rejects are busy, when A7 is just down to 1 in that off angle out in the open. He's gonna go down super duper easily.
26 वटा बम छ 26 वटा बम छ सब बम सकाउनु पर्छ एडा
They're gonna take this win. Here they come across the road. Is this a little soon? Maybe order goes down. That's a little bit preemptive, but these explosives are just gonna do all the damage. There we go. All you need is one player across the road to do the things you need them to do, and here we go. Effect just down to a solo here. It is a 1v4.
Yeah, but notice how they are not all running rampant towards that last player. They are still playing together up until the very last moment. They want to secure those eliminations, but you see, those kind of mistakes can happen. Effect now in a 1v3, can he do it outside the zone? He cannot, and Weibo Gaming get themselves the chicken dinner in the last Erangel of the day. They managed to do that with style, and you...
La, ano kada, ano. Coming soon भन्छ त केटा हो coming soon भन्छ त 820 coming soon भन्छ त अनि खल्ती चेक दाइरे अब यहाँबाट खल्ती कहाँबाट हेर्नु एकान्तिपुर हेर न एकान्तिपुर चेक ल भन फुल नेम र नम्बर भन फुल नेम र नम्बर सहित 80 हो रे 81 82 हो सेलेक्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट कहाँको डिस्ट्रिक्ट हो ए कमिङ सुन पो रहेछ हौ अन्त अघिबाट रिजल्ट चाहिँ के आयो भनेको त के आयो भनेको अघिबाट तिमीहरुले
Groups, it's just the gap that seems to be
अघिबाट आफैले आयो भन्छ अहिले पब्लिश भएन भन्छ
like for instance for WBG this is a big game. They're going to be shooting up to that first place finish, but how much can they actually keep that going? We're going into 2 different Miramars. We will probably see a different team move in, take a win, get all the points that they need, especially on day 1 where the leaderboards are just so volatile.
Yeah, day 1's always the one that we see with like crazy jumps from teams. Upright, left, down, it's absolutely insane. But when we get to that 3rd day, this is what I want to see. I honestly just want to get to that 3rd day and see what that threshold is going to be and how the teams are going to be dealing with it. And specifically, I'm loving how we are like watching the evolution of PUBG Mobile this year through the points system specifically and through the addition of the Smash rule. I feel like it's definitely it's a nice change to bring into the competition and definitely adds some spice, adds some flavor to that last day of the tournament. Are we gonna end after 2 games or after 3 games, or could we possibly go all the way to the full 9? That like just leaving that. I guess having an unclear answer towards that is just keeping us on our toes, and that's exactly what you want with these kind of tournaments.
I almost feel like the way you're absolutely right. We are going to go. I feel like we're going to go to all 9 games, just because if day 1 is anything to go by, unless 1 or 2 or even 3 teams have huge days tomorrow, every single team has had a different win on a different match. We've not had any doubling up. I think Team Spirit's 2nd place is the most consistent we've seen out of a team so far today, right? The back-to-back 2nd place. So every
Last game यता 108 पुराइसकेको छ 15 किल हान्छ हेर न त्यहाँ
शटगन लगाउनु पर्ने थियो आइसले लगाए 2 प्लेयर डाउन छन् बट सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड गर्नको लागि गइएको छ हिल गर्नुपर्ने रिकभर गर्नुपर्ने आई थिंक जोन क्लासिको भनेपछि भ्याइन्छ होला यहाँ रेस्क्यु गर्न भ्याइन्छ माथिबाट प्लेयर झरे क्रिसको काम रहनेछ त्यो प्लेयरलाई टेक डाउन गर्ने पक्कै पनि उनी जानेछन् त्यो मिशनको लागि लुज गरे अमनलाई लुज गरे साथी त पुरै सिट स्विच गरेर हान्ने सोचमा थिए अनि यता नक भएको प्लेयरलाई फिनिश गरिदिन्छ कि भन्ने पनि डर रहेको छ खोजिरहेको छ त्यो प्लेयरलाई फिनिश गर्न लागिरहेको छ रे
शटगन क्याममा सकिसक्यो
जान्छन् पक्कै पनि बट त्यो गर्नु परेन 17औं एलिमिनेसन एउटा प्लेयर रिभाइभ हुने भयो अमन साथीले अब त्यस्तो त गर्न नहुने है सिट स्विच गरेर हानेपछि फेरि बसेर निस्किनु पर्ने दोस्रो प्लेयरले उतारिहाल्यो एकजना प्लेयरले 17 एलिमिनेसन यो टिमको लागि बनेको छ एमबीपी बनिसके क्रिस साथी अलरेडी नै 23+ किल त मैले जोडेकै थिएँ 4 म्याचमा यो म्याचमा पनि 5 अराउन्डको आइसकेको छ साथीहरुले डबल पोइन्ट्स त कम्फर्टेबल बनाउँछौ भनेर चाहिँ लागिरहेको छन् अब सर्कल त देख्नु भएको छ मिलिट्री बेस थियो त्यसलाई खेल्न कति गाह्रो हुने भयो त्यो अफ कोर्स थाहा नै छ बट सेकेन्ड थर्ड को लागि अझै पनि लडाई जारी छ
चिटिङ गर्यो यो त
सेकेन्ड थर्ड को अझै पनि डिसाइड भइसकेको छैन बिकज 44 बाट एमआईटी ले पनि एड गरेको छैन पोइन्ट ट्रायमा बचिरहेको छ स्टिल एमआईटी निस्कियो यो पोइन्टमा भने पनि ब्रिटिश कलेजले बचाउँछ कि आफ्नो सेकेन्ड स्पट भन्ने रहनेछ त्यहाँ हुन त पछाडीपट्टिबाट फेरि फिनिक्स पनि अलिकति जोसिन खोज्दै थियो सायद अब उनीहरुसँग सर्कल छैन सो थोरै मुभ गर्नुपर्ने छ ताकासी इम्पोर्टेन्ट प्लेयर देखिएका छन् आजको दिनमा बट उनलाई लुज गर्नु परेको रहेछ 7 एलिमिनेसन टोटलमा यही भेकलको त कमी थियो आज यही त देख्न पाइएको थिएन एउटा फाइनल यो पनि देख्न पाइयो मिलिट्री बेस सर्कल भइसके पछाडि यो गाडी त जसरी भए पनि खोजेर कहाँबाट खोजेर हुन्छ त मिल्टा पावर वरपर खोजेर हुन्छ मिल्टातिर खोजेर हुन्छ कहाँ खोजेर हुन्छ नोबरे पनेको ब्रिज वरपर खोजेर हुन्छ निकाल्यो अब साथीलाई कन्फ्युजन यहाँ यो छ कि गाडी निकालौं कहाँबाट मैले फेन्सिङले अलिकति ट्रबल दियो यहाँ अगाडिपट्टि निस्किन्छ साथी हो यहाँबाट राइट हान्नु त ठ्याक्कै निकाल्न मिल्छ उता क्रिस डाउन गरियो क्रिसलाई डाउन गरिएको थियो बट इन्स्टेन्ट ट्रेड गरिन्छ निलेशको तर्फबाट जेरी डाउन भए मिलिट्री बेसको आइल्यान्डमा आइपुगेर प्रेसिडेन्शियल जहाँ केही टाइम अगाडि फाइट इनिसिएट नगरिकन फर्किन खोज्दै थियो सीएमसँग उनीहरुसँग लड्न पनि भइसकेको रहेछ निलेशको एगेन्स्टमा शट दिन भ्यायो निलेश पनि डाउन
आयुष त अफलाइन छ त
कन्भर्ट भए आयुष त लास्ट साथी माथि हेरेको त छैनन् रहेछन् यहाँ फिनिश हुने भयो टिम फिनिश हुने भयो एलिमिनेसन जसले नक गरेका थियो साथीहरु एलिमिनेसन पाउने भयो तिमीहरुले दिएको एलिमिनेसन निस्कियो त्यहाँबाट वेस्टमिन्स्टरको टिम बट के नै खेल्यो उनीहरुले 78 एलिमिनेसन 110 टोटल पोइन्ट 5 म्याचमा पक्कै पनि अन्जले भन्नुभयो जस्तै अर्को चोटी कलेज छोडाउनु भयो अर्को चोटी कलेज क्याम्पस क्लब भयो भने यो टिमलाई सायद खेल्न नदिने भनेर सबैले पिटिसन नै फाइल गर्छन् होला बिकज जसरी उनीहरुले खेलिरहेको छन् उता अर्को पनि घुम्दै रहेछ ओभरक्राफ्ट त अब यो ओभरक्राफ्टलाई कसरी डिल गरिन्छ
डबल त हुन्छ जस्तो देख्दैछु म त हुन त सर्भाइभल एड भएको छैन 110 नै हो टोटल उनीहरुको ट्याली एमआईटी ले पुराउनु पर्यो 55 त्यसको लागि उनीहरुलाई चाहियो 11 मध्ये पहिला त चाहियो 2 ताकि उनीहरुको कम से कम सेकेन्ड स्पट फिक्स होस् भनेर बट जरुरी छैन उनीहरुको फिक्स नै हुन्छ भनेर अरू पनि टिम छन् उनीहरू अर्ली निस्क्यो भने ओभरटेक हुन्छन्। मिलिट्री बेसमा गएर चिकन हानेपछि कमसेकम 20 पोइन्ट झोलामा त आउँछ। 20 पोइन्ट तपाईँले एड गर्नुहुन्छ भने पिसिओया माथि गइहाल्छ, एसिएमई पनि जान सक्छ, त्यसपछि इभन गेट कलेज पनि जान सक्छ माथि। त्यसको पोसिबिलिटी अझै पनि ओपन छ। उता प्रेसिडेन्सियल कलेज यो टिमले पनि आश गरेको छ म्याचबाट पोइन्ट्स निकाल्नको लागि। 4 जना प्लेयर मिलिट्री बेसमा जानु सबसे ठुलो च्यालेन्ज रहेको थियो, त्यो उनीहरूले पार गरिसकेका थिए। साथीहरूले कन्ट्रोल गरिरहेको छैन नि क्या यहाँ फिनिक्स कलेजबाट। मिस्टर देवको स्प्रे त हामीले राम्रो देखिरहेको थियौँ, बट जुन पोजिसन थियो त्यसलाई बेटर गरेर पुसको लागि गइएको छ। पछाडिपट्टि एउटा प्लेयर रहेछ, त्यसलाई टेक डाउन गर्नुपर्छ बुझेको छ देवले। निकाले सायद अर्को भयो, यो मैले बुझ्न त सकिनँ, बट ओभरअलमा टिमले भिक्ट्री चाहिँ यहाँ बनाएको छ। प्रेसिडेन्सियल कलेजलाई साथीहरू यो टुर्नामेन्टमा त केही हुँदै छैन भनेर भनिएको छ। अब फिनिक्स कलेजले चाहिँ मौका बनाउँदैछ आफ्नो लागि, हामी जाँदैछौँ अलिकता भए पनि नजिक भनेर, बट यहाँ प्लेयर लुज भयो। यो हुनै पर्ने थिएन। ओभरक्राफ्ट प्लेयर अगाडि गएका थिए, 2 देव साथीले हान्दैकै थिए पछाडिबाट, स्टिल कसरी फिनिस भयो यो बुझ्न गाह्रो। ओभरक्राफ्ट लिएर गएका साथी फिनिस हुन पुग्यो त्यहाँ त्यो बिचमा। हुन त देवले थ्रोबल फाल्दिएको भए पनि काम गर्थ्यो होला पहिले नै, त्यतिसम्म पुसको लागि त जानै पर्ने थिएन। त्यसमा जोनको यसको कुरा रहेको थियो। एनिवे पिसिपिएस बाँकी छ, ऱ्याङ्क बढाउने पहिलो पेजको एन्ट्री सायद सोच्न सक्छु होला, त्योभन्दा बढी मैले पोसिबल रिजल्ट फिल गरिरहेको छैन। त्यो बिचमा एउटा टिम आर्को पनि निस्क्यो, एसिइएम निस्किएको छ। ओके एउटा एसिइएम छ, एउटा एसिइएमई छ। ओके एनिवे नयाँ सर्कल सँगसँगै प्लेयरहरूको पोजिसन फिनिक्स कलेज त टाढै देखिरहेको छ मैले। बाँकी साथीहरू 3टा टिम एक साइडमा लड्ने हो, मेन मिलिट्री बेसमा 2टा टिम लड्ने रहेछन्। गेट कलेज जाँदैछ, फाइट इनिसिएट गरिसकेका छ उनीहरूले। जो प्लेयर यहाँ थिएनन् उनीहरू पनि सपोर्टको लागि नजिक आएको देख्न सकिन्छ। यही मुखबारी पड्किने हुन् कि भन्ने डर लाग्दै थियो मलाई, बट केही छैन, धन्न नक निकालियो त्यहाँ। अर्को सपोर्ट दिन आएको प्लेयर पनि अब त म कमिट गरौँ या जोनमा जाउँ सायद त्यो सोच्नमा बाध्य भइसकेका छन्। लेफ्टमा अर्को टिम छ, त्यो टिमको पनि सायद इन्ट्री एक्सपेक्ट गर्न सकिन्छ। आई थिङ्क एमआइटी रहेको छ त्यहाँ। एमआइटीको प्लेयर डाउन भयो बाइ द वे, लास्ट पनि स्ट्यान्डिङमा एमआइटी पनि गइसक्यो लगभग। अब त सरी 2 म्यान स्ट्यान्डिङमा 2 पोइन्ट त कमसेकम चाहिएको छ। सरी 2 त सर्भाइभलबाट आइसकेको रहेछ। एनिवे एमआइटी एटलिस्ट अहिलेको लागि टेम्पोररी ऱ्याङ्किङमा त जाँदैछ। 1 पोइन्ट्स नल्याए पनि यहाँबाट उनीहरू सेकेन्ड पोजिसनसम्मको लागि टेम्पोररी त जाँदैछ।
यहाँ सेकेन्ड पोजिसनसम्म जाँदैछ। एकजना प्लेयरलाई डाउन गरिएको थियो, आई बिलिभ फिनिक्सले त्यहाँ नक निकालेको थियो, बट सायद उनीहरूले क्लोजिङ गर्नको लागि त्यति आँट्दै खाएन बिकज पनि एमआइटीले निकाल्न सकेको भए फिनिक्सका लागि मेबी हामी अझै माथि जान सक्छौँ भन्ने मौका सृजना बन्न सक्थ्यो होला। उता माथिपट्टि एमआइटीको टिम रहेको छ, मेबी यो एरियामा हेर्न सक्छौँ उनीहरूले पनि। भन्दा भन्दै उता क्लाउनलाई नक निकालियो, सिनियरको तर्फबाट विराजलाई पनि डाउन गरिएको छ। गेटको एकजना नक, पिसिपिएसको एकजना नक, एमआइटीले उठाउने मौका अब यहाँबाट मजाले बनाउने छ। टिम आउँदै थियो, उनीहरूलाई रोक्ने भयो। एमपीको एचपी कम भएको छ, तेज जसले राम्रो इम्प्याक्ट बनाइरहेको थियो।
टायर बिना बगैँचामा चढाउँदैछ।
सायद टिममेटको कभर फायर एक्सपेक्ट गर्दै थियो होला, बट टिममेट आफू हिल गर्दै थिए। फिनिक्स राम्रो जम्प देखाउन खोज्दै थियो। आई मिन पहिलो म्याचमा 0 पोइन्ट खेले पछाडि बाँकीको 4 म्याचमा साथीहरूले राम्रै जम्प देखाउन खोजेको हुन्, बट अलि इनफ नहुने भयो। यस्तै नै हो, जति थोरै म्याच हुन्छ कम्पिटिसन त्यति नै बन्छ अनि तपाईँको लागि मार्जिन अफ एरर पनि त्यति नै हेभी हुँदै जान्छ।
एउटा रिजल्ट हेरेको 500 ल्याउन फेर
ठुलो
त्यस्तै गर्नुपर्छ है।
अब उनीहरू अब जति एक्स्ट्रा पोइन्ट उठाउन सकिन्छ उठाउन साथीहरू। 14 जना प्लेयर, इनफ्याक्टमा 13 जना प्लेयर अलाइभ रहेका छन्। नोयाफलाई डाउन गरिएको थियो, केएमसीको टिम निस्कियो त्यहाँ। गेटका लागि पनि प्लेयर डाउन भएको देख्दैछु। इनफ्याक्टमा 2 जना प्लेयर डाउन भएका रहेछन् गेटका त। एमआइटीले एलिमिनेसन उठाउन खोज्दैछ। अन्तिम प्लेयर रहेका छन् धम्पु गेमिङ। सायद आइडिया रहेको छ एक्ज्याक्टली कहाँ नक निस्किएको हो त्यो प्लेयर भनेर, बट नो उनीहरू अर्कै साइडतर्फ गए। लेफ्ट ह्यान्ड साइडतर्फको कन्ट्रोल अझै पनि राख्न चाह्यो एमआइटीले। कम्प्लिटली अगाडिपट्टि आएर क्रास गर्ने बारेमा उनीहरूले सोचेन। यता फिनिक्स कलेजका लागि यमी अन्तिम प्लेयर बाँकी रहेको टिमको
यसबाट त पुगिसक्यो यो एमआइटी भन्ने सेकेन्ड भइसक्यो। अरूले भ्याउँदैन अब माथि आउनलाई।
स्पटेड नाइटसम्म स्पटेड सिंगल ट्यापले काम गर्नेछ।
जोनले मरो त्यो
स्प्रे नै दिन खोज्दै थियो, फाइनल्ली एचपी
किल लिन सकेन हो त्यो त।
ओके त्यो एलिमिनेसन आएन, त्यो एलिमिनेसन प्ले जोनले लिएर गएको रहेछ। एमआइटीका लागि 7 एलिमिनेसन आएको छ। सिचुएसन बनेको छ 3v3v3v1 को, जहाँ 10 प्लेयर सर्भाइभ गरिरहेका छन्। 3 प्लेयर
कहाँ गएको
अगाडिपट्टि देखियो, गाडी घुमाएर गइरहेका प्लेयरको पोजिसनको बारेमा आइडिया भयो।
यो स्मोक त पहिला हाने भइहाल्थ्यो नि। अनि
राम्रो पिन डाउन गरेर त राखेका थिए, बट अब त्यो प्लेयर निस्किन भ्याउँछ भ्याउँदैन त्यहाँबाट भन्ने कुरा क्लोजिङको लागि गएको छ। एउटा थ्रोएबल छ जीएक्सडीएक्ससँग भने मेबी जम्प गरेर थ्रोबल फाल्दाखेरि रिजल्ट दिन्छ होला बिकज एचपी थिएन
रिभाइभ पनि भएन
अब
लु
फाइनल्ली हिल गर्न भ्यायो उनले यता वेब फिनिस हुनु पर्यो अर्को एलिमिनेसन आयो 8औं एलिमिनेसन इनफ्याक्टमा एमआइटीका लागि कम्फर्टेबली सेकेन्ड स्पट लिएर जाने भयो यहाँबाट एमआइटीले पनि
उता रिभाइभलको चान्सेस सायद लिइँदैछ त्यहाँ त्यो बिचमा राम्रो जम्प निकाल्ने मौका एटलिस्ट यो टिमको लागि चाहिँ बन्न सक्छ नजिकै आए सर्टगनको एक्सन हुने हो सरप्राइज गर्ने एङ्गल बन्न सक्छ उनको ठाउँ पनि दामी छ फेरि किन भन्दा प्लेयर लेफ्टबाट तल त झर्छ यमीले डस्ने मौका देखेँ मैले भाइ तपाईँ गिट कलेजका यो साथीलाई त उताबाट यमीले पुरै भुट्न सक्छन् फिनिक्सको राम्रो कोसिस अझै पनि जारी छ यता सिनियरसँग थ्रोएबल छैन एउटा मात्रै मोलोटप छ त्यो युज गरिएको त छैन गनले सायद मान्ने छैन बट जोन सँगसँगै सायद अगाडि बढ्नु चाहिँ पर्ने हुन्छ मोलोटप यहाँ रुखमा बरु लगाइयो लेफ्टमा सर्ट्स हान्दै थियो राइटमा यत्तिकै सर्ट मोलोटप लगायो उनले हेर्दै त उनी अगाडिपट्टि नै छन् सर्ट्स त फेरि उनी अगाडि नै लगाइरहेका छन् अब देखेँ उनले बट सिनियरलाई देखिँदो रहेछ धम्फु गेमिङबाट
रिभाइभ हुँदैन टाइम छैन
यम्मीले डाउन गर्दै एकजना प्लेयरलाई जुन एक्सपेक्टेड थियो बट यम्मीलाई पनि इन्स्ट्यान्टली ट्रेड गरियो त्यहाँ प्लेयरसँग कभर छ धम्फु गेमिङलाई सर्ट्स हान्न मिलिरहेको छैन
रिभाइभ भयो कसरी भयो रिभाइभ है
यो टिमलाई पनि गाह्रो पर्छ बट रुकमा रहेको प्लेयर जसले सबसे ठुलो प्रब्लम दिन सक्थ्यो उसलाई नक निकाल्यो लास्ट पनि स्ट्यान्डिङ 9 जेन बचेको छन् त्यहाँ एलिमिनेसन उठाउँदै पनि छैनन् साथी अगाडिपट्टि सिटिबीको लागि राम्रो मौका राइट साइडमा धम्फु रहेका छन् यो
गोली सक्यो
शटगनले त्यहाँ त लाग्दैन क्रेट छ यही क्रेट साइडमा छ सायद एम्पर पाए उनले एमो पाए जम्मा 28 4वटा नेट छ तर त्यो 4वटा नेटले चाहिँ हेल्प गर्न सक्छ त्यो 4 नेट छैन एमो त छैन नेट चाहिँ रहेछ त्यो युज गरिएको छ बट यता धम्फु चाहिँ आइसकेका छन् उनी पनि थ्रोएबल्स लिएर बट उनलाई नोट गरिएको रहेछ उनलाई एचपी घटाइएको थियो साथीसँग फेरि छैन फर्स्ट एड छैन अब ब्यान्डेज लगाऊ
जुन जानु पर्छ
नेट रेडी गरिदिएछ नौजेनको तर्फ अगाडिपट्टि सिटिभी लुसिफरलाई त देखिएको थियो यो नेटले काम गर्छ नौजेनको अगेन्स्टमा पड्काउन सक्छ
के गर्दै छ
अर्को थ्रोएबल्स प्रिपेयर हुँदैछ त्यही रुखमा छ थाहा छ त्यहीमा उनले पहिला स्मोक लगाएको छन् ताकि म स्पट
न स्मोक न जोनतिर
बट नीड यस्तो
अपोनेन्टको मुखतिर नहान न जोनतिर हान न
म्याच गर्न सकिरहेको छन् ह्यापी बी स्विच गरी
अपोनेन्ट त्यही स्मोक बढायो भने के गर्छ अहिले आफ्नै भिजन ब्लक भयो कुदा राइट कुदा
पनि सायद नौजनले बुझिसक्यो अब त भएको 4 नेट भ्यायो उनले रिजल्टै नआउने गरी ओके अब यहाँ लेफ्टमा एउटा प्लेयर राइटमा एउटा प्लेयर उनले बुझेको
यसलाई उठेर हान्नुपर्छ काम छैन यसलाई उठेर हान्नुपर्छ
भन्दै छ अघि मिरामारमा पनि हामीले यस्तै रिजल्ट देखेको यो जोनले त छोयो कि फिनिस हो त भाइ पछाडीबाट
हान्नुपर्छ भन्दै थियो
नौजेलाई फिनिस गरे धम्पुसँग मौका रहेको छ ग्रान्ड स्टाइलमा फिनिस गर्ने यदि र्याङ्किङ केही बदल्यो भने सायद बदलेला कि भनेर आश गर्नेछन् गेटले निकालेको छ सेकेन्ड इनर जाँदा आई थिङ्क 2 म्याच राम्रो गयो होला उनीहरू खेलेको 5 म्याच मध्येमा यो सँगसँगै हाम्रो पब्जी मोबाइल क्याम्पस क्लब चाहिँ सकिन्छ पिएमसिसी चाहिँ सकिन्छ विनरको त डाउट नै थिएन एमआइटी सायद सेकेन्ड भयो होला अब कुरा यो छ कि हाम्रो जुन ब्रिटिस कलेज थियो आई थिङ्क होस्ट कलेज जो रहेको थियो जहाँ जसको हलमा भनौँ
के रिजल्ट भन्छ यार केटाहरु यार आको छैन काई
म्यानेज गरिदिएको थियो त्यो साथीहरू थर्ड भयो कि नै पनि भन्ने क्वेसन चाहिँ रहेको छ बिकज यहाँ सेकेन्ड इनर राम्रो बनायो धम्पुको साइडबाट राम्रो प्रयास साथी त्यहाँ रिभाइभ दिन रिस्क लिन पुगेका थिए डट एचपीमा बचेका थिए कुनै थ्रोएबल्स उनको साइडमा आएन प्लेयर बचाउन नभए पनि आफू बाँचे त्यसले हेल्प गर्यो एन्ड अल्टिमेट रिजल्ट जुन टिमलाई चाहिएको थियो त्यो उनले निकालेको छ अब यो रिजल्टले
स्ट्राइक आउनला भन्दै थियो आओस् के गर्न त यो गेम चाहिँ कहिले सुरु हुँदै रहेछ
其实都不算优势，是的。那么接下来将要进行的就是我们今天最后2场沙漠地图的较量了。说到沙漠地图啊，不由得担心啊，好像来到了一张新的地图，各个队伍都有揉点的风险。
对，特别是我们在赛前收集到的，可能啊，在航线比较偏右的时候呢 ，A7 跟 DRX 可能会在断层揉点，有可能。好的，各位亲爱的特种兵们，大家好，欢迎来到2025香港邀请赛第5场比赛的较量。我们来看这场比赛的航线，也是刚上一场的海岛地图航线是几乎一模一样的。
只不过方向不同。
西北，对对对。
这场比赛的航线呢是从东南部的普罗港飞往西北边的青铜城，这样一条航线，基本上对于场上的大部分队伍来讲，都是可以安全的回到自己预设的跳点。但是呢，会不会有肉点，我们还要仔细的去观察一番。LGD 现在是在航线头部，非常安稳的回到自己熟悉的普罗港。天霸这一侧呢是选择在航线的中部位置往北部去飞，应该是要去到垃圾站附近找车，再回到自己熟悉的成华镇了。
对的，那这样的航线呢，我们也看到 A7是在往一波城这个方向去飞，那前期的肉点跟断层肯定是没关系了。
Last game कडा मुलांचा यसपछि
还是要关注一下上场比赛吃鸡的微博啊，他们这个位置应该是要去到新山城，那这个圈形已经出现了。
这种圈在我们 PL 的联赛当中的话呢，佟家堡一般是跳新山城的，然后呢都是有第一顺位能够去到更靠近圈中间的位置。
听说这一次呢
That's true. Yeah,
but
you can't beat that one.
You really can't, but I want to focus on the teams at the moment that are currently in the zone. I believe Alpha is just north, heading towards the likes of El Pozo, so they're going to have a huge advantage in being one of the first teams to make it into the zone, I believe.
They are also APG over
result कहिले आउँछ कहिले हेर्नु यार
going over to Monte Nuevo. Yes, they will. So that is going to be something that we're going to see from them. APG are going to be moving over as well further on into the zone. So this is looking really, really good for those teams in particular. The ones that go to Monte Nuevo, the ones that go to Chumacera.
दाइ रिजल्ट आउनु लाग्यो के
Also,
भन्दिनु न पोजिटिभ
let me just check real quick. KN should be
रिजल्ट पोजिटिभ
hightailing it, should
भन न
be
के
booking it to
पोजिटिभ
Valle del
भन्नु
Mar,
पर्यो मैले
because that is their normal drop spot. The plane didn't go there, but if they get some vehicles, they could be in center zone immediately.
And that's going to be the goal for them. Get into the zone. Find yourselves in a fantastic position at the end of it. And also, just a reminder, boys and girls, that leaderboard that we are seeing on the right, that is at the end of game numero 4, I believe. And we'll make sure to update that for you guys as well.
We will be seeing that change about a little bit, so don't worry about it. If you see it there, it's not updated just yet. We'll get that fixed. But DRX moving on to the north side, very north side of the zone, is going to be a difficult transition for them. 2,800 meters. And Sandstorm, at this point, you kind of just wait for that zone 2 rotation. That's all you really can do when you're that side of the zone. Especially in Miramar, it's so difficult to get in.
It really would be. And now with all this open ground, and with Miramar, it is going to take a little bit longer for us to see a couple of fights, a couple of skirmishes here and there, as all the teams are just focusing on looting. And then, I want to say, once their first zone closes, that's when we'll start seeing quite a lot more fights, and teams will start running into each other as they're trying to find their way to the center, or maybe playing on the edge. Players do tend to, I want to say, sit in one of two frames of mind in terms of positioning. It's either center zone or edge.
Those are the two big metas, I think, so far in this season. In the 2025 season, we've seen a lot of meta towards the center zone. Everybody just hightails it for the center. But that is going to leave room for some of these teams that maybe don't like center play as much to go for those edges and start that trend again. So we might start to see, especially in this lobby, I feel like would be a big opportunity for some of these teams to use that edge play strat, just because you're able to stay away from the crowd. And if you're on the second half of the leaderboard, probably what you're really just needing to get points is a little bit of space.
See if they're able to secure that space. Now we shift our eyes, set our sights.
कति छ रोटेसन गरेको सबैले 3 मिनेट बाँकी छ हो चाहिँ क्लोजिङ गर्न हुनलाई यार
joined us countless times on the
कतिको लुट पाउँछ यिनीहरुले यार सब रोटेट गर्दैछ
one of the organizations that has become a staple name in international
चारवटा फर्स्ट एड अरे फर्स्ट एड त कहिले पाउँदैन मिराबर खास चाहिँ कहिले चाहिँ भेरी मैले 8-10 वटा पाउँछु हानम न किन रोकेको ला 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 बाइकले हानम न किन रोकेको
I want to say getting closer and closer time and time again. just never found themselves in a position to claim an international title.
You
just yet.
M16 SL के छ त
It
यार
always seems to be like a two-horse race when it comes to Brazilian teams. Alpha 7 Influence Rage, Alpha 7 Influence Rage. Those are always the two teams that we talk about. Inco Gaming made an appearance a couple of times. Consistent. Unfortunately, the consistency wasn't there to, I guess, keep them relevant in a conversation about the best Brazilian teams.
Moro Peri.
But you know, they can get back up, do something a little bit different, maybe do a little bit of tweaking. We'll see how it goes later on into the season. WBG, KN, they're going to be looking at each other. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of these kind of shots taken off to other teams, but no real knocks being sent their way, because this is where... Oh, hold.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
Mark, careful.
Mark, what doing?
Oh!
Okay, so one of the players was taken out. Tamar will fall. But the question is where? Because I see on the minimap 3 people from the side of KN. I don't see where that last member of KN was taken out. I don't know where Tamar is. But Alpha 7 not allowing them the opportunity to go for the push. You got 2 people in the car. Meanwhile, KN, it's solos in the vehicles. So instantly a numbers disadvantage. Weibu secure the elimination onto Tamar. So it looks like Tamar was just caught off during the rotation, it seems.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. It's something we're going to see a lot of. All these teams are going to really be taking shots at each other, trying to get a knock if they can, but so much of these shots being fired are going to be just, oi, stay out of our way shots. These are all people just trying to get to where they need to be in zone. That rotation, that mass exodus is definitely going to be a thing. And so we're going to see a lot of these clashes. We could have a lot of solo players end up being taken out here, but mostly it's going to be a lot of barking, not a whole lot of biting going on. So we'll see how that turns out for them. QZZ, on the other hand, for Tiamba, grabbing an elimination here out in the middle of the blue zone. But hey, loot is loot.
Loot is indeed loot. I can confirm.
Are you a looter?
Listen, I am a goblin when it comes to looting.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm a loot goblin, 100%. Like I see you trying to make space in your inventory so you can pick up that med kit or that maybe that syringe. I'm just gonna fly by, pick it up, and ignore you completely and mention nothing of it. It's like, oh, what syringe? What syringe? I didn't see a syringe.
There's no syringe.
No, you're seeing things.
Oh, you've really got your teammates
gaslighted.
Share your screen.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
They don't trust you.
No, 100%. They don't trust me when it comes to loot, and they definitely don't trust me when it comes to driving.
Okay, good to know. I'll never let you drive.
मैले लाइभ गरेको 3 घण्टा हुन्छ थाल्छ के यार अब 4 मिनेटमा 3 घण्टा हुन्छ यार
I'm awesome. No.
DK
no, I can't believe he sent that to everyone.
आयो
That was crazy.
ल टीएस त ल टीएस त ल टीएस त
are sending it towards LGD right now. Kitsune, they might have just sent it towards the wrong team.
के गरेको
Casualties on the side of Spirit. They are getting obliterated in seconds. And just like that, they traded squash for the whole
टप
squad.
ले मिनी हान थाले है अरु केही हुनु पाएन पट ड्यामेज हानिहाल्छ.
Now Alpha 7 down to 3. I don't know what happened, but that was not the best of calls. Not the best of pushes to be made on the side of Team Spirit. And now they're fully out. No points to earn. And they're second place. This is not a game that you should lose. These are not results that you should be bringing in at the end of the first day. You need to try and stay as close as possible. And this could be something that costs them in the future.
Goodness me. Okay, so to break that down there, because I think a lot of people probably missed that, Team Spirit sent it a 2-2 split. One to the buildings that LGD had, and the other to the buildings that A7 had. Obviously, they were not aware that both of those buildings were taken up by full squads, or they wouldn't have done it. But that's how it happened. They just didn't have that info, and they sent it 2-2. Really, really unfortunate for Team Spirit that such strong teams as well were here. It's not just any old team. It's literally LGD, and it's Alpha 7. You're going to see it here again. So you have that 2-2 split. A7 actually pushed the same building as Matic here. So that's not even their fault. It's DAY7 went at the same time. MVM just gonna grab Kitsune here, and then, yeah, A7 just piling in over onto Team Spirit. They just arrived at the same time. What an unlucky push there for both teams.
Both teams spending quite a lot of time now, and they're attracting quite a decent amount of attention towards themselves as well. Now the second zone closes in. Nep, let's see where the third one will be positioning itself, though.
Ooh, okay. Okay, this is interesting.
Okay. What can you tell me?
APG have big position up onto that the high ground, right? You've got a lot. RC as well, Rejects over onto the western side. They're being left alone. This could be huge for Rejects. As long as they stay alive and stay out of the way, all these teams over in the city are going to be just taking each other out. And so for Rejects, if they do what Weibo did in the last game, they could have a huge game here.
That they can. Influence Rage. You were in 12th place with 14 points. You had a better start in the first couple of games, but now seems to be dying down. And like I mentioned, now is
आयो चारजना एउटा गाडीमा हेर त ल्याम 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 छिरेका अभी कहाँ गएका
Oh my god, how many squads are taking shots?
बग्गी वाला त जहिले हो बग्गी वाला त जहिले नपर्ने
gets knocked out. BTR is suffering losses one right after the other, and D plus Kia, they are hungry for eliminations. They get the second one. Osal leaving nothing to chance, takes no damage from the nade. With one person left alive, it is all up to Federalis.
Oi!
Nade.
Oi!
Oh my god, DK are dead! One nade and they're all down! They are all down! A triple for Federals with that one nade! There might have been a knock from someone else, and it was a 2v1. And Federal's nade took out all three. Insane from that last member of Influence Rage. Single-handedly rescuing the game for his squad. My lord, that was sensational from him. I literally just mentioned their performance was very good in the very first couple of games, and then it died out. That's exactly what you need to bring life back into your team. We'll step away from that now and see what's going to happen to the last member of Boyne Donkey as he's up against the entire squad of Tiamba. Manages to get one knock. Can he do more?
Ultimate race त मसुलो भन्छ नि यार
Suffering quite a lot right now, but the rest of Boyne Donkey is going to be here to help. It is now a 4v3.
आएर किल बुझाउन गइदिराका
There is a retaliation. There is another knock, and I don't think there's going to be a revive because he's on fire. Throw the smoke, give him some cover. Nope. Looks like Tiamba will be able to secure that one. It is still Potato on his own, 1v2 in this building. And again, Tiamba, GG Bond will be able to walk in, take it out, or take him out rather, and then continue on.
GG. Big GG's heading over to a lot of different teams right there. I'm still thinking about the BTR nade there by Federalis. Goodness me. But the zone also has moved down, so rejects from earlier do need to move on in, but again, they're on that side of zone that no one's really looking at them. They can keep on with that. They should be good to go. DRX now taking some shots.
10,000, come on.
I got a feel for Boyne Donkey, man. They just are not able to find their own sort of way in this zone.
10,000 come
the zone is really, really difficult. It's a very tough position to be in, so even the best teams are going to struggle with. Very tough.
आफैले हान्दिएकै स्क्याम चाहिँ
Up against APG, looking for this clash on the edge of zone, Sandstorm. We are looking at
the result आउँदैन result तिम्रो
very quickly, and Ziold having to do a little switch around here, trying to get to all these kinds of things, but AJ is just on the ball, grabbing a second knock against
last
APG,
one back
and all of a sudden it's Rifa's down as well, King in the back line.
10,000 पुगायो टिम 10,000
Again for APG.
Yeah, and Man's gonna be top on his own against the entire squad of Thunder Talk now, but with Tianyu being knocked down, might give him a little bit of time,
Last one
give him a
back
little
भयो
bit of
एकैचोटि यार
opportunities. Yol
कस्तो
will get
पुल अप
secured.
हानेको
Thunder
यार
Talk know now that it's only one member left, but here comes Cole Alliance. Try and see if they can pick off a couple of eliminations. Realize that they jumped into the fray a little bit too late, it seems, and decide, okay, let's back off. We don't know what the situation is between the other two squads. So let's just hold away top. Not shying away from this 1v4 against a world-class lineup.
And they
कस्तो लभियो
are
राम्रो लभियो त
absolutely swarming him. Here we go. That could be a really good nade. Takes a little bit of damage, but what can he do? He does get some really good shots onto King. 1 HP. Less than 1 HP, but he will go on down. So that is going to be Thunder Talk taken out just like that. No, not Thunder Talk. Sorry, APG taken out just like that by Thunder Talk. 4 eliminations for this team. GG's.
सकियो कडा निस्किन्छ यार म त यार
APG, DK and VD for this game.
थोरै काम छ यार
12 squads remaining, 17 minutes.
भाइ त कडा निस्के है
Fourth zone is closing shortly. DRX QZZ.
यसमा चाहिँ सेक्दै गरौँ है बाइ बाइ